Alright. Oh yeah.
What?
It's on.
Alright. Hello, Mr. Farm. We're big fans.
Big fan.
We're big fans.
Love
We love your
man.
content. If you're, you just want to tell you to keep up their tip-top work. Are y'all ready for this?
Stream on, stream on.
Nice
You guys see it?
Is this one? Hold on, wait, I'm checking.
Alright, y'all. I'm checking. Yeah, it's up. Yeah.
You see, we got locked tight with the muscles.
Okay, the sing gorilla. We got. Why is Ferdinand like magical?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Bro.
Elmer's, bro.
Elmer,
Are y'all ready for this one?
Hold up.
Come on, bro.
Chill.
I can't wait no more.
I gotta check
Play
the
the
stream.
damn video already.
I gotta set it up. Don't do it yet.
Stop playing.
I ain't gonna,
Man.
I ain't gonna play.
I wanna see my bro Elmer whoop ass.
Elmer's not in this video.
Yo,
Is
not
it?
gonna lie. Oh my god, I underestimated Elmer.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we were sleeping on Elmer.
Elmer heard me talk shit.
He replied to my comment.
What do you say?
I'm so happy.
Let's go. Alright. Hey, put it on. I gotta set up.
Bro,
Make sure
that's
if you're watching,
actually
go sub to this man.
Sub
puts
to
out-
sub to
He puts out the
Project
big bitch.
Farm.
So this one is which one removes rust.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yo, my money's on Coca-Cola.
Yo, big facts.
Big facts.
Look in the fruits chat.
We had to park it because it became unsafe. We don't want that to happen with any of the possessions we have just because of rust.
Yo.
Oh my god, he
Let's
replied.
go. He's the
It's
goat.
become quite confusing as to which one
He
of them
does
works the
on it.
best and when to use certain products. So today we're going to do some testing on various rust removal products to find out which one is the best. We're also going to be testing rust converters as well as different paint products that are supposed to treat rusted metal in the future. So let's get the testing underway and see which
Alright. I still got my money on the
Yo,
Coca-Cola.
look at that rust.
Coca-Cola gonna do shit.
We're also going to see how these different products work when we
Oh my god, that's so rusty.
Damn.
the best. We're going to restore this rusted
Jesus.
wrench using that product. Crud cutter dissolves and removes
Crud
rust, creating
cutter.
a good surface for
Yo.
paint.
Okay.
Evaporust is a
Cut
super
the
safe
camera.
rust
Evaporust,
remover.
okay.
So how does Evaporust work? First off, Evaporust is pH neutral. It uses a process called chelation. Large synthetic molecules form a bond with metals and holds them in the solution.
Alright. Sounds like a lot of science
CLR
talk.
is also known for removing rust.
CLR.
So it contains several types of acid, including lactic acid, gluconic acid, and other active ingredients.
Okay.
This vinegar contains 5%
We got some-
lactic acid.
We got some stiff competition, boys.
We have a lot.
Yo,
Loctite.
Let's go.
Loctite's in this shit.
It's jelly.
It's pimp.
Dog and robot.
He's got coke.
Okay, muriatic acid contains 31.45%.
This one's just hydrochloric acid.
This is a really
Oh my
powerful acid.
lord.
Bands don't play.
I'll be placing 4 nuts inside of each of these chemicals.
Four
and we'll
nuts?
take a look at each one of them.
Look
after
how rusty
5
those
minutes,
are.
1
You
hour,
think I'm
5
weird,
hours, and then 10 hours. Also, I'll be placing this bolt inside of each of the products, and we'll leave it in there for 24 hours to see how it works. I went and placed a fishing string on each one of these nuts and bolts so I can avoid putting my hands inside the chemicals.
What a genius.
Genius.
Okay.
Ooh. Hey.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yo, this. Hey.
I need this mix.
Oh.
Pepto-Bismol, let's
Yo,
go.
Project Farm remix.
Yo.
Yo!
It's already began.
What the fuck? Yo, Coca-Cola's gonna slap. No cup.
Do you think? I don't
We're
know.
not at 5 minutes. This is our control.
We thought
that's
Elmer.
the-
We thought Elmer was gonna lose.
That's the
As you can
control.
see, there is some
Okay.
rust removal that's taking place
Okay,
after 5
Not
minutes.
horrible.
Not quite as much rust removal
Alright.
after 5
This is 5 minutes,
minutes
we're just
as
comparing,
you
we're just
saw
It's
comparing.
only 5 minutes. Yeah, it's only 5 minutes.
Oh, CLR.
Uh,
Okay,
you're doing it, bro.
vinegar. I wasn't even.
The Loctite.
Loctite.
Some rust.
All right.
Coca-Cola.
Loctite kind of was going in.
What?
Oh shit!
Whoa!
Holy
Crud
shit!
Cutter has done a great job.
Crud
of
Cutter.
removing
That's
rust.
after an hour. This is after an hour now.
Okay, Crud Cutter.
Crud Cutter. Oh, come on, Evaporate.
Yo, you're made for this.
CLR.
You're made for this. How come Crud Cutter? Come
Okay, it's just vinegar.
Vinegar, come
on.
on.
It ain't competitive.
Loctite, okay.
Alright. It did some stuff.
Alright.
It did some stuff.
Coke.
Oh, hell
Ah,
no.
Coca-Cola slacking.
Man, fuck.
Whoa.
The fishing string
Holy
dissolved.
shit.
Looks like all the rust has been removed. Actually, after 1 hour, it looks like all the
Let's
rust
go
was removed.
Crud
I'm not
Cutter.
going to see any sort of
Crud
improvement. So it's been 5
Crud
hours. with
Cutter.
evaporated
The
rust.
crud.
You can see there's
Let's
really not that
go.
much rust has been removed since
Call
the
me the
1 hour
crud
mark.
cutter.
Okay, looks like
Fuck.
CLR is starting
Killing
to do
myself.
some good work.
Okay.
There's still some rust left, but it's definitely removed more rust than Evaporust.
Okay.
Vinegar just has not
Vinegar,
done very
bro,
much
what's
to remove
going on?
the rust. I really don't see any sort of improvement over the baseline.
That ain't no penny. It's
Loctite.
Yo, Loctite got this.
Loctite is
Down
good.
tight.
Hasn't done very
Come
much.
on,
It looks
come
just
on,
about
bro.
the same as the
Loctite's
5-minute
the
test.
king.
Yo, Pepto Bismol.
This one don't play.
Neurotic acid.
Look how black
After
that is.
10
Now, what'll
hours.
happen
Oh
is
my
this will
God.
lighten up over time and become the same color as this. So Evaporust seems to have done a pretty
Okay,
good
he-
job,
he
but
picked
not
up the
nearly
slack.
as good as Crud Cutter. There's
Okay,
still rust.
okay.
I
Still
think
not
if
as
this
good as
soaked for a total of
Crud
24
Cutter.
hours, it would be in
Crud Cutter
really
doesn't-
good shape.
Crud's-
CLR is
like
actually looking
Okay,
quite
CLR.
Oh wow,
good.
CLR is
Yeah,
definitely.
that's
Oh,
what
shit.
Crud Cutter does.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Vinegar
Come
just
on.
in 5 minutes and 10 hours. To me, they look just the same.
Loctite.
Yeah, really
shit,
good job
look
as
how
well.
clean
I'm
that
not
is.
seeing very much
shit
rust at
actually
all left
fucking
behind.
Jelly
solid.
don't
As you
play.
can see,
Does
from the
not
color,
play.
they do a very good
Come
job
on,
of removing
Coke.
rust
Don't
after 10
play.
hours. Look how clean that is. That is by far the cleanest of all of
Acid
them.
goes crazy.
Obviously, it is down to the bare steel. It has done a very good
go.
job
Oh
of
my God,
cleaning.
brand
In
new.
fact, it's actually started to eat some of the metal.
Marcus, what do you got to say?
24 hours, I want to go ahead and
Marcus?
see what these bolts look like.
Alright, here
This
the
is
bolts.
Crud Cutter.
Crud Cutter, bro. Look
Wow.
at that.
Holy
that
shit.
looks
They
absolutely
literally
amazing.
cut that crud.
Evaporust
It really
There's still
did.
some rust
Evaporust
in the
left some
threads that I
stuff,
can
bro.
see.
All right.
So it looks
Rap
like
Rust
it
did
just
pretty
needs a
good
little bit
though.
more
We
time to
can't,
work,
we can't.
But it's been
Yeah,
right
Yeah, but
decent,
Crud
decent.
Cutter, bro.
And as you can see,
We
there
can't
is
be
some
mean
rust.
to it though.
The
Alright,
crud
now
barber
we're
is still on
left
top
with
though.
Oh, we can be
CLR
mean
after
to this. What was
24
this?
Oh,
hours.
what the
man.
fuck?
It looks like
Disgusting.
Vinegar did
They
very
have to
good
cut-
on the
Vinegar
threads,
did a
but
decent
this is
job.
by
Vinegar
far
did
the
better than
least
CLR?
performing product we've
Bro,
looked
you're
at
made for
yet.
that.
Well, so Naval Jelly seems to
Yo,
do a pretty good job.
Loctite!
However, there does appear to be
Loctite,
some rust
god
inside
damn.
the threads.
Yo, Loctite
so
don't play.
It doesn't seem to have done as well
that
as
shit
Evaporust
tight.
or Crud Cutter, but probably better than CLR and definitely better
Alright,
than
so
White Vinegar.
second place
So
so
Coca-Cola
far.
did remove a little bit of
Coke
rust, but
didn't
not
do
really
much.
that much
It's
rust.
it's
This is
second
by
place.
far the
That's
least
Coke.
performing product. Vinegar did better than Coke. Now, obviously, acid did by far
Coke.
the best as far as removing
The
rust.
acid don't
Quickest.
play.
However, it also took some metal with it. Up next,
acid
we'll do
would-
a
The acid is too strong.
metal and
Shredding.
allow these products to do their job
It's
right out.
cutting more crud.
So the way this will work is I will apply the product,
Okay, let's
and then
see.
I will lay a paper towel on top of the product to keep it from spreading.
So he's gonna
and to keep
spray
from
it,
evaporating.
so it
After
doesn't
an hour,
spread into
we
the
will
other
remove the paper
zones.
towel and see what it looks like underneath.
Okay, okay. Bro, look at this.
Chad.
Vinegar. Oh, the vinegar was too fast. Spread it, bro. Let's go. Coke.
Okay.
And the acid. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Okay, it's been right at 1 hour, so what we'll
It's
do is
been
take a
1
look
hour.
at each of these and see how they
Let's
did.
see,
First
Crud
up is
Cutter.
Crud Cutter.
Okay.
All right, boys. I
So
did
this
it. I
is the
did
other side
a.
of the
I
paper
did a
towel.
chicken
You
run.
can see there's quite a bit
Let's
of accumulation
go.
of the byproduct of rust being removed.
Okay. Okay.
If
Oh,
ever rust
come
doesn't
on,
look like it did too
Evaporust.
much, looking at the paper towel, there just really isn't that
gonna
much
do
that
that?
has accumulated.
Alright, let's see how CLR
You
did.
see,
for
there's
this
quite a
shit,
bit of
bruh.
substance on the CLR
Good
paper
diaper.
towel, but when you look at it, the rust is still there. Well, so far, acetic
Yo!
acid has done the best. Has
Vinegar!
done the best at removing the rust. We're gonna have to apply some
Loctite!
water and try to work this free.
Holy
But
shit.
it looks like quite a bit of rust has been removed,
It's
but
pink.
it's hard to tell because there's like a layer of jelly.
Okay.
Coke removed a little bit of rust,
Coke,
but
come on,
not
man.
too much.
See the
Unfortunate.
acid. Yo! That stuff is
So
too
Credit Cutter did a
strong.
pretty decent job considering it's
acid,
designed for a
holy shit.
longer
What the fuck?
application. I really think this is a good product if you use it for at least 3 or 4 hours.
Crud cutter,
The
man.
Vaporust seems to have done okay.
that crud.
It seems as though the water application
Cutter don't
has
play.
to be accomplished
Really
in order
don't.
for this product to do a good job. It did remove some rust, but not as good as some of the other products. CLR did a decent job, actually. It actually went down to the metal in some areas. Vinegar seems to have done just as good as Crud Cutter,
Okay,
but not
okay.
quite as good as CLR. Loctite seems to have actually done the best from the
Let's
products
go
we've tested
Loctite.
besides the muriatic acid.
Let's go,
Now,
Loctite.
Coca-Cola
Okay,
didn't
Loctite.
seem to do much. By far the least effective product we've tested. Muriatic acid
Oh,
obviously did
Oh.
the best.
God,
my
man.
Okay, so the product
This
I selected to
defending
restore
champ.
this wrench is
Yo,
using
Loctite,
Crud Cutter
a
because
defending
Crud Cutter
legend.
seems to work really fast. I'm not saying it's the best product, but it seems to be the safest product for a quick result of the ones we've got. I don't like the idea of using muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid because it's just a little too powerful. It tends to take good steel with the rust removal process.
True, true.
So he's using crud cutter,
We'll
bro.
let this wrench soak
It's
for
gonna
right at
cut
2 hours.
the
We're gonna
crud.
It's cutting
pull it
all
out
crud.
and see how it looks.
2 hours.
Pretty
Yo!
good.
Oh
A
my
lot of rust has
god.
been
Rust
removed.
who?
In fact, looks like all the
Rusties!
rust up in here is removed. It's down to the steel.
Yo, this is the real
There's more work to be
Roasties.
done, so let's go ahead and soak this for another
The
couple
real
hours
Roasties.
and see how it looks after 2 more hours of soaking.
One seltzer water bottle gone.
This is looking really good, but I like to get a little bit more rust off of it, so
Okay,
I'm gonna go ahead
okay.
and soak it for another 4 hours for a total of 8 hours and see how it looks.
God.
Really nice. This wrench looks great. A lot
Let's
of this
go.
is very superficial
Crud
and just a
cutter,
slight
man.
touch, and it'll come right off.
cutter.
I'm gonna leave this
Let's
in
go,
Crud
Crud
Cutter
cutter.
for an extra 12 hours just because I want this really clean. We'll come back and see how it looks. So it's been 23 hours since the wrench has been in the Crud Cutter. Let's take it out and take a look at it. Wow,
Yo,
this
Crud
looks
Cutter
really
does
good.
not
I am
play.
extremely impressed.
Really
And
fucking.
Oh,
Brand new
it'll
wrench.
protect the wrench from rusting for up to a year.
Let's go.
Next, he's gonna put a Yankee with brim, and it's gonna take away the brim.
So when it comes time to test the rust, what product should you select for removing the rust? Well, that really
Gotta
depends on
take
what
the
you're trying to
Crud
do.
Cutter, bro.
If you have the opportunity to use something really strong, you don't have to worry about
Or
causing
the
damage
acid.
to
The acid's
paint
too
or
strong.
any sort of collateral damage. Muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid might be a good choice.
Yeah, that's just straight up the
especially
acid.
If you're ready to paint it
Honestly.
right after using the treatment.
Acid too strong.
Now, regarding
farm.
products that I really like the best, I really liked Crud Cutter
Y'all gotta
the best.
sub to
It's
this
a very
man,
expensive
bro.
product at 62
I already
cents an
subbed to
ounce.
him,
Puts
bro.
up
But
too
it
much
did an
quality.
amazing
Already?
job, as we
Legend.
see on this
You ready
one.
for this
I put it
video?
on the
Looking
screen.
forward to testing
Sub to
this
him.
wrench as far as how it can withstand rust.
What's the next one? What's the next one?
The next one is the best knife sharpener.
If you have a nice
Let's
knife,
go!
Let's
using
go!
a cheap knife
$9
sharpener,
is
or buy a much
$900.
more expensive knife sharpener.
What the
I had a
fuck?
lot of
This
viewers
man
tell me
bought
that
a
this
$900 knife sharpener with his
actually outperformed
money.
this
Yo, don't make fun of
$900
Project
knife
Farm,
sharpener.
yo.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it will.
Nigga,
We'll have to find
support
out.
his
We've been
Patreon,
testing
people.
several other
Bro,
high-quality
sub
knife
to his
sharpeners as well.
channel.
So let's get the testing underway and see which one is the best. For the knife sharpness testing, I'll be using these 8-inch high-carbon stainless steel chef's knives. In this
okay,
video, we'll
okay.
see if one of the knife
Yo, I got
sharpeners
that in
can
my
make a butter
kitchen.
knife razor sharp.
They're gonna see if they can sharpen a butter knife.
Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, they do that.
Listen how it works.
I'm hype.
Oh, wait, Eli, you have it as a Roblox video.
As
Yeah, I
the knife
know.
edge is pushing downward, the scale
Listen to how
measures
the thing
downward
works.
force in grams applied to cut through the test media. So a double-edged razor blade is around a 50. A utility blade is anywhere from around 150 to 200. A new high-end cutlery edge is anywhere from 250 to 350. Edges that need maintenance are around 400. A butter knife is around 2,000.
okay.
Before drilling the knife blades, let's first take a look at the blade condition under a microscope and then
Oh.
measure the blade sharpness.
That's cool.
Before we dull this blade, let's go ahead and get our baseline sharpness.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
145. That's as sharp as a razor blade. So knife sharpener says this thing is sharp. Let's test it out and see how sharp it is.
Yo!
In
That's
order to dull the knife,
clean.
in the standardized
Cuts it.
process, I put together this.
That's my
The way this works
taxes.
the
This is some
knife
dulling.
stays
This is
in
gonna
its
dull
position
the hell
while
out
the
of
rest
it.
The device is going to slide backwards. As the knife is sliding backwards, it's going to go over top of an object that's going to cause the blade to dull. All of the knives are going to be sliding across this aluminum pipe.
Look at the
5 times
automation
to dull the blades.
to
I'll
keep
be
it
applying 2.5
consistent.
pounds on top of the
Makes it
knife.
fair.
Oh, that's gotta hurt the knife.
Oh, this hurts me.
Ears.
This hurts me.
Oh,
Look
that
at
must
it.
hurt
Did a
ears.
lot of damage to the
no.
knife edge, and this is really going to put each
Oh,
sharpening system to the
no.
test. The knives all started off at 145, extremely sharp. So let's see what
Oh,
the
no.
did to the blade.
Jesus!
Okay,
God.
1825. 2000 is a butter knife, so this is a very dull blade, definitely in need of a lot of maintenance.
You got messed
Knife
up.
sharpener will be testing at only
Rada.
$8.65. Is this
How you
Rada
doing,
knife
Schnitzel?
sharpener, which is made in the USA?
Schnitzel life?
Base for extra durability. Rivet wheel assembly
Schnitzel
provides
is
perfect
love,
tolerance and
Schnitzel
flex
is
between
life.
sharpener wheels for optimal sharpening performance. I'm going to use
Okay,
a permanent
okay.
marker on each of the blades so we can see how effective each sharpener is at sharpening the knives. Instructions are very simple. Simply place the knife blade between the two sharpening wheels and, using light pressure, pull through at a slight upward angle. Repeat several times. You can tell
Okay.
there's a lot of damage to this knife edge because of all the shavings taken off by this Rada knife sharpener. At $12.44 is this Fisker's Essential Roll Sharp Knife Sharpener. Quality
Okay.
since 1649.
What the fuck?
Designed by
All
Fiskars,
right.
made in
Okay.
Finland.
That's a bit
The most
cap.
important part of the Fisker's Roll
That might be
Sharp is
cap.
the patented rotating
Look at
wheel
that.
made
They had
of a
knives back
special
then?
ceramic material which grinds away any dents or burrs from the edge of your knife, producing a safe, sharp edge.
Okay, okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Comes with a nice handle.
So why spend a bunch of money on a knife sharpener when you can just buy a
Bro, these are
Oh,
crazy.
That's
the
facts,
classic.
that's facts.
The classic.
The
Whetstones
We'll start
are
with the
so
corner bit
good.
and then
They
use the
really are.
1000. We'll first add a little water to the stone. Getting good results with a whetstone is likely to vary based upon
Absolute
experience and
classic.
skill level of the person using
The
the
absolute
sharpening
chat of
system.
it.
While I have quite a bit of experience using abrasives, I'm not experienced using a whetstone for sharpening knives. Many knife sharpeners leave a burr on
He
the
knows,
edge of the
he
blade.
knows.
Use of a stropping leather and
He
rubbing
ain't gonna lie.
compound removes the burr and cleans up the freshly
Respect.
sharpened edge. I applied a total of 10 strokes to each side to remove the burr for each one of the sharpeners designed to benefit from sharpening.
Yes, sir. Yes,
At
sir.
$67.44 is
Whoa!
this Lansky brand
Yo, it's getting
sharpener.
pricey.
Controlled angle
Lansky
sharpening
better
system.
kill.
Deluxe diamond, made in USA.
US of A.
Knife clamp with angle sensor.
Better be worth
4
my
guide
shit.
This
rod.
is a contraption.
You got a
Attach your
bill?
knife blade. Loosen the front
Holy
screw
shit.
4 full turns
course
with a
I always
diamond.
do
Okay.
that.
My
Use
shit
your
better
fingers
be
to
daggers
through
when
your
it's
thumb
done.
screw all the way and then loosen 2 full turns.
That shit better
Place
cut
knife
obsidian
and
when
jaws
I'm
between
done.
the jaws
Oh,
of the clamp with
God.
your hand while tightening the front
Yo, he's
screw.
clamping
Tighten
it.
your thumb screw to lock knife in place. Assembling
Oh
the
my
hone.
lord.
Place
All
the
this
hone
shit?
Goddamn, what is he
down on
building,
the
a knife
flat
gun?
screw, wing
Water
screw, and
stone.
feed guide
Whatever it's
rod.
worth.
This is a whetstone.
Honing rod are flush
This
with
is
flat
complex.
surface. Using finger pressure only,
I don't
tighten
think I
the
can
screw
do
on the
this.
hone holder
Man's
to
gonna
hold rod
evolve his
securely.
fucking
Check
knife.
straightness and alignment with the hone against a flat surface.
This is
Be sure
how
rod
Dio
honing
makes
stone
his
touch the
knife.
flat surface along the edge. If rod is not level with
causes
stone,
it.
bend it into alignment using
She's
right
been
finger
bending
pressure.
steel?
With Nancy, you can choose 17, 20,
He has that
25,
much
and
strength.
30 degrees.
spilled
I'm going to
all
go and
my
choose
water.
17 degrees. Beginning with the coarse stone, insert guide rod
Oh.
into an angle
Oh,
you have
what?
selected.
Hey.
Start at the knife's base near the guard and place the hone against the edge. Push the
Okay,
hone against
okay.
the edge into the blade
That's
while
weird.
moving the hone towards the
work
tip.
that?
Really?
of the blade.
That's
That's
Whenever you
$67.
blade per
That's
stroke.
complicated
Sharpen one
as
side
hell.
First, then flip entire clamp over and sharpen the opposite side.
I better
using
cut
the same
air.
number of strokes on each
This is
side.
67.
That's weird as fuck for
Oh,
73
Spider
USA
Cole.
made. Instructional CD.
CD.
Instructions to find
USA.
sharpening stone.
USA.
Two
Think
safety
it's-
rods. The Spyderco
think
has
it's
two
CDs.
angles from which
If I'm
to
playing
choose 30 degrees
70
and 40
bucks.
degrees. I'm going to sharpen using 30 degrees. Step 1 is shaping. Use the corner of the gray stone to shape an edge or set a bevel.
This is how
That's
they
the
made
fastest.
Metal
When
Mario.
sharpening, press hard enough to remove metal. Always keep
This
the
is
knife blade
crazy.
straight up and down. Always sharpen the entire
This
blade.
is how
from
they made
heel
the
to
weapon
tip,
that
drawing the
surpasses
blade
Metal
towards you as you
Gear.
slice down stone. For each step, give 20 strokes on each
Jeez.
side, alternating strokes.
Hey, hey,
Start
hey.
with
Every
stones for a
knife in
total
Call
of
of
40
Duty.
strokes. Step 2 is tool. Use the flat stone.
This
of
how
the
they
gray
make
stone
CS
to
Oh,
produce a
Combat
utility
okay.
edge.
It's different grit. It's different
Step
grit
3
on
is
each
hone.
side.
Use the
Step
corner
4
of the
and
white
those
stone to
skeletons.
produce a very sharp edge. Step 4 is razor.
Bet
Use the
this
flat
shit
surface
better
of the
cut
white
through
stone to
them.
produce a razor edge. As
I
in
better
the
see
hone.
Bonnie die.
Okay.
Cut the
Costing
shit, Bonnie.
$112.45.
Oh, chef's choice!
Razor Edge Model 15.
I mean, if it's a
Assembled in
chef's
USA.
choice.
Stage
Approved by
1.
Gordon?
Turn on the power and pull the length of the blade through the left
Mr.
slot
Ramsey?
and then through the right
Yo, it's
slot. Using the
automated.
left and right
It's
slot.
electric.
This is
Take about 3 or 4 seconds
Elon
each pull
Musk.
for a 5-inch blade.
Yo, that was nice.
Wait, look at
That
that
May take up to
finish.
20
That one might be dope.
Hey,
That one might be
hey,
dope, actually.
yo.
Thicker
High
blades will
hopes for
require more
chef's
pulls.
choice.
Honing in stage 2. Make about 1 or 2 pairs of pulls through stage 2, alternating each in the left and the right slots. Take about 3
Ooh.
seconds for each pull on a
Okay.
5-inch long blade. Check for a burr before proceeding to stage
Burr.
3. Stropping edge in stage 3. Pull the blade through the left slot of stage 3 and then through the right slot of stage 3. Make 3 pairs
Okay,
of pulls,
okay.
alternating the pull in each
I
the
hear
left and the
you.
right slots. You should take about 3 to 4 seconds for each pull for a 5-inch long blade. Then make 2 pairs of alternating faster pulls in this stage, about 1 second per pull for a 5-inch blade to put a final polish on the edge. Costing $255.
$255.
God, we're not even at 900 yet.
This shit better make it a gun.
2,000 and 3,000 grit polish tapes. Setup instructions. Stick the suction cups down dry
this is
onto a smooth
wild.
non-porous surface.
Bro.
Remove
I
stone
asked for
arm
a
from
knife
case and
sharpener.
remove the rubber band.
Cherry construction.
Insert pivot shaft into the back of the apex with the indicator marks facing you. To set the angle,
What is this
line the
supposed
top
to
of
do?
the
Yo.
with the arm of the indicator.
This is actually a
Place the
contraption.
lock knot in
This
the
is
center of
actually
the
a Tom
stone
and
tighter.
Jerry
220
contraption.
grit.
What
This
is
the stone
that?
you'll start with on most
What if this
stones.
catches
Stones.
Jerry?
The stone is held in place by the tension. Let's go. Put the knob in the palm of your hand. Wrap your index and middle finger around the back of the large holder.
Why
with
is this
one
so
finger on each side
complicated?
of the
I
steel
don't
rod.
know. It's
Squeeze to compress
needlessly
the spring
complicated.
and the
It's just a
stone will
whetstone.
release. Since we're using Japanese cooking
That
knives,
it's
we're gonna
basically
sharpen
to make sure you use the
with a
whetstone.
sharpener, you can sharpen at 10, 15, 18,
Oh,
21, or
look at
24
that.
degrees. Put enough water on the stone to cover the surface and let it sink in. Step 2, flexible blade. Position the blade on the blade table with the knife handle near the
These are
blade
basically
table and the
contraptions
edge
for
parallel to
what?
the front of the knife guide. 3, stiff blade. Center the knife across the blade table.
Homie,
Place the
all
stone
that
on
shit?
the edge of the knife. Pull the knob all the way around
really?
towards you and slide
What?
the stone over the heel of the
my
blade.
Lord,
Step
bro.
4, the
That's gonna
stroke.
be
Push the
dope.
stone arm
This
forward and
look-
at the
The
same
stroke?
time let it slide to the opposite
This gonna
side
look
of the
dope.
blade table and make about a 2-inch wide cut with each stroke. Pull the stone arm back to the starting position along the
a
same
piston,
path.
bro.
Apply just enough pressure
Spring
to get
lock.
the stone to cut.
You
Most
did
of the
what in
sharpening
this
is
cup?
done during the push stroke. Don't pick the stone up on the pull stroke, just let it slide on the edge. Make smooth, long, slow strokes so you can just bump the stops
Okay.
gently. Hold the knob
Okay.
loose in your hand so it is free to follow the shape of the knife blade. Draw the blade across the blade table. Make 3 or
Bro,
4
what?
See that
push and
shit
pull
coming
strokes
off.
starting at the heel of the knife. Stop sharpening.
Hold
Move
on.
the knife 1 inch.
Alright,
make
so it's
3
a
or 4
guided
strokes.
whetstone.
Continue this manner until you reach the
Yeah.
tip of the blade. Step 6. Switch the knife and the stone arm to the
6?
opposite hands and repeat the process on the
Alright,
opposite
but when
side
we
of
get
the
into
blade.
step
Step
420.
8. Bring the edge to a burr. Continue making equal passes down the side of the
Step
blade.
900.
Check the knife for a burr each time you switch sides. Step 10 is remove the burr. 400
Leave
grit.
the burr.
Use
Alright.
this stone to start sharpening knives that are in pretty good shape. 600
not.
grit. This can be your finished stone on most kitchen knives.
Damn,
1,000 grit. Also a finished stone for
1,000
kitchen
grit.
knives and the next step towards
Oh my
polish.
God, this is
2,000
gonna
and
cut
3,000 polish
through
tapes used to finish
molecules.
the edge of all sporting and pocket
Like
knives
Tom
and
McIntyre,
Japanese
right? Type
cooking knives.
B.
This is
Gonna
the
cause
strongest and the
bombs.
longest lasting edge you can put on a knife.
Bro.
Is this
Ah,
wicked
it's a
edge
900.
3 Pro.
It's the 900.
Yo, it comes with a bomb case.
CSGO Ninja
Angles
Defuse.
and shit.
You can easily adjust the angle by
Oh,
using this lever.
I think this one
17
actually
degrees.
dope.
Step 1. Attach your guide rods to the ball joints by threading them into the rod ends.
This one
Step
actually
2.
seems clean.
Attach the number 4
Yeah.
vice lever to the sharpener.
$900.
But so far, Master Chef was kinda looking clean.
Kinda was. Kinda was.
One vice. When attached,
It was automated, bro. It was-
Step 3. Place your
That's
sharpening
kinda dope,
stones
though.
onto the number
Oh,
9
it's got
shelf.
storage.
Easy access while sharpening. Mounting your
wow.
rig. Attach the
What?
number 10 alignment guide
They
to
gonna
the
give me a
number
foot massage
3
too?
depth key and insert the key from the depth key into one of the 2 number
where?
2 depth
Where?
settings located at the top of the vise. While firmly
Wait, is
holding
this
the
a
knife
900
with
one?
hand,
Yeah,
raise
this is
the
a
knife
900
up
one. Taxes
into
for
its
me?
resting
Holy
position.
shit.
The
It better
vice
be my
level should now be
taxes.
vertical, parallel to the vise. Push the vice lever all the way down to the right
Bro, I
side
can
of the
defuse the
sharpener.
bomb
Mark
by
the entire
itself.
bevel of the knife on both sides with
Okay.
the marker. Slide the 100, 200 grit diamond stone handles onto the guide
Alright.
rods. Place the top of the red
Oh,
100
yo,
coarse grit
let's
stone
go.
flat against the heel of the knife. Grasp
I don't
the
know,
handles
I
with your
don't
fingers
know.
on
I don't
the
know about this.
indentations, being careful to keep your
can see
fingertips
some
behind the
shavings.
guards that the
Right,
stones
better
are
cut
mounted
yourself.
to, creating and detecting
I
a
feel like
burr.
I'm getting
When
a
you are
little
first
scammed.
shaping the
His skin
blade,
just gets, like,
successfully
peeled.
drawing a burr from each
There's
side
no
of the knife is
automation.
the most important
Like, bruh.
step. Do approximately 10 strokes.
Yeah,
on
Master
each
Chef
side
did that
of the
for
only, and
1/9
then
of the
check the
price.
burr.
This is
Once
way
you
He like
successfully
touches it and his
detected
finger
the burr
starts
on one
bleeding.
side of the knife, repeat this procedure
Laser
for
cut
the other side.
technology.
Fingers
Use
have
alternating
already been cut.
side-to-side strokes
And
of
Look at
both
his
sides of the
kunai.
knife
Look at that.
sharpened
Make it
at
a
the same
kunai,
time.
bro.
Sharpen until the marker is
Hey,
completely
hey,
removed
hey,
from the
hey,
gun.
hey, hey, hey.
Tell him, Mr. Farm.
Let's freaking edge.
God damn.
Yo, he's getting good.
This is gonna cut through tanks.
Sharpness of the rada. Let's take a closer
This is
look
the
at
rada. This is the rada, the
rada
cheapest
appears
one.
to have gone
Rada,
to work
rada.
on about 20% of the originally ground knife edge. All the knives started off at 145 and were really dulled quite a bit, so we're going to see how well these knife sharpeners performed. Starting with the rada. While the knife started out at
Okay,
145,
okay.
then built to over
Okay,
1800,
did alright,
the
did
rada
alright.
brought
It
back
restored
the
it
knife
pretty
edge
well
to
from
230.
1800.
230 is
Yeah,
considered
that's
very
facts.
sharp for a kitchen knife.
Yo,
according to
rada.
our sharpness chart. Just like the
Rada.
rada, the Fiskars did a good job
Fiskars.
cleaning up and straightening the edge of the knife. It went to work on about 20% of the original blade edge. Testing the Fiskars.
Okay,
A
same.
130, equally sharp, very impressive. the
Solid,
marker
solid.
really helped me figure out the correct angle for sharpening with the whetstone, and it looks terrific, but is it sharp? We'll see how well I did with the whetstone. I am
This is
not
a
an
whetstone.
experienced whetstone user, so this will be very interesting.
Yo!
Oh,
Clean,
Sharper
actually.
now than when we
classic,
started.
classic.
Than it
Always,
came out the
Unbelievable.
box.
Lansky did a terrific
A
job
classic
cleaning up
always
the
does
damaged blade
good.
and putting a beautiful edge on the knife.
Okay!
110! That's amazing. 110 is the number to beat. The Spyderco edge looks pretty
This is
sharp and
Spyderco.
seems to be very close to the original angle.
Spider Co, how'd you do?
Aw.
Okay, okay.
170. That's
170.
still very impressive.
That's
the
pretty
blade
good.
edge made by the
That
chef
ain't
choice
110.
was
There's a
very
master
Chef
chef, there's a
choice,
master
chef
chef.
choice.
There's a master chef.
good.
Elon Musk.
The Edge Pro Apex 4 blade edge looks really sharp.
Come on.
170. Very
on.
impressive.
You know,
The
so
Wicked
far
Edge
it's looking
definitely
like the
seems to
classic
fit
is the
sharpener,
best.
But is the blade as
Oh,
sharp
it's
as it
facts.
looks?
That's facts.
Stop playing.
Oh!
100.
God damn.
Unbelievable. This thing's scary sharp. Let's see how sharp this thing is as far
No,
as
don't do
shooting
it!
here.
Don't do it, Fall! Yo!
What?
This thing is razor sharp. The $900
That's the Wicked Edge. The Wicked Edge did that.
Very affordable $67 Lansky came in second,
That's
and the
the 900
Whetstone
one?
third. Chef's
Yeah,
knives
the
are
900 one did
oftentimes
that.
used on cutting boards.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is simulate using this chef's knife on this cutting board, which is a piece of ironwood. Now, ironwood is a very tough piece of wood, and this is going to really
Dude,
put
axe
each of the
throwing
blades
with
to the
that.
test. And what we're trying to determine is whether or not certain types of knife sharpeners create a more durable edge than others. So we'll
Okay.
begin with the Rada and work our way through all the different knives. We'll make
So
30
this
back
is
and forth
durability.
passes across the ironwood.
Come on, man. What is
It's
this?
supposed to say like how deep
The
it can
Rada
go.
started off at 230 and is now at 290, still very sharp.
Okay, didn't do too
The
bad.
Fiskars actually did slightly better at retaining its edge
Ooh,
at 280.
All right.
Whetstone.
The Whetstone started out at 120.
Classic!
Let's
go!
150.
Let's go!
Bruh.
The Lansky started
Come
out
on,
at
Lansky.
110 and remained very sharp at 185.
Spider Co.
What's
What's going on?
Nasty.
Chef's
Chef's
Choice!
Choice started out at 190
bro,
and did a great
Whetstone.
job at 225.
Chef's Choice kept it pretty good.
The Edge Pro started out at 170 and did very well at 220.
Wicked Edge, though.
The Wicked Edge started out at
Let's go.
100 and
Shit,
remained the
bro.
sharpest at 140. Extremely sharp knives are usually
Let's
more
go,
or less
Wicked
for
Edge.
roll and dull,
That
but the
900.
Wicked Edge
But look at the
remained
Whetstone,
sharpest
bro.
after
Bro.
back and forth
The
passes
Whetstone
on
was
the ironwood.
$16.
First the
Held
worst,
up
second's the
extremely well,
best.
finishing
Like-
in a close second and the Lansky third. While the rest of the brands
The
didn't
Whetstone was
return knives to the
$16.
original level of sharpness,
Shit
some
was
of them
16.
came very close.
It's
While the
alright.
Spyderco did a good job sharpening the blade edge, the use of the sharpening rods instead of sharpening stones seemed to cause an issue with regard to blade edge fatigue.
Okay.
However, this could be my fault and not the sharpening system. In the previous video on
I
knife
love this
sharpeners,
man,
a
bro.
lot of viewers suggested that a low-quality knife blade is just not capable of being very sharp.
Who
This
said
knife has
that?
already been
Who said
dulled.
that?
Let's see how dull
Not
it
a
is,
word.
and then we'll see if we can bring it
Prove
back
him
to
wrong,
the Wicked
Farm.
Edge, since the
Let's
Wicked
go.
Edge won
Tell
the
him,
showdown
Farm.
as far as original sharpness.
Tell him! Yo, shit!
You got better. Tell
Okay,
him. Tell him.
$13.90. This thing definitely
13.90.
needs a lot of maintenance.
Which one he gonna use? He gonna use Wicked Edge! He gonna use Wicked Edge!
Give it to him.
Going in.
Blade edge was
Let's
really good.
go!
Gonna cut at like
See how well the
10.
Wicked Edge Pro did on this very cheap steak knife. This thing is extremely sharp. Since a butter knife is extremely
He's gonna do the
blunt,
butter
I'm using
knife!
Chef's Choice, which did fairly well in the showdown at 190 sharpness, to see what it can do with this butter
He's
knife.
using Chef's
It took
Choice
around
for the
30
butter
minutes to get
knife,
it
boys.
into this butter
Wise.
knife, but the Chef's Choice sharpener held up well. And the butter knife blade looks great, but is it sharp? Let's see how the Chef's Choice did with this butter knife.
Yo, Chef's Choice!
Come on.
That is a butter knife.
That's pretty sharp for a butter knife. I'm impressed.
Let's go
All right,
cut
see
the
how our
butter in
knife is
half.
doing.
Chef's Choice,
See,
don't
wow,
play!
This thing's
God.
incredibly sharp. For a $9 knife sharpener, the Rada actually didn't do too bad. The Wicked Eds did a fantastic job, but $900 is a lot to spend. And if you're not up for spending $900 and you want some type of stone sharpener or diamond sharpener, in my opinion, the Lansky is a very good value and definitely my choice. All my video ideas, including this one, come from viewers. So I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. I reply to as many comments.
Please sub to this man.
Just want to say thanks so much for watching the video.
Alright, y'all ready?
And look for
Alright, what's the next one? What's the next one?
in a
There's a
previous
cutting
video
wheel.
on metal grinding wheels, we
Ooh.
tested quite a few different brands, and the Warrior brand actually did pretty good. Can the Warrior brand continue its winning
I
streak
forgot, was he
today
also
with
the guy that
tests on
tested
metal
the-
cutoff wheels?
the,
There's been a lot of requests to test these, so let's
Oh,
get
the weed
testing underway
killers or whatever it was?
The trimmers?
Yeah, the trimmers.
Yeah.
and see which one of these products
That was a
is
fire
the
video.
best. The only way
That
to
was
get
a
accurate
fire video.
testing results is to take humans out of the testing process as much as possible. The way
He
this test setup works
knows.
is this grinder is attached to this arm that moves freely up and down, which is in a perfect vertical position. This
Look
will
at
allow
the
the blade to get a straight up and down
consistency.
cut, because if the blade is at an angle, it's going to bind as it's cutting through the metal, slowing down the blade and causing unnecessary wear. I won't be touching this during the test. All I'm going to do is plug this device in, stand back, let it cut through the steel, and then I'll unplug it when the test is over. So there's
Okay.
several things we're going to be looking for. How much blade do we use? How long does it take to cut through the steel? Does the blade shatter? And does the blade have the
Shatter?
advertised width? Obviously, a wider blade is going to take longer to cut through the steel and put a lot more work on the grinder. We've got
Okay.
approximately 3.1 pounds of downward force where the blade would contact the metal. We're going to see how fast each one of these blades can cut through a piece of steel that's a ½ inch wide and 3 inches tall, and see how much material loss it experiences. Harbor Freight's advertised as 1/16 of an inch. Looks like it's 1/16 of an inch.
Let's go.
0.0625.
We don't.
Oh my god!
No false advertisement.
We don't mess with liars out here.
Yo!
Guava juice.
Turn it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
It
alright.
looked like it took a bit of damage though.
Yeah.
It was heating up.
Wasn't quick enough.
Do you hear this beat?
The Warrior wheel, which is the Harbor Freight brand, started off at 4.54 inches and is down to 4.05 inches. So it used up
Whoa.
41% of the cutting wheel to
That's
make
a
just
lot
one
of the
cut.
wheel.
That's
The
a
Warrior
little
wheel
unfortunate.
also
That's a
lost
bit too
7
much.
grams of material.
7
It seems like a
grams? That was
lot.
one
Hopefully
cut.
we'll see better
Man was
results
on a
with the
diet.
DeWalt wheel next. DeWalt blade is advertised as being
yikes.
0.045. The actual
Okay,
width of
DeWalt.
the blade,
DeWalt's a classic.
Yep, DeWalt.
0.070.
Oh, he's a liar though.
Nice.
Yeah, it's too thick.
He was a lot thicker than advertised.
It took longer.
93 seconds.
Disappointing.
Come on, the
But hey,
wall.
probably-
Okay,
he
okay,
probably-
but how much is still
He
there?
was probably more durable.
Oh wait,
Was it
wall.
The Walt was faster.
Dang.
Oh.
How?
No.
No!
Warrior-
It clutched out!
Oh.
See?
So, the Warrior, which is made by Harbor Freight, lost 7 grams. the DeWalt
Unfortunate.
It only
two
lost 2 grams though.
The DeWalt wheel started off
Okay.
at 4.53 inches and is down to 4.42 inches.
Okay,
so it's
okay.
about
Durable.
10% of the cutting wheel. Compared to the Warrior, the DeWalt is a thicker cutting wheel, which cuts
Alright,
much
this man
slower
speaking,
but
this man
lasts longer.
speaking.
Let's see how the DeWalt stacks up
Okay,
against the
okay,
Milwaukee
DeWalt-
cutting
DeWalt
wheel.
is
Milwaukee's
durable.
advertised as being
Oh,
0.045,
Playing
0.058.
around, bro.
22% thicker than advertised.
Okay.
So DeWalt was 90. Yo, 48!
Oh!
He's
But where's the
smooth.
durability?
We'll see. But look at this man. Go. He's smooth.
What a legend.
Let's go. Okay. Let's see how much he held up though.
Okay.
That was litty.
So the Milwaukee is a very fast cutting wheel
What?
compared to the Warrior and the DeWalt wheels, but it seems to have worn down.
Omega
very quickly.
Wall.
It started off at 33
Unfortunate.
grams
It
and
lost
lost
5
5
grams. Okay, it's better than the
wheel started
Warrior.
off
Yeah,
at 4.54 inches and is now down to 4.18.
Yikes.
Okay,
So
it's
it
still
used
better
up
than Warrior.
31% of the
What
cutting
a
wheel,
Duck
which
brand?
is
Yo,
more than the
Duck
DeWalt
sucks,
and almost
bro.
as much as
Duck
the Warrior.
really does suck.
I'm really
This
surprised
isn't
the
Duck.
Milwaukee wore
Trash.
down so
No,
quickly. Maybe it's
it was
because
a-
it's
it
a
was
really
a
thin
comment.
cutting wheel. Let's test it
Oh.
against another thin cutting wheel, the Makita, to see if it wears
Makita?
down as quickly.
Yo, Duck was
Makita's
absolute
advertised as
garbage.
364.
Honestly.
Yeah.
T-Rex.
But it was the
0.052.
cheapest. It was a budget tape.
It was. We gotta give it some slack.
It was pretty
It's still
garbage. for
pretty
budget
garbage,
tape.
Sorry,
Whoa.
time to beat is
Whoa.
48 seconds. Throw!
Okay.
Oh.
Did he hold up though? Did he hold up?
It looked like it shredded a lot.
Let's see. Look at
Let's go!
This man lapped him 10 seconds faster.
Bruh. Come on,
Yo,
Milwaukee.
he's still going. He waiting.
bored.
He's chilling at the finish line.
So the
Okay,
Makita
let's
wheel started off at
Oh my
now down to 27 grams.
Damn.
Lost 2
Let's go,
grams.
Makita!
4.53 inches and is now down to 4.4 inches. That's not bad at all. It cut faster than the Milwaukee
That's
and it only used up
Fastest
5%
and
of
most
the wheel,
durable?
while the Milwaukee used up
Absolute
31%
legend.
of the wheel.
That has
This
to
is
be
the
a new
best wheel we've
challenger.
tested.
Diablo!
However, we still need
Yo,
to
I'm
check
expecting
the
big
Diablo. The
things.
Diablo is advertised as .040,
The wheel that's
I am
Other
expecting
wheel.
big things.
Come on, if your name is Diablo. Whoa!
Jack's Garage.
Dirty!
God damn. What's the weight last? What's the weight
We're
last?
about to find
So
out.
Diablo.
Shit is fast.
Diablo versus Makita, the new beef.
Are you
T-Rex
a
got
Diablo fan or
gorilla.
Makita?
A greater rivalry than T-Rex and Gorilla.
On his drag.
Let's see. Look at him go. These are. It was actually he only beat him by 3 seconds.
They're neck and neck.
They really at each other's neck, huh?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
We gotta see how much damage it takes though. Nikita didn't take a lot of damage.
Diablo wasn't playing though.
Look at that. Hurry up, Nikita. Keep up.
Come on, man.
Okay.
So the Diablo is the fastest.
2 grams!
Holy
shit.
Diablo lost 2 grams of material. It started off at 4.62 inches and is now down
Oh,
to 4.48
okay.
Wait, hold
inches.
up. How much?
Okay.
What
So it
percent
used
is
up
that?
15% of the
That's not
cutting wheel,
bad.
which is a little bit more
Okay.
than
Yo, I'm
the
gonna buy some
Diablo.
Diablo.
It sure does make it
Diablo,
faster.
let's go.
I'm afraid there's a next one.
Who
is
Diamond? We've tested. Lennox Metal Max is designed obviously for cutting
30
metal. It's
times
supposed to
longer
deliver
wheel
1,000
life.
plus cuts,
Bro.
And most importantly,
Hold
it's
on, wait,
supposed to
wait,
last
wait.
10 times longer
Eli, you
than
smell that?
regular wheels. The Lennox blade is
Smells like-
.055.
I smell some cat.
That's what
It might not be the fastest, but it might be the most durable. 50 times speed. Yo, it takes
Oh, your booty.
Oh no!
Come on, 322 seconds.
Talking about some diamond.
Oh no!
Yeah, you some
Don't
dirt.
do it, don't
Diablo's
do
about
it.
to smoke you.
You some
Don't do it
dirt.
to him. Don't do it to him. Oh,
That's
my
tragic.
god. Okay, but this one's probably a lot more durable. 4 minutes. Look how hot it is at the bottom.
Ew. Oh,
Holy shit.
So the Lennox cuts extremely slow
Yo,
compared to
what?
the wheel may last 30 times longer, but it also takes 8 to 10 times longer to make
Okay,
it cut.
okay.
The wheel showed virtually no
Alright.
wear,
So
and
you're
there wasn't any
sacrificing speed
noticeable
for
loss of
durability.
material.
That's impossible. How do you do that?
It's so much more expensive.
Oh.
I'd rather buy the Diablo thing.
I bought 5 Diablos.
Yeah.
You could literally do that.
I don't know. Diablo's looking like the winner here.
Diablo, the clear winner.
I was on my
It's
team.
not over. It's not over. This
Oh shit. It's gonna be new
Well,
challenge.
as we saw today,
Oh.
abrasive
Oh,
wheels
was
that
it?
cut
No,
fast
that was
and
the whole
last usually cost a lot more, but the
Let's see.
payback is usually
This
in
is the
dividends
summary.
when you factor in labor cost and time saved. Hey, I don't mind spending a little bit more money for a good wheel as long as it's not one that's going to burn up real fast, because in the end, you're going to spend a lot of time changing out the cutting wheel, and it's not going to cut too fast either, wasting a lot of time. Now, the DeWalt blade did a terrific job in terms of lasting, but it was the slowest cutting wheel we tested. It is also a very
Unfortunate.
wide wheel, so I guess it does make sense, and the type of material being used is a factor as well. Taking into account
Lennox
time
diamond.
as well as
Lying,
cost, it's hard to
but they're
argue that the
still-
Makita isn't the best
they're
wheel
still
because
lit-
that
they're
thing
still
cuts
lit.
fast, and it also lasted
And
quite
I'm
a
dying
long.
lit though.
All right. Here's
In a recent
flat
video, we
disc.
tested grinding wheels.
Look
I had
at
a lot of
these
requests to
boys.
Test flat disc.
God.
When it comes to grinding as well as polishing metal, oftentimes the
Okay,
flat disc is the
okay.
No
toughest part.
sponsors.
So let's get the testing underway and see which one of these flat discs.
Unbiased
marketing.
testing.
Get
What a
feedback
bias.
on the results
He
and
don't
make you
care.
decide the testing
He don't
process
give
as
a
much as
fuck.
possible. I've got a grinder on a pivoting arm that moves freely.
Okay,
I'm gonna plug
okay.
this
Bring
thing
it back
in,
to
start the
classics.
test and
Everything.
Unplug it when the test
Let's
is over
go.
with.
I wish I had his
5 pounds of weight
garage,
on
bro.
top of the grinder. I've done some testing, and 5 pounds seems to be the
This is
right
some
amount for the
quarantine
3/16-inch rusty steel. Now, this is the first test. In the next test, we're going to actually increase the amount of
Imagine
weight
doing tests like
and
this
the
in
amount of
quarantine, it
time
wouldn't
that
be
we use for the test. And this is more of an
3 days
endurance
would've passed
test
by.
to see which of these products can
Facts.
hold up to a lot of heat We're not going to achieve good test results if this piece of steel isn't in constant motion. So this is on a rotating wheel that's going to...
Let's go. Look at this.
Okay.
Thinking big.
I went ahead and weighed each piece of
That's too
steel.
smart,
Once
bro.
this test is complete, we'll remove the steel and see
They're
how much
from
weight
the
has
same
been
sheet of
removed.
metal.
All the flat
Look
discs
at
are
that.
40 grit except the Warrior, which
Yo,
is
these are
36 grit.
thickums.
The least expensive
Oh,
product we'll be
my
testing
lord.
is the Warrior brand, the Makita, Walter, Diablo, DeWalt,
Diablo!
grams.
That's
The Warrior
bad.
is the lightest and the least
They're all
expensive.
the same
flat disc we'll be
brands,
testing.
bro.
So if you take the length and the width of each one of these little sandpaper squares and then count the number of squares, you get a total of 42.3 square inches of
okay,
sandpaper
okay.
material with the Warrior brand.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
Ooh, look at that. After 10 seconds.
Wow.
Oh,
How about the
hey.
Makita in a pack of 5, which did help some with the cost? I figure individually this might cost a little bit more than $4.59.
Okay,
the Makita
Nikita,
flat disc
Nikita.
is about middle of the pack
pockets of
regarding weight,
Serena,
weighing
the
in at
green-looking
89
pig.
grams. So you get 48.1 square inches of sandpaper material with the Makita brand.
Okay,
Yo,
okay,
that's a lot
okay.
of- Whoa, look at that.
Ooh.
Alright, Makita's coming back strong.
Ooh,
Makita's
warrior.
cleaning up.
Weighing in at 99 grams, the Walter is one of the heavier
Walter?
flat discs we'll be
New
testing.
Yo,
shout out-
Unlike some of the competition.
Shout out
to my boy
Trim back some
Walter.
before use out of the flat disc.
I know
The
Walter
brand
watched.
has
Justin?
53.9 square inches of sandpaper material.
53.9 inches, bro. Look at that.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Walter, chill!
It still might be Nikita versus Diablo.
The Diablo is the second
Here he
heaviest.
is.
The Diablo has 65.6
65
square
square
inches of sandpaper material,
inches.
which is the most of any of
Holy
the products we'll be testing.
Big chunk.
It's already going
He's
on!
making a dust storm, bro.
Here's a wrap. Here's a wrap.
Fuck you, Walter!
That's
over.
alright. That's a wrap. Cut the camera.
The Diablo seems to be overpriced compared to the competition. This actually costs more than the Diablo, even though it
That
only
costs
weighs
more than
79
Diablo?
grams, the second
Get outta
lightest
here.
product we'll be
What?
testing. It just doesn't seem like it's properly priced
And it's the
compared to some of
lightest.
the other products. The DeWalt costs twice as much as the Warrior
Bro,
brand,
look
but
at the
only
square
contains
inches.
10% more
Oh,
sandpaper
no, 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 no,
material.
no, no, no,
So
no,
this
no.
has got to be
Diablo's
some really good
about to be
sandpaper
your
in order to make this a good
Diablo's
Sucking
about to
nuts on
grass.
the last one.
Diablo's gonna be your mouth.
Come
Oh,
on,
Diablo's
your booty.
Diablo's smoking
That's
you.
facts.
Sit
That's
down.
facts.
Go back
That's
on the
facts.
bench. You're off.
The most
Fucking
expensive flat disc we'll be
trash.
testing is the Norton.
Red
it also
heat.
weighs
Look
the
at that.
most
It's got
122
alternators.
grams.
Cool
Just like the Walter wheel, this is a trimmable
Cool
disc.
colors.
The Norton has the second most sandpaper material,
Norton!
only beat by the Diablo.
Aiden, watch out. It's already done.
Okay, Norton versus Diablo.
Yo.
Norton
And
antivirus.
start off at 1,008 grams. It now weighs 1,000 grams. Since it was just a short 1-minute test, we wouldn't expect much damage to be done to the flat disc, but we're going to take a close look at each one to see how much damage occurred. There's definitely some indication of wear. You can see where a lot of sandpaper has torn away from the actual paper itself. While it did remove 8 grams of metal, as you'll see, it just did not cut very deep into the rust
Come on,
scale
warrior.
itself. The piece of metal used in the Makita test weighed 1,024 grams. It now weighs 1,003 grams. So if you
Okay.
compare the Makita to the Warrior brand, you
Makita
can tell it definitely
thing,
cut a lot
solid.
deeper, and it did a lot better job as far as removing the rust scale itself. So this is a new Makita wheel. This is a used one, and you can see a huge difference. There was a lot of wear in this wheel, probably more than the hardwood
Ouch,
frame.
Nikita not
Obviously,
bringing
removed
it.
more than twice as much material,
that
but it came at a
durability.
price.
Whoa.
The
That
metal
shit
used to
shit.
test a Walter flat disc
Now,
weighed
where's the
1,005
King
grams.
Diablo?
It now weighs 995 grams.
Diablo
almost 10
just-
grams of steel.
That's on his
The Walter
throne,
wheel
bro.
did a lot better than Makita, although there is some wear of the sand.
It
grip
took some
material on
damage,
the very
though.
leading edge. There's been some loss, not nearly as much as the Makita wheel. A close look at the steel that the Walter blade cut on, you can see that it did a really good job
It's
as far
clean.
as
It's
getting
clean.
down
Walter
to
did
the
I-
steel
Walter.
past along
Walter
the
was-
rust
no,
scale.
Walter was
Piece
good.
of steel used in the Diablo test started
Here's
off
Diablo,
1,007
1,007.
grams. It now weighs 993
Bruh.
plus 14 grams. The Diablo did a pretty decent job of removing the rust scale. The Diablo did pretty good as far as wear and tear. There is a little bit of grip loss along the leading edge,
It's
just like
still
with all the other
living.
brands.
Bro,
Comparing
look
the
at
used to
that.
the used,
Come
this
on.
Diablo wheel has a
Makita,
lot
eat
of
your
life.
heart out.
The piece of steel used in the DeWalt test started
Leave
off
it.
at
Come
1,041
on, bro.
grams.
6
DeWalt.
grams.
Compared to the competition, DeWalt did not do quite as good of a job
Ouch,
removing
DeWalt.
the rust
Piece of
scale.
shit.
Comparing the new DeWalt wheel to the used one, you
More
can
like
see
the
there's a lot
ass,
of wear
get
and
out.
tear on the leading edge of the
There's
sandpaper.
more wear and
So
tear,
the
bro.
DeWalt
DeWalt
wheel
just
doesn't
did not
seem
bring
as
it.
durable as some of the
No.
competition. The metal used in the Norton test started off at 1,000.
There's Norton, there's Norton.
It now weighs 1,004, a loss of 9 grams.
Okay,
Compared to the
9.
competition, the
Well,
Norton
look at it
definitely did a
though.
very
No, that's
job
good,
cutting
that's-
through the
that
rust
means
scale
how
and getting
mean
down
that
to the
is.
clean steel.
Norton.
This is the new Norton wheel. This is the used one. And as you can see, there's very little wear and tear on the Norton wheel
Norton
compared to
is
some of the
bringing it.
competition.
Oh no, Norton kind of fucking smoked.
Yeah,
Kinda
but he was
fits.
durable. He was durable.
Makita got rid
The
of a
second
lot,
test
but
involves using
Diablo
the same
stayed
exact
strong.
piece of metal that we used the first time, but just flipping it over and then running it for twice as long with twice as much weight to see how the flat disc withstands the heat and the pressure.
Okay. Let's go, Warrior. Let's see what you can do.
Bruh.
2 minutes.
Get
are up.
off.
Makita. Oh, he's not. After one use.
Oh, come on, man. Walter?
Walter.
Come on, man.
Go up.
Hey, alright.
We gotta wipe it off to see. Not bad. Not bad from Walter. Diablo.
Oh, come on, bring that heat.
Okay,
Let's get
Diablo,
it.
let's go.
Oh, yo, this thing is huge.
It's a thick man. We gotta wait until he analyzes. We can't really get too.
Wall.
We gotta.
That's funny.
Sit down
We
the
gotta-
wall.
We gotta see the weights.
Norton, wait, I
Norton.
forgot.
How you doing, Norton?
Norton's
Okay,
pretty thick.
okay.
Norton's pretty thick.
Norton is a thick boy.
Okay, okay.
So this is the metal that was used on the Warrior wheel. Started off at 1,000 grams. It's down to
1,000.
996, so it only lost 4
4
grams this time. It's
4
very hard
grams.
to see
It was
all the
twice as
sandpaper that's
long,
torn away
though.
from the flat disc because the backing and the sandpaper are the same color. However, there is a lot of damage to this wheel. This is the piece of metal that was used in the first test, and you can see it actually got past some of the rust scale in a couple of spots.
Yeah,
On the
it looks a
second
little
side, the sandpaper lost so much grit that it just didn't do a very effective job. There's a very
it didn't
narrow
bring it
path where
around
it did
back.
a good job of removing
no,
most of
no,
the
no,
scale,
no.
but there's still a lot of
Warrior.
rust scale that has not yet been removed.
It's the
So steel
cheapest
that we
though. You
used
don't
in the
expect
Makita
much.
test started off at 1,003
Makita.
grams. It's down to 996, a loss
Hi,
of 7
Makita.
grams. In
7
the first
grams.
test, the Makita did a
Okay.
great job cutting through most of the rust scale in several areas. On the second test, you can see the Makita didn't quite cut through the rust scale very effectively, and that's because there was a lot of damage done to the wheel in the first
Oh
test.
yeah, this one
So
took
the
a lot of
second test
damage.
really
I
took a toll
forgot.
on the Makita wheel. You can see there's a lot of sandpaper
Oof.
torn away from the backing.
That's
So the
a
Walter
death.
started off at 995. It removed 4 grams. On the first test, the
It's
Walter,
Walter.
successfully made it through a lot of the rust scale, but on the second test, it just lost a lot of its
Walter,
bite and
no.
it didn't quite get through it. But it definitely did better
You
than the
hate to
Makita.
see it,
So you can see there's a
Walter.
lot more wear and tear on the Makita wheel than there is on the Walter. The Walter is still in pretty good shape. So
Walter,
Diablo
take
started
it.
off at 993. It's down to 984. A loss of 9
Let's
grams.
go!
Diablo actually did a pretty good job on the second test. It started to cut through the rust scale, but the test ended before it could make much progress. This is the Walter wheel, and this is the
Unfortunate.
Diablo. A closer look at each one of these wheels, and you can see that the amount of wear and tear is about the same. The DeWalt started off at 1,035 grams. It's down to
Damn.
1,029. A loss
okay.
of 6 grams.
Come on,
of weight.
DeWalt,
The
you gotta
wheel
pick
does
up
not
the
seem to have
pace.
done
Even
as
drop
good as
1,000.
the Norton or the Diablo.
That's
in
true.
that
For
test.
Norton. Norton's gonna
Unfortunately,
be
the
Oh
DeWalt
shit,
didn't
Norton!
Might be
bite
800.
on the second test. It really did not do much as far as cutting through the scale. The Warrior wheel is on the right and the DeWalt wheel is on the left, and as you can see, the amount of damage
Marcus, what do you
to each
gotta say
wheel
about
is
this?
very close to the same. So the Norton started off at 1,004 grams. It's down to 998, a loss of 6
That's
grams.
Gucci, Norton.
Here's the
Damn.
results from the first test. You can see it cut through a lot of rust scale. On the
at
second
that.
test, you can see it just
Oh,
didn't get through the rust
Norton,
scale
what
very
happened?
quickly.
Ooh,
This is the Norton,
Norton.
and this is the Diablo, and as you can see,
Fuck
the
you,
amount of
you piece of
sandpaper
shit.
wear
Fuck
a
you.
little bit more on the Norton.
Damn.
I
The amount of
hate you.
separation
Kinda
between
bad.
the
Norton
backing
took
and
more
the
damage than
seems to be about
Diablo.
the same.
Okay, Diablo's
That's what you
cheaper
get,
than Norton though.
Norton.
Let's go, Diablo.
Ah, let's go, Diablo.
All right, Diablo, Diablo.
Okay. Makita though. Makita don't last.
Only.
Yeah,
Makita don't last.
I think we know who the king is.
Easy wins.
Diablo.
Easy wins.
It might be an easy dub. It might be an easy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Removing
Two
rust
wins.
All right, I gotta pee.
Removing-
But the next one is Flex Seal the best.
Oh,
Flex seal.
Stop
go
playing.
back to the tapes.
Let's go.
Spray. This is the spray.
What?
Oh,
Oh shoot! I heard some bad shit about the spray.
It's getting
Get
serious.
poison, bro.
We're gonna take an intermission
yeah.
here.
I gotta pee.
Intermission.
We used the spray like outside. It didn't go so.
You used it?
Yeah, it didn't go so well.
Oh damn! So you don't have high hopes for this one?
No high hopes for the Lord.
I'm saying my bets on Coca-Cola.
I gotta put Diablo on the screen now. Oh,
Shit, you can put Diablo from Suicide Squad.
Sam won't. Let's see. I'm gonna look up Diablo. See what I get. Alright, intermission.
Alright.
Take 2.
Phantom Forces intermission.
Alright, I'll put the Blizzard Diablo.
Bro, we gotta spread the word. We gotta spread the word.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell everyone to subscribe to Project Farm. Boom, put it right there, Diablo. It's chilling in the back.
Carnival, bro.
Apocalypse Rising. I haven't played that in a
Apocalypse
while.
Oh shit.
Electric desires have unraveled all my wires. Now I'm in a box. Keeping. Wait, that's the wrong lyrics. You can't win me.
See
I
me.
can't be beat. I won't hurt you
Unless you cheat.
You can't see me behind the screen. I'm
Please do not copyright us.
Oh shoot, I should turn this off then. I'm gonna get Cabinet Man like MIDI or something. Give me that MIDI. I don't want Neo striking me.
And just put KK Weezer.
Oh yeah. I'll just put KK Slider. No, wait. Would they allow KK Slider music?
I mean, it's fan
I
made.
don't know, bro. Nintendo would kind of smoke.
Nintendo got the ninjas on me. They're going, hey.
Even the KK Slider parodies?
They're a fan of Makita.
Well, I don't know about the actual music parodies, but I know they would get on us if they would put the actual KK.
They would get honest if they put the actual KK.
Nintendo kind of crazy.
Aiden, isn't it if you put like another portal
Gotta change the
800 blocks
title.
away from like another nether portal, it should be its own separate portal?
800?
800, or is it more than that?
Yeah, I think 800 should be fine.
Why the fuck is this shit linking?
That's weird.
Bro, I'm just trying to make my own nether portal, man. I want to go to my own house. Okay, how do I... Fuck, need more nether then. Or obsidian. Alright, let's see. How to calculate my coordinates. Oh, I think it has to be done in the nether.
Turn off the game title Roblox.
Oh, you're right. All the Roblox people are gonna come.
Hey, how's your friend forces going? What rank are you?
I was going ham, bro. I think I'm like rank 20.
Bruh!
I got the
How?
Deagle. The Deagle's so
Oh my
fun.
God.
The Deagle is so fun.
I like snipers.
Hey, y'all
They're
ready?
really fun.
I think.
Oh, let's
I think
go.
we're ready.
Weezer rematch, let's go.
I really enjoy the Flex product infomercials. They always have some pretty impressive repairs
go.
that are made in a matter of
Okay, I'm
seconds
ready.
or moments. Now, in the past we tested flex tape and it actually did fairly well. I really didn't think it would work so well because I don't really trust any product that's being sold on television.
Okay,
So the question
okay.
is flex seal as good as
Okay,
competition?
That's a
he's
shot.
We'll be testing it
Shots.
against a couple
You
other
don't
brands
trust that.
today, and we're going to do
Mr.
some
Swift?
significant damage to some
Slap
products to see if
You
they
gotta
can help.
retaliate.
So let's get the testing underway. In the first test, we're going to use a sawzall, cut each one of these buckets from top to bottom, and then use the different spray sealants to see which product
Facing
works the best.
north.
Okay, okay.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Jiggly jiggly.
I'm going to prepare each surface with rubbing alcohol to make sure it's clean.
Oh yeah.
I went ahead and taped the top of each bucket to make sure that the gap isn't different between the buckets. So what I'm going to do now is spray each product on each one of these buckets. And then
King
allow-
status.
So what does Permaseal
Is that
repair?
king
It
shit?
repairs flashing and gutters,
Let's go, let's
drywall
go.
and PVC, roofs, shingles, and underlayment.
I'm not hyped for Permaseal.
Why?
Yeah, it looks sus on the. Oh, whoa, ew!
Yo, Permaseal's a little powerful.
It's a bit messy.
It's a bit dripping.
Yeah.
It's very high viscosity.
As you can see.
So Flex Seal claims to be excellent for roof leaks, gutters, skylights, window seals, flashings, ductwork, foundations, awnings, chimneys,
Everything.
downspouts, vent pipes, AC drip pans, RVs, campers, trailers, projects, crafts, hobbies, and so much more.
Oh my. Jesus.
That's thick,
It's a
bro.
thick coat.
Easiest product to apply.
Thick.
Okay.
So what can Rust-Oleum Leak Seal repair? It works on metal, aluminum, galvanized metal, PVC, concrete, masonry, asphalt
lava.
roofing, vinyl siding, fiberglass, and more.
Alright, that's
it's
what
clear.
I like. That's what I like.
It's clear,
Flex
bro.
clear.
This air tank has
okay,
4 different holes in it, but we're only
okay.
going to be
I don't want
testing
that
with
mess.
3 of the different holes using
Okay,
one
so
hole
I
tape-
want to
product.
make it look like
What
the
we'll do
this
first
again?
though, is sand this tank
Yeah.
down,
Oh, I
and then we're
love
going to
this
spray
test.
each product over top of one of these
Blows
holes.
up.
Okay,
After each product
okay.
cures, we're going to dip this air tank in an aquarium and see how much air pressure each of these products can handle
fish in
before
there?
they let go.
This is like my favorite test.
Honestly, because they just blow up if something goes wrong.
word.
In addition to testing how well they work on metal, we're also going to test how well these sealants work on PVC. This
Oh,
test
PVP?
allows the pressure gauge
Yeah.
on it is going to
PVC,
measure how much
yeah.
pressure is being added to it.
Not PVP.
Also, we're going to drill 3 different holes in this PVC, and then we're going to cover each
Look
hole
at that, he
with each of the
recycles.
products
That's
to
from
see
the
how much pressure
Elmer.
They can take. The drill
Let's
bit we'll be using
go.
is 3/30 seconds
Oh,
or
look at Earth.
2.36 millimeters.
How about that earth?
Honestly.
Honest to God, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Permaseal? Clean with rubbing alcohol. Okay, okay.
Very thickums. Rust-Oleum clear shiz.
For certain applications, structural integrity is very
Well, I don't know,
important.
I don't know.
If the
It might be a
product doesn't
sleeper.
provide some sort of adhesive ability, the product
Sure,
isn't
we
going
don't know
to
what's
work.
about to happen.
So what we're going to do is
It
cut
could be
each one of these
Ash
pipes
McGee.
into 2 pieces and then
Oh,
spray
he's
on
testing
each
to see if they
product
hold
to
shit
see how much
together, bro.
structural integrity it adds
This
to
is-
the
this
piece.
is
Oh,
Okay.
that test. I like that test too.
That's a really good test.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hey.
That's
Vertical line
understandable. That's
represents the
understandable.
fact
Let's
that I've
seal
indexed
it.
each one of these pipes, so we're putting the pipe back together in the exact same
If you're
position
holding
it
your
was
bucket
before.
together,
So
you
we
gotta
have a
see how
perfectly
much the
flat
bucket can
surface.
hold.
What I'm going to do now is spray down the outside
That
of
is,
each one
that
of these
is.
pipes.
That's facts.
Not the markings. That is drippy.
But it clear.
Each
Ain't
product
no
requires a
mess.
different amount of time.
No,
to
I'm talking
cure.
about the
one that
gray
requires the
one.
most amount of
Oh.
time is Flex Seal. So instead of just
Alright,
allowing
alright.
48 hours, the
What do you
required
predict
amount of
will win?
time,
I
we
think-
actually allowed 70 hours.
I like
to
that
cure
clear
the
one.
product.
Honestly-
So each of these
honestly-
products should be fully cured. Even though Rust-Oleum was applied to both sides
Look at
of this
that.
bucket, unfortunately, there's a large gap in it.
Flex
So
Seal-
this bucket.
I think Flex Seal might have it.
Close look at the
Yeah,
Permaseal
I
bucket.
got
It's
Flex
very
Seal
clear
might.
that it did a
Or
very good job
Permaseal.
of filling
Yeah.
in the cracks.
It's either-
and most likely this will hold water.
What, that's
it
the
appears that
messy
the Flex
one?
Seal bucket will also hold water. I don't see any sort of air gaps in the crack. With that being said,
Flex or the
it
clear
doesn't
one?
seem to have as thick
No,
of
Flex
an
is the gray
application
one.
coat as the Permaseal.
Yeah.
No?
Look at that.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, the Rust-Oleum bucket did not hold water.
Ooh, okay. Oh no, it's dripping.
I see some drip.
Hey,
Oh.
look at the shot.
Wrong
Hey, yo, that's a lit shot!
Oh, he's
It's
peeing.
dripping. It's
Unfortunately, the
dripping.
Permaseal bucket is leaking.
Dripping.
Let's see,
Ooh!
Holy shit. LA.
Seal?
No spills!
no leaks!
Phil, you were playing.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
Phil. We might have a top-notch
Of the
product.
3 products, Flex Seal is the only product that actually worked.
Actually works.
Actually surprising.
Sealant, you want to be able to pick the bucket
Okay,
up and have
okay.
enough structural strength from
Do you
the
think
product
you're
that's
gonna be
being
able to
used
pick it up,
keep the
though?
bucket intact.
Maybe.
So I'm gonna see if I can cause this product to fail just by pulling on the side.
Oh, he's gonna see if he can break it with his brute strength.
Oh?
Let's go!
Okay, that took quite a bit
Need
of
to see it.
force. I don't have a measurement, obviously, but Flex Seal actually did a fairly good job. To make this stronger,
You know what? I'm taking his word. I'm taking his
word.
word.
It would have torn. Now
Yeah,
for the
he's an honest
Rust-Oleum.
guy.
Oh, this is garbage.
Was that flex clear?
No, that was
Oh, this one's gonna.
Rust-Oleum.
This one's gonna take a hot minute.
All right, with the Permaseal,
Oh,
you
it's
can
not.
see it's flexing just from pulling on it. This seems a lot more
Yikes.
rubbery than the Flex Seal. Not a whole lot of force there.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
It's just sad.
In this test, I'm gonna slide this PVC
here
pipe
we
Let's go, let's
over
go.
top of the metal
One
pipe.
of the best tests.
I'm gonna start the test
I
right
love
where the
this
break
test.
is in the pipe, and then I'm gonna move outward.
Oh, it's 'cause
1
it's
inch
clear.
at a
I'm
time
like, where is
until
it?
the pipe breaks.
I mean, that's his perk.
Oh, it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I did alright.
6 inches.
Oh.
6 inches.
Okay, up next is Permaseal. The lines are a little hard to see, but I can see them through the product, so I'm gonna go ahead and begin.
That's
Permaseal about to get
20
smoked.
Come on,
Unfortunate.
Permaseal.
Damn.
You know what? You know what? We might have to remind them about him.
So the first line is right where the cut in the pipe is. I'll go ahead and begin the
Oh,
test.
what was it called?
Loctite.
Yeah, Loctite. We might have to remind them about Loctite.
No, Flex. Oh, Flex is
Oh,
also.
fuck.
That was fast though. That thing broke.
We might have to remind them about Loctite.
Okay,
I'm
Flex
using
2
one of these
wins.
three products to
Alright,
seal
here we
the
go.
pipe. How well is it going to stick
Oh,
to
let's
PVC?
go.
What I'm going to do is place this pipe under the water. Then I'll begin adding
Alright,
air
this is
pressure
one of the
to
real
this until
tests.
Each one of them
This is the
ruptures,
realest.
and we'll see which one can
This
take
is the
most
real
pressure.
test.
I've inserted a pressure gauge into this pipe so we can keep track of how much pressure is being added.
Come on, Flex.
Come on.
I'm leaving.
Come on.
Cut the cameras. Look at the clear! I told you!
Began leaking.
To clear, bro.
Nay, nay.
Rust-Oleum.
15?
15.
15 psi?
I told you!
Stop playing!
Let's go!
Damn.
40 psi.
Yo!
Stop test for safety reasons.
Because it was gonna blow
Let's
up!
go, Rust-Oleum.
Yo, F
Definitely
them
not the most
up.
scientific way to test the
Permafix
product. What we're going
sucks.
to do is actually
Marcus,
scratch
can you
each
read your
product,
commentary
on
seal
this?
the properties.
Oh.
This is real gummy, and it does seem to do a pretty good job of
Marcus.
sticking. It reminds me a lot of an adhesive, like a
Ew.
rubber cement. Rust-Oleum definitely has a lot better
I gotta
bond
put
than
a separate
PVC.
section
Is Marcus
for
This
typing in
is
this
pretty
shit?
good, but it doesn't seem to
he's
really stick to
typing
the
in,
PVC very well. I'm
Thought
not
it was
having
gonna
any sort of
explode.
problem scratching it off. We're going to see how well these products stick to
Let's
metal.
go!
In the next test, I'll be
Hey,
placing
Marcus,
this tank
but
underwater and
he's
adding
not
air
talking,
pressure
he's in the
until
chat.
each one of the products fails.
Watch
What's
together.
chat?
Watch together, chat.
Oh. There's a chat?
Man, there's a chap there.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it looks like Flex Seal started leaking at about 2,000
Come on,
pressure.
Flex. This is
Bruh.
what you're supposed to do.
I'm disappointed.
Oh.
Look at
5
Rust-Oleum.
PSI. 5 PSI.
Oh,
Oh,
high hopes.
Okay,
bro.
Rust-Oleum has failed.
That shit's sentient.
Okay.
Permaseal got that one though. That's their first win.
That's their only win!
They only dub.
Rust-Oleum's the cheapest though.
So back to the
I'm
original
not buying
question, is
Rust-Oleum.
Flex Seal the best? It definitely seems to be the best for most repairs that I would make around my home. However, it's definitely not the best for all different types of problems. Where you need a product to fill a gap or a crack, it definitely seems to be the best all around. In applications where you don't need a lot of flexibility, but you need a lot of strength, as we saw in the PVC and the air tank testing, Rust-Oleum is going to be a better product. Regarding Permaseal, it is far more flexible than both Rust-Oleum and Flex Seal.
All right. Y'all ready?
Alright, hit us up.
This one is best paint.
Stop playing.
So when it comes to painting the inside of your home, there are
Okay.
a lot of things.
Marquee!
And price is definitely a factor.
Yo,
I buy those.
Bear?
11 different types of
Classic.
paint. Some of them
Classic
cost 4
Bear.
times more than the least expensive paint.
Classic
And we're going to
Brad.
see if
Never
the price
any
really makes a
sponsors.
difference. in
Let's go.
performance.
There's no
So let's go
bias.
testing
You don't
and we're gonna
mess
see
with
which
these.
brand is the best. All 11 paints that we'll be
For
testing are
real?
flat interior latex paints. We'll see which product does the best at painting over stains. We'll also see which is best for painting wood paneling. We're also going to see just how good these paints are at stain resistance and cleanability. In the first test, we'll be seeing which paint has the best one-coat coverage. We'll see which paint can do the best job painting over these dark green stripes to make a solid flat white finish. The least expensive paint we'll be testing is this Valspar Pro Express Coat,
Oh, he's
costing only
exposing the store.
$12.98.
So if it's booty,
The second least expensive cost
That
is
was
$16.84
so visible,
for the
bro.
gallon size container is this Color Place interior.
He said, "Don't go to these
Now, it comes
stores."
with a 15-year warranty. It claims to be
Which one is this,
durable,
Walmart?
washable, and easy
This is Walmart.
application.
how Walmart better?
The third least
It's
expensive
better
paint
than
at
Lowe's.
$18.98
Those
per
are
gallon is this
people.
Glidden Premium Interior Paint and Primer. It has a lifetime guarantee, scrubbable and washable.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Paramount Paint is
Menards.
$21.98 per gallon.
That's
It
just
claims to have the most
Menards.
advanced
What's
protection.
Menards?
Provides a durable and washable protective shield.
Menards.
Exceptional stain blocking and hiding.
Okay. Oh.
Hey.
Also sold at Menards.
Okay, okay.
Also Menards.
Man, that mean nothing to
$29.98.
you.
It comes with a lifetime warranty. It's supposed to provide advanced
No,
primer,
this shit
stain
forever,
blocking
man.
technology, advanced washability, and stain resistance.
Hey.
Bruh.
My
Alright.
original intent was to
Okay.
test flat white paints, and unfortunately, I grabbed the wrong type of paint with
Aw,
Nautica.
it's
and I
okay,
just
man.
decided
It's
to try to
okay.
roll with
It's
it to
aight.
see how it would
We
work.
all make mistakes.
And it's definitely not going to work for the purposes of this video. So I'm going to throw out all the testing results involving the Nautica paint. At $33.98, PPG
that's not fun,
Timeless
people.
Interior Paint and Primer claims
Points
to
per
be a
game.
one coat hide and coverage. It claims to be the toughest, most wear-resistant
Pog
interior
champ.
paint.
You know what?
Tech technology,
Pogs per
outstanding
champ.
washability,
Let's see you
scrubbability, and stain resistance.
hold up to that offer. Oh shoot!
Oh, Lowe's is back.
With Valspar.
It claims to be high hiding paint and primer. Stands up to anything. It has scuff shield technology, which means it resists
Oh,
Shield.
no
stains.
scuffs.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
$38.99
Sherwin Williams.
1-gallon container.
Classic.
Two kings back to back.
HGTV Home
HGTV.
Showcase paint. It's a stain blocking paint and primer. Stays clean longer, advanced stain and scrub resistance. One coat coverage is guaranteed.
Oh, this is only a one coat, so let's see.
At
Ooh.
$40.98
was
per
dope.
gallon.
Yo, we got some
this
stiff-
Bear
we got some
LP
stiff
paint
competition
is
for
the
this
second
one.
most expensive paint we'll be testing. It has a one coat hide guaranteed.
This is also
Lasting
one coat
beauty and
guaranteed.
durability. The most
Okay.
expensive paint we'll be
Okay.
testing is the Sherwin-Williams Emerald, costing
$50?
$50.74 per
Oh my
gallon. It
lord.
claims to have exceptional beauty, washability, and application. We're going to give these paints a couple hours to cure.
Okay,
and
though.
We're going to take a closer look at each
Wow.
one of them. It's been 24 hours since I applied these paints, so let's take a closer look at each one of them.
Damn, that
Valspar
first one
Pro
was
is the most
ass.
expensive
Ooh.
paint, and you can see
Yo,
a
that
lot
first
of
one
these
was
dark color
doo-doo,
paints. I think they
doo-doo.
did not do a very good job.
That
with the
wasn't very
one-coat
pro,
coverage. The Walmart
Valspar.
brand Color Place actually did quite a bit better than Valspar Pro. As you can see, it did have quite a few
Walmart.
areas where it didn't quite provide a good one-coat coverage, but when you consider the price of the paint, it actually did fairly well. Glidden Premium actually did quite well for a budget
Alright.
paint. When you consider the difference between Glidden Premium and Color Place, you can see there's a lot better
Okay,
coverage.
okay,
Pittsburgh
okay.
Premium is a little
I'm
bit
back.
more expensive than Glidden Premium, and it also seems to have done a little bit better job.
Bro,
You
Eli,
can
we
still
got
see a
some
little bit of
stiff
shadow
competition.
underneath the
Yeah,
paint,
it's
but
getting
not
better,
quite
better
as
the more
bad
the
as
price
Glidden
goes.
Premium. Dutch Boy did a respectable job. It doesn't seem to have done nearly
Nah,
as
not
well
this
as
one.
Pittsburgh
Yeah.
covering up
Come on,
the
Dutch
dark
Boy.
paint. PPG Timeless definitely did
Yo,
a better
these-
job than
these went
everything
ham.
to
Yo,
the left.
These-
With
these-
that
Pogs
said,
per
there's
champ.
still a little bit of shadowing, and the coverage isn't
Look
quite
at
as
that.
good as some of the brands we're about to look at. Valspar Signature definitely had slightly better coverage than PPG Timeless, and there's a little bit less shadowing. The HGTV
Okay.
Home did not seem to do quite as well as the Valspar
Yeah, that
Signature
one-
regarding
the
coverage,
Valspar's
and
good.
you can see a little bit more shadowing with paint.
Valspar
The
was
performance
really
between the
good.
Bear Marquee and the
Valspar
Valspar
had-
Signature, I would call it
That
a
shit was
tie.
wild.
Both of these paints did extremely well. The only thing I don't like
That
about
one's
the
a lot
Bear
smoother.
Marquee is it reminded me of Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. This stuff is extremely sticky and thick, and it goes on very heavy. However, it does provide an incredible job as far as one-coat coverage.
Yeah,
This
Bear's a
film
classic.
really
Bear's a classic.
surprised me at just how good it is.
Look at that, though.
What
That's
surprised
pretty.
me the most is this paint doesn't have a very high viscosity compared to Bear Marquee.
Exactly.
But if you look at the
Ooh.
surface, it seems to have done a better job with one-coat coverage. Coming in
Smooth.
first is Emerald.
Okay.
Valspar tied for second.
Let's go,
PPG time was
Emerald.
fourth, and
Emerald actually
HGTV
popped
fifth.
off.
That
Well,
one's
it's not good
expensive,
practice to
though.
apply paint to
Oh,
wood
come on,
panels
Valspar
without
Pro.
dead
You
lines.
kidding
We're
me?
going to do so to test the ability.
What
of
is that one?
Oh, that's
Oh,
the one.
coverage while
That's
also
the
preventing yellow
Nautica.
bleed
My
through
bad.
from the wood paneling. Oftentimes, the stains used in this wood paneling
Come
will
on,
bleed
bro.
through the paint and leave the paint
Alright.
with a very yellow appearance. We're looking to see how
Ew.
well these products did as far as one-coat coverage, and we're also looking for yellowing. Just like we saw before, Valspar Pro didn't seem to do a very good job as far as one-coat coverage.
on,
However,
man.
there's not too much yellowing
Unfortunate.
compared to some of
That's
the
a
other
dirty
brands.
toilet
Colorplay
wipe.
seems to have done quite a bit better than Valspar Pro as far as the one-coat
Are we?
coverage.
I still
However,
see some.
There is a little bit of yellowing taking place.
Calvin.
Colorplace and Glidden are
Now I
very
know
equal
he has a
matched. They
toilet
seem
paper.
about the same. There does seem to be a little bit more
doesn't have a
yellowing
toilet paper
with
bag.
Oh,
Colorplace
he should
than
do
there
that
does
for
with the Glidden.
quarantine.
They definitely did a
Which
better job
one
with
can
one-coat
provide the
coverage than
Phantom
Glidden.
wipe?
However, there does appear to be more of a yellow
Yo,
appearance to
Sherman.
it than there does with the Glidden. For
That
one-coat
one's
coverage,
nice.
Pittsburgh seems maybe slightly better than
Okay,
Dutch Boy.
okay.
They both did a
Dutch
pretty
Boy
good
kinda
job,
slacking,
but there's
bro.
definitely a little bit more
That's
yellowing with
crisp.
Dutch Boy than there is
I'm
with
talking about
Pittsburgh.
compared to
PPG
Pittsburgh.
Timeless did a
Yeah.
great job as far as one-coat
PG
coverage.
yo!
There seemed to be quite a bit
That's
of yellowing
nice.
to this
Yo, PG
wood.
said it.
Valspar
Look at
seems to
Valspar,
do a
though.
better
I'm
job
white.
at one-coat coverage than PPG Timeless.
You're
Like I
white.
said, there just
He's
isn't
white.
that much yellow tint to it. Sherwin-Williams didn't do quite as good as Valspar Signature as
Valspar
far as one-coat
pops off.
coverage, and there's a little bit
I'm
more of a
gonna buy
yellow
me some
tint to the
Valspar.
paint. Bear Marquee
Yo, this
did
is
a great
way
job
more
as far as
difficult on
one-coat
camera.
coverage as well. There is a little bit more yellowing though than there is with the Valspar Signature. So I'd say Valspar Signature seems slightly better than the
Sherwin-Williams.
Bear Marquee.
Emerald,
Emerald
bro.
definitely
Okay.
did the best of all
Boom!
the tested as far as one
Nice.
coat
Emerald,
coverage,
let's
and
go!
less yellowing than any of the
Marcus,
other
you
brands.
can't drink
Once
these.
again, Emerald came in first, Valspar
Don't
Signature
drink it.
second, Bear Marquee
Emerald and
third,
Valspar,
PPG
bro.
Timeless
They got-
fourth, and
God.
HGTV fifth. Most of these paints
Oh,
claim they're
mustard!
excellent at stain
Stop.
coverage. We'll see how
Stop
well these
doing it.
products
Wanna
do
be
at covering
fellas?
up crayon
Mustard
stains.
or
Let's see how
ketchup?
these paints perform covering up a
Markers.
permanent marker stain. If you have kids,
Oh,
odds
that
are you're going
hurts.
to end up with a little bit of ketchup and mustard on the walls. Let's see how these paints
mustard.
do at covering up a grease stain.
Who uses
It's
mustard?
been about 5
Ew,
minutes since
grease.
I applied these stains. Let's see if we can get them off. We're going to allow this wall to dry out. We'll come back to this later in the video. The stain from the crayon shouldn't be too challenging for these paints, but the
Okay.
permanent marker is definitely going to put these paints to the test. The permanent marker
Ooh.
and the crayon stains prove to be a
Valspar Pro
very
is
challenging
out.
task.
Get
for
out.
Valspar Pro is not very
No
pro.
one's buying
Yeah,
it.
as
it's
well as
kinda-
Valspar Signature is where it's
but still,
at.
Colorplace did a lot better job than Valspar Pro.
Okay,
at covering
color
up the
place
permanent
out here
marker.
being the
Colorplace definitely did a
the
better
all-right
job of covering
average.
up the permanent marker
It's
than
grayer,
Glidden
though.
Premium.
That's a bit weird.
Colorplace actually did better than Pittsburgh at covering
It
up
is-
this
it is
permanent
grayer.
marker stain. However, Pittsburgh
But
definitely
it's
did
doing
better
its
than
job.
Glidden Premium and
Facts.
Valspar
Look at that, it looks so
It's very
weird.
close between Pittsburgh and Dutch Boy, but
That's
it looks
not
like
white.
Dutch Boy may have edged out
But it's doing
by a
its
little
job.
bit on this permanent
It's
marker
going hard,
stain.
though.
However, Colorplace seems to have
That's
done
a great
better than
idea.
both of these two brands. PPG Timeless and the other premium paints
PPG.
definitely outperformed
Color-
all of the
but
less
Colorplace is
expensive
like
paints.
the best of
With
the
that said,
ass.
PPG Timeless did a great job of covering up the permanent marker stain while it's still visible.
I would say
it actually
Pittsburgh
seems
is the
better than
best of the ass.
Colorplace and the rest of the less expensive brands. PPG Timeless actually looks a little bit better than Valspar.
Wow,
Signature, but again,
taking out
Valspar
the
Signature
big
did a pretty
gun.
good job.
Ooh.
It's very close between Valspar Signature.
Look at
and
Emerald
Sherwin-Williams,
chilling
but I
over
think
there with
Valspar
nothing.
Signature
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
PPG Timeless,
Look
Valspar
at it.
Signature, and Sherwin-Williams all seem to have done
Ooh,
slightly
Bear.
better than Bear Marquee at covering up this permanent marker stain. Emerald definitely seems to have won this showdown. Once
Let's
again,
go,
this is a very
Emerald!
Good job of covering up this permanent
Emerald
marker
don't
stain.
play.
Emerald don't
Shadow
play.
Warrior definitely beat all the other
Emerald
brands.
doesn't
Emerald came in Emerald first, PPG Timeless second,
Extreme
Valspar
Valspar
Signature
fell
third,
down, man.
HGTV
He
fourth,
choked.
and Bear Marquis
It's
fifth.
tragic.
To test for stain and abrasion resistance, we'll apply each paint to a properly
Look at
primed
color
piece
place,
of
it's so
drywall,
much
allow it
darker.
to cure for several days, and we'll do some testing with it later in the video. We're gonna see just how scuff resistant each of these paint brands are. I've attached a shoe to this PVC pipe, and there's 5 pounds of
PVC
weight
pipe.
attached. I'm gonna drag the heel of this shoe across each
making
one of the
shit.
paints, and we'll see how they perform.
Okay, okay.
Yo.
Oh,
We'll
stop!
test
Stop!
crayon,
Oh,
permanent
stop!
marker.
Yo.
How about a little bit of mustard?
Ooh.
Why mustard? No one uses mustard.
I have a towel wrapped around a 5-pound weight, and the
Well,
weight is
mustard
connected
leaves
to this
more of a mess than
PVC pipe.
ketchup.
I'll be running this
Yeah.
towel across the shoe scuff to see how much of it comes up off the paint and see how much staining was left behind.
Okay, I understand this
Bro,
test.
Emerald ate those.
Ooh. Ooh, these early ones are kinda.
Now,
Oh!
definitely
bro.
better than
Oh!
Get out!
Golden Premium definitely
Look
is
at
better than
Pittsburgh.
Color Place, but
Hey!
Pittsburgh did a really
Okay,
good job in
Pittsburgh.
this test. In
Okay.
fact, I would say this is one of the top brands we've tested as far as resisting shoe scuff. Dutch Boy
Okay.
also did very well, but not quite as good
Dutch
as
Boy
Pittsburgh.
can't touch
PPG
Pittsburgh, bro.
Timeless actually did fairly well,
at
but
Bear.
not quite as good as Pittsburgh. And I was surprised that Valspar Signature didn't do a little bit better in this test. Definitely PPG Timeless is better than Valspar Signature. HGTV did about the same as Valspar Signature.
Oh,
Quite a
look
bit
at
of
Bear,
scuffing.
though.
Look at Bear Marquis. Very good job.
Tell
In
him.
fact, Bear Marquis
Alright, I
took the
think we
top
found what
position
Bear is
as
good
far as
at.
the shoe scuff challenge. Emerald, I would say, is probably second. Bear Marquis came in first. Emerald second. Pittsburgh third. PPG
Valspar
Timeless
fell down
fourth,
to
and
fifth.
Valspar
No.
Signature fifth.
Damn.
Oh,
The paint strips,
bro.
and then I'll use 5 pounds on top of this towel to apply very light pressure
Man,
to see just how
that's
easily
sad.
these
That's
stains
that you
come out.
hate to see.
A fall from grace. Yo, clean up.
The
Crown has been
Valspar
taken
coat looks
away.
really good, but upon a closer look, paint actually washed away, not just the markers.
They washed the paint
Unfortunately,
off.
Color Place did not do very good. Quite a bit of mustard stain left. The marker did not go anywhere. Still quite a bit of crayon stain and the scuff. Glidden Premium definitely did better than Color Place. As you can see, a little bit less mustard stain. Some of the marker started to come off. There's still quite a bit of crayon staining and a little bit of scuff left. Pittsburgh did remarkably well. Most of the mustard stain is gone and the scuff mark is gone as well. Mostly
Pittsburgh.
quite a bit of crayon left as well as permanent marker. Dutch Boy did a pretty
Okay,
good job
okay,
as well.
okay.
There is a little bit more mustard staining compared to Pittsburgh, but the amount of crayon seems to be fairly close, maybe a little bit less with Dutch Boy. And of course the scuffing has been
Alright,
removed.
alright.
PPG Timeless all with the right. All the paints seem to do a pretty good job. PPG Timeless did
Boys,
as well as Valspar
What?
Signature.
I know you
as
see what
far
I
as the
see.
Removal of the crayon stain. Also,
Emerald?
the amount of
I know
mustard
you
stain
see
seems
a
to be
winner.
about the same as the brand.
That's
HGTV
actually
has
true,
a little
though.
bit
I
more
see
mustard
it,
staining
I see
than
it.
Valspar
It's an
Signature
Emerald
and
don't
PPG
play.
Bear Marquis did a terrific job. There isn't any more scuffing, and most of the purple is gone. Even some of the permanent marker
Even-
stains
look
been
at the permanent
removed.
marker
There's still
on
a little bit
Emerald.
of mustard staining, but overall, a
Oh.
very good
It's
job.
like he didn't
Sherwin
draw it.
Williams, Emerald seems to have done the best. Most of the purple is gone. No more scuffing. The permanent marker actually started to come off,
Emerald.
and there just isn't that much mustard
know what?
stain left.
That's a
Emerald
50
came in
bucks well
first, Bear
spent.
Marquis second,
That is a-
Valspar
that's a
Signature
very
third,
nice
I'd drop a
paint.
50
PPG Timeless
for some
fourth,
Sherwood.
and HGTV fifth. Taking into account the
Bro,
average score
Valspar-
for all 5
Valspar
tests,
choked.
Emerald won by quite a
Eli,
large
you gotta
margin,
put a
with
Chaos
barely
Emerald on
edging
this.
out Valspar Signature. While HGTV did beat out Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is
I'll put the
also
Minecraft
much
Emerald with
less
some
per
wings.
gallon than HGTV.
Guys,
and
I got
performed nearly
news.
as well. Pittsburgh
Oh,
also
what?
proved to be
Diablo is back.
so when it comes time to cut the steel,
No
oftentimes
way.
that reciprocating saw is the tool of
Don't
choice.
play like that.
But it's not the tool of choice if you've
Let's
got the wrong
go.
blade, because all you're going to do is create a whole lot of smoke and a whole lot of heat and get nothing done. That's often been the case with
Not
me. I've
sponsored.
chosen the wrong blade for the job, and the blade brand that I've chosen just didn't deliver. But today we're
So
going to
you
be
know,
testing
it's
several
time
different
for the
brands
test.
to see which one of these delivers the best performance.
DeWalt, do you
One
guys
brand in
think DeWalt's
particular
gonna
claims that it's
perform?
50 times better
I
than
think
the
DeWalt's gonna be
competition.
ass like it's always
So
been.
let's find
That's
out if that's really
crazy.
the case and if it's worth all the extra money.
You
So let's
got,
go
you
to
always
effect
gotta
and
rip
speed of
Diablo.
cutting the steel. There are a lot of
I'm
factors
always
that run into
repping.
play. A couple
Yeah,
of differences
Diablo
include
kinda
blade
goes-
edge sharpness,
always
blade
run
distance,
Diablo.
blade teeth
That's no
itself,
facts.
blade
That's
geometry,
Warrior.
ingredients used in the metal of the blades. So what we're going to try to do is rule out any sort of human involvement in the testing process. In order to do that, I place this
You see, he
reciprocating
always
saw
goes
on
in
the
with
setup,
this.
which is
Yes,
going
sir.
to allow the saw to rotate freely. Also, I'll be applying weight on top of the saw to ensure that each blade has the same amount of downward force so we don't interfere with the cutting speed of the blade. The DeWalt blade uses an anti-stick coating that minimizes
we starting off
friction
the
and
ass.
gum up for smoother cuts. It also has a
Get the
patented
crap
smooth
out the
design
way.
which increases sharpness
Yeah,
and
let's get the
geometry for
doo-doo
faster
outta
He
here.
might
cutting.
bring it. He might bring it.
We might bring it to hell. Ooh. Oh no! Oh no!
The Diablo blade is designed
Diablo.
to cut
Let's
It
go.
uses a high-performance carbide for greater
course,
durability and cutting
as usual.
performance. It also claims to last 50 times longer
Diablo,
than
look
bimetal
at
50
blades.
times longer.
As always.
Look at clean.
Like, my man dripping. You got that drip.
Scratch.
Let's go. Let's go.
Diablo clutch.
9 seconds faster than DeWalt.
The Easy Arc blade
Okay,
uses a
okay,
bimetal
okay.
with 8% cobalt
then that
teeth,
means
which
we got some
guarantees a
competition.
long lifetime on metal cutting. It also provides an extra 50% longer lifetime on hard material.
All right, Joe, you heard that? Cobalt. This man's in hard mode.
Where's adamanted? What is titanium? Why are you using cobalt?
Ooh. It's cobalt. Cobalt kind of.
Third place.
Kinda slow.
Third place.
It's
Makita
last.
blade uses 18 teeth per
Makita
inch.
back!
It uses a bimetal construction that lasts 10 times longer
She
than
better have been
high-carbon
training.
steel blades.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
You think she taking out? Do you think she taking out Diablo?
I don't think she's taking out Diablo, but I think she's at least up there.
Hold up, though.
Damn, she tied for last.
The Milwaukee
come on,
blade is made
Makita.
with
Makita usually known for her speed, though.
8% cobalt to keep a sharper
kinda sad.
edge.
Come
along
on,
the
Milwaukee.
bimetal
Makita
design
glass
allows
cannon.
Faster cutting on
Milwaukee-
light
Milwaukee
blades that
always-
can bend without
Milwaukee always
shattering.
Ooh, that looks like a rough start.
I'm expecting big things.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know, boys. I think something's up.
Ooh, behind.
The
Second,
Bosch
it's
blade
over.
has 18 teeth per inch for smooth, clean cutting and a bimetal construction
Bosch.
for
Second place,
durability
second
and
place.
long life.
Let's see, Bosch.
Shit, I'm scared. Bosch might go
Let's see if
ham.
Bosch is the boss.
Oh shit, Bosch.
Damn.
Oh, come on.
The Harbor Freight Warrior brand uses a
Oh,
bimetal
shoot.
blade construction that is ideal for cutting thick
Warrior
metal.
always
The
do
blade also
ass.
uses an alloy steel body that is electron beam welded to an M2 high-speed steel cutting edge for durability.
Oh, come on, bro. That was dude.
Unfortunate.
Diablo, bring it.
Oh!
DeWalt performed, bro.
So
DeWalt
quick
showed
change
up.
to blades.
Diablo
The Diablo
does
blade
not-
came in first
Look
place
at DeWalt's
in
paint.
37 seconds. I don't see any sort of damage to this blade.
There's no
Coming
damage.
in second
Wow.
place was the Milwaukee blade. It too's in really good shape. I really like the Milwaukee blade. It's a thin blade.
Let's
it just
go.
does a really good job.
I like that
Blade.
Milwaukee.
The DeWalt blade came in third place,
Come on.
finishing at 46 seconds. It definitely has the worst paint of all the
Damn.
different blades. The paint was flaking off very quickly. So the Esmark and the Makita blades both finished at 47 seconds. With that said, the Esmark blade is in pretty bad shape.
Oh my
It has some
God.
damage
Ew.
to the teeth.
Damn.
Both the Bosch and the Makita blades finished 1 second apart. It just turns out they're both made in Switzerland. I don't know if they're the same manufacturer or not. They sure look a lot alike. Coming in last place
They
at
do.
54 seconds is the Harbor Freight brand, the Warrior brand.
Ouch.
Now, the teeth still look good. It just did not cut very fast, but it's still holding up. All the blades except for Easy Art did fairly well with the mild steel. So we're going to make a really tough challenge
Except
for these
for
blades
Easy Art.
using some spring steel.
Easy Art,
This
that's
steel
funny.
came off of an old sickle mower that I had.
Sycamore.
And this is
Sycamore.
7/16 inch at the top, and it moves to 5/8 at the bottom. I don't think any of these blades will get past about halfway.
He said he doesn't think any blades will get-
Stop cutting. At that point,
Using
there's no
new blades
point
for
in
each brand
continuing
but
the test.
Diablo.
I'll
This
stop
man
the
is-
test, and I'll take a measurement from the
No,
beginning
Diablo's
of the
getting
cutting
past.
and where the
Battle
cutting
line.
was.
He said he
To
doesn't
how
think
far
anybody
each
can
one
get
of the
past-
blades was able to cut. Regarding test procedures, I'm going
like
to add
the
an
Chuck
extra 10
Norris.
pounds of weight on top of the reciprocating saw to ensure there's enough downward force that we allow the blades to cut as fast as possible.
Ooh.
Dog crap.
Uh-oh. Ooh, it's
It
smoking.
stopped. It stopped. It stopped.
Oh
just-
no,
it's just
boys.
Makita, let's see what you can do.
Come on, Makita.
Come on, Makita.
It stopped. It stopped.
It's
Oh
smoking. It's smoking.
no!
Point. Oh, it did worse than Easy Arc.
Makita!
Shit. That's
Milwaukee,
funny.
Milwaukee.
That's
Okay.
It has to be 0.25.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh!
It's dying.
Oh god.
Alright.
Move the whole thing.
Ooh.
0.36.
Milwaukee?
Bosh.
Bosch? Let's see if Bosch is the boss.
It has to be 0.36. Oh, it died.
It is not the boss.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hate to see it.
Where's the king?
Oh, we
This
got
is not
Ash
the
in here.
king. It's not even doing
Sorry,
it.
we're afraid.
Get him out of here.
That's funny.
Get him out of
Get
here.
him out.
Get out.
Get out. Leave.
How are you
It's
so?
not
How are you
cutting.
so ass? You're not cutting.
0.03.
No. Let's go with the king.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
Oh shit.
The king.
Oh shit. Diablo went in.
And this is the same blade. This is
Diablo wins.
Holy shit.
No.
Hey, winning.
That's not even a new blade.
I
bro.
need a pog in the chat.
That's not even a new blade.
Get out of here, the wall.
What are you gonna do?
Pack your bags and leave. Forfeit.
And it's smoking. That's funny.
I'm playing a
No,
controller.
Diablo, don't play.
I'm playing a controller, my guy.
Yo. They went.
That was expensive, but
Oh my god, Diablo's expensive.
well, look at that.
They don't play.
The only blade that really came to work prepared for the job today was the Diablo
Let's
blade.
look at all the cuts.
Didn't quite have enough cutting ability to get very far in the string
Factuality.
steel.
Look at
Now
this
again, this
shitty
is
warrior.
a very hard steel, and for the most part,
Imagine
most of the
a new
blades do a very
blade.
respectable
Should've cut
job
through the
considering
floor.
How hard the steel is. The blade though really accelerated in
That's
this
how it's
category and
bad.
did very good. It ran out of steam though.
This was
Where
clean.
the steel begins to thicken, it goes from 7/16 to 5/8. And I believe what happened as the steel became thicker, the blade was reciprocating back and forth in one spot and not cutting anymore, causing the steel to really heat up. And then, of course, the steel became work hardened. As you're aware, steel, as it heats up, can actually get harder. The teeth on this blade actually still look pretty good shape.
Damn.
Coming in second place, and I'm really
Yo,
impressed with the
Diablo
Milwaukee
is the
Sawzall blade. I would
victor.
use this
Uno,
blade
baby.
if the price was right.
Oh,
It did end up destroying the blade, though. The teeth.
That's
were-
good, that's good.
Milwaukee
Milwaukee suck nuts.
Bosch and Makita did a respectable job. It was a very tough steel. They didn't do quite as good
Diablo
as
does
the
not
Milwaukee
play.
Diablo, but they actually did pretty good. So the Warrior blade just did not do very well.
Didn't even
It barely
get
cut
through.
the surface of the steel
outta
before it
here.
ran out of steam,
Sick.
and it only lasted maybe a second before it stripped all the teeth away.
Yo,
So to
there's
kinda
no
clean up all the
teeth.
metal shavings, a couple of
Man,
tips.
it's
You can either use a
toothless.
shop vac or a broom, but an option I like to use if I want to save the metal or if I just don't have the shop vac available is to use a magnet inside of a bag. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm using
He's giving us
a
life
full
hacks.
bag,
Look
but
at
you
this
can use a
guy.
grocery bag. The way this will work, magnet is inside the bag.
Damn. Ooh.
Yo!
Bruh.
That's clean.
was-
That was
I was
clean.
just mad
That
at-
was
All the
clean.
metal
I
has
was
been
just meant
contained.
so much
Once you
of
pull
it.
out
That
the blade, you can
ingenuity.
easily dump these out.
You know
or
what, that
can
was
save
clean,
them
but
and
like,
have
your
a
hand-
project that involves metal
Well, how are you
shavings.
getting off the magnet?
We'll always try to use as
You
much
just
science
take
as
it off.
possible
Shave
to
it.
ensure that test results
They were
are
on
valid.
opposite
With
sides
that
of the
said,
bag.
Oh shit, you're right. I'm stupid.
At least your hands are clean too. Bro.
Diablo stays #1.
Diablo
Diablo
is
stays winning.
king. Let's see. All right, so he did this. He did this little tournament thing, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one of the power.
With motor oil.
Oh.
Where's Chris? We need Chris.
Chris.
Chris needs to be here for this one.
Let's go to the finals. Where's the final?
Is he even on?
Here it is. Which wins the championship?
You managed to get back on.
Doesn't look like he's. No, he's not on.
So
Nah,
these
I'm
guys
making him get on.
had beef throughout the whole. Amsoil and
When it comes to
Pennzoil.
synthetic motor oil,
What?
one thing for sure, there's a lot of really good products out there.
Hold on,
Now,
wait,
both
pause
these
it, pause it, pause it,
products,
pause it.
both
Oh, I'm calling Chris.
Why? He's not here. His Discord
needs to
still
be here.
probably isn't
He's
working.
probably sleeping.
Yeah, leave him alone. It's 12.
Come on, Aiden. Turn.
Damn, he's asleep.
Alright, ready? This is the championship.
Amsoil and Pennzoil have competed to get to the final championship game
Black
and
and
beat
yellow,
the
baby.
competition. So the question
Look at that
remains, which of
trophy.
these two brands is going to get the trophy? Well, let's find out. Prior to this video, all the oils tested in the showdown were sent to an oil testing lab for analysis. Amsoil and Pennzoil faced incredibly good
look at the
competition to make
bracket.
it to the championship game. Amsoil's first big win was
Oh,
facing off
shit.
against Royal Purple, winning all 3 categories of testing. Amsoil then won against
Yo.
Kendall and
These
Pennzoil
are the
for
big-
very good oils.
These are the
Pennzoil
big
leads
dogs.
And finally
These
Schaefer's.
are the
As we'll see when we look at the oil analysis
I'm a
later in the video, both
bit
of these
scared.
brands won against some really good oils and have earned the right to be in the big game.
Wait, I'm
Before we
asking
kick
Chris
off
what he
testing,
thinks.
Let's take a quick look
This
at
is
these
the
oils
big
out of
rivalry.
Even
on?
though we're comparing Pennzoil to Amsoil, I
Rivalry.
included several other popular
Ages.
brands that we've previously tested just as a point of reference. Anti-wear additives complement the base oil in preventing engine wear. More isn't always necessarily better. Pennzoil
Okay,
has slightly
okay.
more anti-wear additives than Amsoil. As you can see, they both have more anti-wear additives than many of the other popular brands that have performed very well on the lubricity test.
Hold on, was
Later on in the video,
Castrol
we'll compare
used
how these
here?
brands compare regarding detergents and total base number.
I have no
At the
idea.
end of the
Calvin, can you
video,
pull it
I'll
back? Was
provide even
Castrol
more
used?
information on all the brands
Imagine it was out first
in
round.
previous make it to the champion.
Yeah, it was out first round.
Oh no! Hold on, wait. I need to take a snip.
Oh, damn.
Where is it? Where is it?
Come
Where
on,
is it?
Chris.
Oh no, Chris.
Did you think?
Chris.
Did you think it would win?
Yup.
Sad.
Alright, ready? This might give Pennzoil an advantage.
And total base number. At the very end of the video, I'll provide even more information on all the brands tested. In previous episodes, we've already seen just how good these oils
Lucas
perform
is
when
in
they
there.
are new, but what
This is
about when
Lucas.
they've been exposed to significant heat comparable to extreme duty
Unfortunate, Chris.
engine use? We'll first measure out 200
Very
grams of oil
unfortunate.
into each of the oil containers, then expose them to 425 degrees Fahrenheit of heat for 2 hours. I'll rotate the oil containers every 10 minutes just in case one burner is hotter than the other. I'll also monitor the
Look at
temperature of
that.
both oils throughout the test to make sure that they are very close to the same. Both oils will experience
Bruh.
an equal time on each
got
burner.
a
So why this
thermal
test?
camera.
Well, the NOAC volatility test exposes oil to even more heat.
He
than this
doesn't
test,
mess
so
around
that
with his
engine
tests.
operating conditions, high quality
Yo.
Highest of
evaporation,
quality.
thermal
It must
breakdown.
stink.
At the end of this test, we'll see just how much evaporation has occurred with each brand. Then we'll be using the cooked oil from this testing
This
for
man
2
really is
additional
the Chad
tests to
of
see if
beauty.
they still perform as good as these.
Yo.
Right at 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and remove both of these oils from the griddle and allow them to cool off. Once they cool off, we'll weigh them to see how much
Melts through
evaporative
the
loss
floor.
occurred with each brand. Pennzoil will start off at 404.68 grams. It now weighs 398.81. That's
Okay.
a loss of
Okay,
5.87 grams.
Let's
I don't
see
know
how-
if that's bad or not.
Let's see how this one did.
Grams.
Ooh.
423.7.
How much did it
That's
lose?
a loss of 6.38.
Oh, I lost more, bro.
Brands did
Oh, damn,
extremely well.
shit.
I really thought this would be closer to 10 grams of evaporative loss. However, Pennzoil gets
Alright,
the round
Pennzoil
win
pulling
this
out
time
an early
because it
lead.
Lost about a half a gram
Alright,
less than
Pennzoil,
Amsoil. Before we
Pennzoil.
start the next test, we're going to place the oil in the freezer.
Look
That's
at the
going to cool
perfection!
oil to 40 below
Yo.
zero Fahrenheit. It's definitely pretty extreme. However, it'll make
Stop
it very easy
playing.
to exposures
Man's gotta
on the
chill.
of the oil.
Not a
We're
drip!
cooling the oil now.
Look at his
We'll come back to the
fridge!
test later in the video.
Oh my God.
Each one of these test cups, then we'll heat the oil up to 260 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we'll test each brand on a lubricity tester. In the next test, we'll be comparing the lubricity or film strength of each product. We'll begin by measuring the weight of each bearing, then we'll measure out 40 milliliters of oil of each product into the test cups. We'll heat the oil to 260 degrees Fahrenheit for the lubricity test. After the test, we'll
Is he
measure
a
the size
teacher?
of the wear scar to determine which brand offers the best protection
Oh,
against
so whichever
engine
one
wear.
loses
While
the
lubricity
most,
tester doesn't
is bad.
simulate engine operating conditions perfectly, it'll provide us with some great information.
Great information.
Oh, 420.
What's up?
Get it?
What's
What?
Hey, Doobie Looby, though.
Yo, this music groovy.
And we do be groovy though.
Okay. Alright. It's time for Pennzoil.
Alright, he needs to win this one to get the leverage. If he loses this, it's over.
Yeah. Come on, Pennzoil. Chris heard me say that Castro lost first round. He went to leave.
Man, tired, bro.
Come on, Pennzoil, you got this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Pennzoil is on the left and Amsoil is on the right, and the victory goes to Amsoil.
Oh, he pulled out!
To impress
Damn.
It's 1 to 1.
The lubricity tester compared to the competition.
It all comes down to the lubies.
It's getting
The
tense.
anti-wear additives that Amsoil uses, along with
This is
base
getting
oil,
really
is highly effective
tense.
when it comes to this lubricity test.
All right, here we go.
Oil flow
All
test in this
right, all right.
competition. Let's look at 2 additional oil qualities. Detergents and dispersants play a vital role in keeping an engine clean.
Amsoil
Amsoil
has a lot
quite bit
more.
detergents and dispersants than Pennzoil, but they both
Wow.
have quite a bit more than the other brands we've tested, which are also very good products. Another important characteristic of oil is its total base number. As fuel is burned in an engine, oxidation occurs. Oxidation causes acids to form in the oil, which can cause damage over time. To neutralize the acids, the oil
Okay.
needs base. The alkaline concentration is expressed
Base.
as
Alright.
the TBN, or total
Slap
base
that
number.
like.
Amsoil has a much higher TBN than Pennzoil.
I'ma have
However,
post
Pennzoil
notice.
is very close to Mobil 1, Amazon, and Supertech. The showdown is all
Okay,
tied
okay,
up with
okay.
Pennzoil winning the evaporative loss test and Amsoil winning the lubricity
Honestly,
test.
boys,
So
I
it all
think this is the
comes
most
down to the next
important
event,
test we've
the
seen.
cold oil flow test. In order for the Amsoil or Pennzoil to win this event, the entire team must cross the finish line, not just the new or the cooked
Let's
engine
go.
oil. New Pennzoil is in lane 1, cooked Pennzoil lane
on,
2,
come on,
cooked
come on.
Amsoil lane 3, and new Amsoil lane 4. Team Amsoil is quick out of the gate, but Pennzoil isn't far behind. Both of these teams have proven to be tremendous competitors, and this is going to be a very tight race. Team Amsoil has a very narrow
Okay.
lead.
shit,
Yeah,
oh, shit.
yo, man, Amsoil is us.
stride for stride, but
Oh,
Amsoil
third one speeding.
Stop playing!
It's still too close to call as they head down the
Yo.
home stretch.
Come on.
The championship
Oh,
is on the line.
clutch
Team
box.
Amsoil
Clutch
is
box.
ahead of Team Pennzoil. An amazing race by both teams, proving that they are great oils that can deliver very impressive results.
Amsoil
In this video
takes
series,
it, bro.
Let's compare the oil analysis results for all the oil brands we've tested. Beginning with anti-wear additives, Redline
You ever
has
seen the camel
substantially
race
more
video?
anti-wear additives than all the
Yeah.
That's exactly
What
how
is
it
what?
was. The camel
What?
race. I'll play it after,
Amsoil took
after
it.
this.
Damn.
Yeah, let's see. So this is the video that I showed Aiden.
Oh, you showing the weed whacker?
Yeah. Now these don't play.
If there's one task I don't like about yard maintenance, it's dealing with trimmer cord. It is such a hassle to rewind these after they run out. So what I want to know is which one of these trimmer cords is going to last the longest and deliver the best performance. So let's get the testing underway and see which one of these products is the best. Most of us have some sort of a concrete in our yard, whether it's the driveway or the side of a house. So what we're going to do now is measure how much endurance each of these cords have when they run up against a flat edge of concrete. at
So this is a
2,500
durability
RPM.
test.
Now most trimmers function at a much higher speed than that at wide open throttle around 6,000 to 7,000 RPM. And most of the time when you're trimming around concrete or a sharp edge, most of us will lower the RPM to avoid causing unnecessary damage to the trimmer cord. So at 2,500 RPM, that's fast enough to mow the grass, but not fast enough to do it aggressively. So let's see how these cords hold up. To ensure that we have exactly 2,500 RPM, I've attached a drill to the trimmer shaft, and I've also placed this shaft on top of a stand to ensure that our height remains exactly the same. So
Tell
we're
her I'm
applying
busy.
force at the same angle each time we run each product through this test. All the trimmer cord we'll be testing today is the same diameter. We'll be testing still,
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Do you hear this?
okay, the steel cord is 5 5/8, 5 3/4. Extreme Professional cuts more area and lasts longer than residential line. It also has a softer inner core for flexibility.
Oh, bro, come on. That man's all over the place.
It's been messy.
So the trimmer cord started off at 6
Oh,
inches. It's now at 5 9/16 on one side, 5 5/8 on the other. The trimmer cord is very
Bruh.
jagged and
What
has
up?
begun splitting apart.
It's gonna be
Husqvarna
like
titanium force
Diablo
claims to be
trimmer
a
cord.
professional grade with maximum cutting
like
power
Diablo
and
does
reduces
that.
noise level.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
The Husqvarna is 5 and 15/16 and 6 inches on the other. So the Husqvarna showed that very little wear occurred from impact with concrete.
go.
Oregon Magnum Gator line is a square shape and is professionally tested.
Look at him. Goofy ass.
Hey.
The Oregon Gator line is at 5 3/4 and 5 3/4. You can actually see how the Gator line has split apart and the string in the middle has become exposed. Cyclone trimmer cord has 6 different sides to it. Cyclone commercial line has a scientific shape that lasts longer and cuts better.
Man, flopping.
Come on, bro.
5 5/8, 5 and 15/16.
Yo, look at Husqvarna.
Oh.
Are round trimmer cords quieter than square ones, or is the 6-sided cord quieter than the round cord? To compare the sound of each of these trimmer cords, we're going to make sure that the trimmer head is placed the exact same distance from the sound meter, and we're going to use the highest sound recorded.
Ooh.
Yo, Oregon.
Shop testing products only go so far. What people really want to see are real-world results demonstrated in a fair
He's going
and
outside,
manner.
bro.
So what I've decided to do is set up
It's
this
time
trimmer on
to
top
cut
of
the
the lawnmower
lawn.
deck to ensure that the height of the trimmer cord is maintained at exactly the same level for each of the products we test. Also, the lawnmower is self-propelled. It's going to be going exactly the same speed in first gear. Additionally,
Look at
I've
this
disabled the
man.
volume on the lawnmower, so it will not interfere with the test. Once we test one product, we're going to measure how much trimmer cord was used, and then we're going to move on to the next product and see how it does as well. The brush we're going to be mowing is at least 3 to 4 times as thick as the cord that we're going to be using. So this is going to put these brands to the test. So the trimmer cord is going to be mowing some fairly thick brush. It's going to be about 4 inches off the ground. We're going to travel about 300 feet through this pasture, mowing a lot of brush and grass, and when we get back, we're going to measure how much cord we've used with each one of the brands.
Oh. Camera work.
Look at this man's yard.
Damn.
He's out.
Going in.
Bruh.
This is a Cyclone brand. The first cord is 5 3/4 inches, and the second one is 5 1/2 inches.
Okay. This
Man,
is
he's
still a
involved.
brand.
Acting a bit funny.
The steel trimmer cord is 5 5/8 and 5 5/8.
Okay.
Extreme.
That seems alright.
Hey, with
Okay, the
ease.
extreme is 5 5/8
With ease, with greatest ease.
by 5 9/16.
Greatest. Bruh.
Thus far, it is 5 5/8, 5 7/16.
You know he was just trying to flex the camera.
It's a drone
maybe,
shot.
Okay, the
Maybe.
Oregon Gator line is 5 9/16 and 5 3/8.
Still.
Still.
So does cord shape really matter? Do round cords cut as well as the square cords? It seems like a square object would cut better than a round one simply because it has a sharp edge. I'll be using a Stihl FS90 at wide open throttle. I'll make one quick pass through some grass and we'll look at the blades of the grass to see if they are jagged or if it's a smooth cut.
pass through this ass.
Yo.
That's slow-mo.
I used extreme cord for this. That's a square cord. You can see the edges are fairly smooth. There is one jagged piece of grass, but for the most part, it did a pretty good job of cutting the grass evenly and smoothly. The Cyclone trimmer cord was used to cut this grass. The Cyclone has the 6 sides to it. I really can't tell a difference between the Cyclone and the square cord.
Ooh.
I used the Stihl round trimmer cord for this test. I really can't see any difference between the square, the six-sided, and the round. They all seem to look about the same. So, which product won this competition?
Oh,
Just by the
boys.
numbers alone, Husqvarna came in first place by having the least amount of
hush.
cord loss.
Let's
During the most
go.
objective test that we did,
Are you
Husqvarna
ready
lost
for
less
the
than
big
1%
dogs?
when it was thrashing.
Ooh, what are we pulling out?
Well, I don't know about you, but when it
The
comes to
big
garden
guns.
tools, I like to work smarter, not harder. There are so many products out there
Oh,
claiming
work smarter, not harder.
Where's the proof? Today, we're going to test each of these products and see
Working
which
hard or
ones
hardly
work best
working.
and for which
Look at that
applications.
triangle.
Even if you don't have a
Hey,
yard and you do
yo.
yard maintenance, I still think
Bro,
you'll find
that's
this
a
video will be
coon-
pretty interesting
that's the
because you
shit
got some
fucking
pretty good
Naruto
high-speed
throws.
camera equipment that
Shuriken.
So let's get the testing.
What?
The gas
Go
gator
to-
includes
go
3
to
nylon
kunai
blades
blade.
that provide
The
an 11.5
grass
inch swath.
gator.
It's designed to cut tall weeds, light
Oh,
brush,
God, I think
and
you showed me
grass in
this
open
one.
field areas. We'll be testing the grass gator first on some grass to see how it performs. I never recommend removing the guard, but we won't be able to see clearly how well these blades are working with the guard on. So I'm only
He's
doing
taking
this
the
in order to
risk.
provide a demonstration, and then the guard will go back on.
Yo, he's going in.
It's getting tangled, bro.
Come
Uh-oh.
on. Hey.
Oh no.
Sad.
Hey. What?
That's the trimmer
So the gas
cord.
gator seems to be doing okay with
And
the
this
tall
is the
grass.
grass
It just
gator.
doesn't have enough blade tip speed to get the grass out of the way, so you have to cut it. in
Calvin,
layers.
this is the one that
This
you
brush
showed
is
me.
about a half an
Yeah,
inch, so I'm
it's
gonna go ahead
okay.
and see how the grass gator does on light brush.
Do you think it cut it? Oh, it's weak.
Ooh.
Can't do shit.
Oh
Come
no,
on,
bro.
Get grass gator.
Get out.
Grass gator for a reason. It's not designed for brush. As you can see, just hitting that brush did a lot
Yo,
of
look how much
to the
damage it
blade.
did.
And this is just not going to do
That's-
well if you
that's
hit
pretty sad.
concrete or a solid object. These nylon or plastic blades are very sensitive
sorry,
to
Kirill,
hard
but
objects.
you're out
Craft
of the
Top claims
game.
to be more durable
Oh,
than
yeah.
and the
Ross
blade
and
can be even
Shuriken,
sharper.
baby.
This brand claims it can be weeds, brush rubs, and grass.
Alright, this one's pretty impressive.
Bro.
Pretty nice.
Okay.
No tangles? Man,
He's
But will
staying
it
at the
cut-
bottom the whole time.
But will it cut the brush? Oh shit!
that shot. Oh!
No.
Get out of there.
That's cheating. The grass gator already did some damage.
Oh, true. I don't know.
Well, look, it took that bottom one out, no problem.
Exactly.
Look. Yo!
No,
it
no
didn't
one.
finish it.
No, no one Naruto throws that.
It didn't finish the job. It didn't finish the job.
They shaved a lot though. Gave him a
Okay, the
taper.
Craft Top blade did a pretty good job, but it's no match for the 1-inch tree. It would take a couple of different hits in order to knock this little tree down, but that's going to cause a lot of wear and tear on the trimmer. So it's better to use a different type of blade that can take out this tree without quite as much kinetic energy. The Forester 9-inch saw grass blade claims that it's
This
ideal
one's
for
a
all brush
weapon.
cutting applications.
I know, this
However,
one's
according to the
stupid.
fine print, the blade is for cutting grass, so it's apparently not designed for both brush and grass. According to the instructions, cutting harder objects could cause trimmer to rebound out of control,
Holy
resulting in
shit.
property damage.
I don't think.
Death. Okay,
I
the
don't think
Forester
he
blade looks
cares.
pretty insane. It's got
He's
some
gonna
different
take
cells
the
in it,
risk.
and it's 9 inches across, so it won't have quite as much blade speed as the Craft Top blade, but it looks like it's going to do a lot better job cutting through the thick brush. Again, the
doesn't give a
manufacturer
fuck.
does not recommend cutting brush with
don't
it. It actually
care.
says it's for
Destructo
grass.
disc.
So let's see how it does with grass, and then we'll try it with brush anyway.
Looking clean.
Okay.
Oh.
Doesn't
Look, it's all
disperse,
ending
but
on
it
top
cuts
of
them.
it.
But it cuts them.
Cuts though.
Let it cut though.
Craft top is the triangle. Oh, get that shit out of here!
Yo!
Okay, the Forester did a
Damn.
great job cutting half-inch brush. As you can see, it's not a straight across cut. It actually looks like the teeth as
Chris
it was
joined the
cutting,
chat.
sort of
He
went
said,
across the
Aiden
blade
never
and
said
moved
what
up.
type.
Bro, don't stop on this man. Bro, come on.
Huh?
He didn't get it called out by
Yo,
Chris.
Chris already
Did
missed
you see how
everything.
fat that thick was? Look at it, it's jumping out trees!
Look at that
Chris
shit.
already missed everything.
Yo, he's
Kinda did.
Forester
He's
blade is a
fighting
really mean
death.
blade. This thing does an amazing
Death
job
itself.
cutting small brush. I don't like how it cuts grass. It just doesn't kick the grass clippings out of the way. They tend to pile up on top of the blade and they get in the way.
Forester kind
Trimmer
of.
tends to whip the
I think
grass
it's for
clippings
wood
out
and
of the way,
nothing else.
making for a much easier process as far as mowing grass. The Renegade blade is a 36
Oh,
this thing is a
blade,
beast.
9 inches in
God.
diameter, that claims to be good for brush and brambles. This is essentially a saw blade that's been fitted up to a trimmer.
Put that with
Now, this
the-
is pretty mean. These carbide tips
What
will
is
cut
it?
through wood like it's
Whetstone?
butter. The downside, though, is
Oh
these tips
my
hit any
God.
sort of hard object,
The
as
wicked
a
edge.
metal or
It'll
just
kill.
a rock, they're going to chip away, and this blade becomes worthless.
It's going in.
Yeah, it didn't look like it did anything.
Does not cut. Does
It refuses to cut.
It's a giant
his
saw blade.
ass on grass.
Oh!
Yo!
Okay.
Bro!
All I can say is, wow, that thing really cuts fast. It cuts through this
Damn.
tree in less than a second, and as you can see, it's about as wide as 4 of my fingers, so at least 2.5 to 3 inches wide. It cut through this thing like butter, which means it's very sharp and
Like
very
butter.
dangerous. The Razor Hybrid is a
Whoa!
9-inch 68-tooth carbide tip
Diablo, is
blade.
that you?
According to the manufacturer, the
Stop
carbide
playing.
mix in their teeth is proprietary and second to none. Up next, we're going to try the Renegade Hybrid. It has twice
Renegade.
as many teeth
Yo, that thing
as
looks
the regular
nice.
Renegade blade. The advantage this has over the regular one
Renegade,
is as you hit
Renegade,
solid objects and it
Renegade.
tears up the teeth, it obviously is going to take longer to tear them all up, and this blade will continue to cut for a longer period of time. The
You
question
know, if
remains,
Renegade
though,
wins,
will
you
this
gotta
do as
put
good
the
of a job
stupid
cutting a thick brush
emoji
or a
stitch.
small tree as the regular Renegade blade.
Whoa!
Ooh.
It
It
chipped.
still cuts though. It's cutting. You see it
Look
cut.
at that.
Oh, get that out
That
of
was
here.
lightning fast. Little packed it up.
Yo, it's going in.
Fuck these branches.
Yo,
Fuck this beer, bruh.
Renegade, Renegade.
Shut up.
Renegade.
This piece of wood we cut with the Renegade. This is the Renegade Hybrid. It looks to me like the Renegade
I
Hybrid
love
does a
some
better
blood.
job of cutting smoothly, and it just seems to be better at cutting the thick brush. The Forester is a real heavy blade, and the only thing I don't like is it's because it's heavy, it carries a lot of momentum, and that momentum, if it kicks back, is going to cause a lot more of a problem for you than a really light blade, which can come to a sudden stop a lot easier. It did cut through the tree just fine. It does take a little bit more effort and energy to cut through a tree than the Renegade
So
Hybrid
he's saying, fuck
or
you,
the
Forster?
regular Renegade blade. So when it comes to cutting that brush,
he's not really
please
saying
be
that,
safe and keep the
'cause he's
brush guard
unbiased.
on. Do as I say, not as I did. I only did that for demonstration purposes, and I definitely don't want anyone
Bro,
getting
those are
hurt
some
out
mean
there.
blades.
Now, to me, there really isn't a
Those are
winner
really
or a
mean
loser.
blades.
There are. If you're like me, you always wonder what product.
Let's
is
go!
Loctite Gorilla.
As far as glues are concerned.
We're back to
And
the.
it can be pretty
You're back
frustrating.
to
When
the
you take
Loctite.
Gorilla!
you have to wait for
He's
it
back,
for
Gorilla!
a day or two, and then
Two
after you
heavyweights
wait all
duke
that
it out
time,
once
it
more.
fails.
Gorilla and
What's
It's really
this?
frustrating.
What's this
And
gang
also,
right
you
here?
spend money,
JB
and
Weld?
you're
Yeah,
probably
JB
wasting
Weld.
money.
JB Weld.
Spending
What?
millions of dollars
What's
to
with
buy
that allowed?
every year on different
Yeah,
types of
what the
glues
fuck?
and epoxy.
I think
DEFCON?
That is one per company, bro. What is
Every
this?
one of these, but I did
Bro,
pick
they got
out some of the
DEFCON
top
too.
brands out there.
DEFCON.
Today, we're gonna find out
Shit.
which one of these glues are the best. The products I'll be testing include JB Weld's Extreme Heat, the Quick Weld, the original formula, DEFCON Plastic Steel, Loctite, and Gorilla. So if you're trying to figure out
He
which
memorized that,
is
bro.
the
He didn't look
best,
for a
you
second.
might want to watch
Exactly,
today's
he's
video. One of the most
fucked.
critical
Oh my
steps
God.
anytime
It's 'cause he already knows.
Oh, Chris thinks JB Weld's gonna win.
You're funny, Chris.
I think JB Weld is gonna win too.
I don't
JB
know.
Weld, are you
Loctite's
sure?
gonna win once again.
Loctite
I
kind of
don't
goes
know,
hard.
bro.
JB goes hard.
Powerful shit, bro.
Really good clean surface
Loctite
for the
always
test.
pulls through.
That's facts. That's facts.
Cause it be
Now,
locking
what
tight.
exactly is this testing?
This is him prepping the surface.
Yeah, I know, but what is it going to be testing?
So I'm going to use some 4-inch
It's like
bolts. These are all
epoxy's
brand
like
new
a glue.
out of the box. And to make
Okay,
sure
okay,
the
okay.
surface has something to stick to, I'm
So
going
it's
to
gonna be like the
sand
super glue test.
the end of this bolt.
Okay.
Every single
So
one
like
of
it's
them are
not
going to
gonna
get
let-
sanded before the
Isn't
test.
it like what blocks what or something?
No, he's making him flatter, steady stick.
I'm not going to touch the area that's been sanded because I don't want any sort of oil residue to be on the bolt.
Damn, this man's thorough as fuck.
Wait, so which one is this again?
Who was that passed by?
So which one is this again?
What?
It's how much force is needed to get it out, right?
Oh, you mixed the shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Hey.
Look at
You
this
hear
shit.
the beat?
Look at this shit.
Yo, he's ripped.
Right. Get it done.
Get those
It's
veins.
Loctite. Ooh.
Hey,
the application.
Loctite looking smooth as fuck.
Let's go.
Alright, let's see this JB Weld.
JB Weld doesn't
Weld.
play around, bro.
They're gonna be playing around today.
Who did?
Huh?
What?
Who left?
No one.
It wasn't.
Unfortunate.
It wasn't Marcus.
Some have commented
Nobody
that JD
left.
Quick Weld is
Oh.
not as strong as the original formula, so I'm very
No,
interested
someone
to
left.
find out which one
The
of these
disc
is
is,
stronger.
Why?
No, it just
Yeah,
rearranged itself.
right.
There's 5 people
No,
still.
somebody's white. I think it was Marcus.
No, Marcus is here. See?
Oh, then I don't know.
Someone left.
User GF whatever.
Oh yeah, someone user left room. Who left room?
We're all in here, so
We're
I
all
don't
in
know.
I'm
We're
in
all
here.
in here.
I'm in
Alright,
here.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Alright,
fine.
raise your hands. Who did it?
All I know is Loctite's gonna pull
Oh
through.
my
Look at
It's
the thickness.
unfriended the move.
Oh, that's
I'll be
thick.
accomplishing at least two. maybe
Extreme
three
heat
types
is
of tests
thick, bro.
today. I have 3 different opportunities to test the strength of these epoxies.
Fifth person's Marcus,
and
but
I
he's
want to
muted.
really just do
I was gonna
2,
put
but I
like
made
a
a third one just
chat
in case I
that-
make a
where he's just
mistake.
talking and
The first
that's
2
where
that
he's
I want to
talking.
run for
Oh,
sure
shit, that's on me,
include
that's on me,
the
that's on me,
first
that's on me.
downward gravitational
You
force.
left?
And I've got the
No, I didn't
2.5
leave.
pound
I accidentally
weight all
paused
the
it.
way up to 25-pound weight.
It didn't
The
pause for me.
second type of test.
If you click
is
on
twisting
it while it's
wrench.
full screen, it
And
doesn't.
for that, I have a torque wrench. This is an inch, uses inch pounds. This goes
Look at
from
this
0
man's
to 4
physique.
pounds. I have a much larger torque wrench. If we need to go to foot pounds, we'll soon find out.
Yo,
what we
look
need
at
to
his
do.
arm.
So what we'll do first
my
is
lord.
use these sets
It's
of
all that
weights to
T-Rex.
determine which epoxy
It's all that ripping of the
is
tape.
for downforce. So the
Jeez.
first test I'll be running is the downward
That's
test.
some
As you
thick
can see, I've
shit.
got
He had
two
to make
nuts
sure he
here
was ready
that
for this
are,
test.
Already on this bolt. The first nut is all the way to the inward position as
Inward.
far as it'll go. The second one is about a 1/4 inch out. And so what I'll be doing is applying the weight precisely between these 2 nuts to make sure on
Ooh,
each of these
okay,
bolts that
okay.
the downward force is applied
Precision
at
is
the exact
key.
same distance from the base all the way out to
Precision.
the same point. Because when it comes to physics, every little bit makes a huge difference as far as how much torque is applied to the end of this. And it's just not a fair
That's
test
facts.
if I'm off by even
Okay,
an eighth
okay,
of an
okay.
inch. The second
Man,
test
it's
I'll be
so
running is the
unbiased,
twisting
bro.
force. So you
It's
can
so
see I've
good.
got
Right,
2 nuts
Chris?
on this
Chris
bolt,
said,
and
"Why
as
is
I
this so fun to
twist,
watch?"
This is going to
It-
break free at some point.
It gets hype.
so
The third
good.
bolt
It
is
gets
so
hype.
I mess up
It
one
gets
of
so
these 2
hype.
I
tests.
know. I've been watching this
Hype
man
I
for
have never
years. I
tested
love
mine,
him.
but I won't even use it if I don't get through these 2
Yeah,
How
give this
the
man some
Chris,
after this
tests
channel.
Missed
properly.
it. T-Rex
First
Max
test I'll be
went
running
in.
Nah.
And this
Flex.
chain probably weighs
T-Rex
maybe
brute
half a
force.
pound.
Went
No,
ham.
no. Fiberflex did the
weight
twisting.
for
But,
approximately
oh, what
10
is
seconds.
this? Oh, it's
It
going
was
what's
good in
this?
every
Let's
aspect.
go.
What do you mean?
Oh, he gonna swing it. I thought he was gonna
Let's
swing it.
Oh,
JB Weld.
That didn't
You
hold
see,
at all. It's
Calvin?
extremely weak.
I was repping the original, not the extreme heat.
See, look at the original.
Oh,
I got right at 10 pounds.
Chris.
okay. Let's go!
JD Quickwell just
Shit.
failed.
Yo.
12.5 pounds.
Come on,
Chris wants
JB
to
Weld, the
join.
original is not gonna pull
He
through.
can join. It's in
JD
the.
Weld original.
Yeah, Chris can join it.
Chris, the link is in no fruits. And we're in Marcus's voice channel. There goes Loctite, nigga. Look at it.
No.
Okay, I'm up to 15
Damn.
pounds now.
No.
Pounds.
JB Weld is
JB
powerful, bro.
Weld,
He
what
doesn't
the
play
fuck?
around.
17
Wait a minute,
pounds.
boys.
Gorilla epoxy coming true though.
Yeah, I think a legend from the past might. Oh, never mind.
Okay, we're up to 20 pounds.
We jinxed it,
He eats those.
It might be Dev.
Look at
Holy
that.
shit.
It
Is that
might
a
be
woman?
DevCon's time
A
to
woman's
shine.
doing the timer.
It might be
Okay,
DevCon's
we're
time
at
to
25
shine.
It's his
pounds.
No, that's a man. That's a man.
Oh, and that's
Oh.
that's
It might-
effed up, Calvin.
It might be DevCon.
I don't know.
Might
JB
be.
Weld's kind of pogging.
Holy shit, JB Weld, what the
I'm
fuck?
telling you, bro. JB Well don't play.
Oh, DEFCON.
What else is it? Just JB Weld? It is. Nah, JB
So
Weld
we're going to
didn't
go
last
through
that
each one
much.
of these real quick and talk about what happened. The first one's extreme heat. All I can say is it doesn't appear that the extreme heat has very good adhesive properties. This stuff's very hard and brittle. As you can see, it just sort of breaks away. It's almost like a concrete board of some
Chris
sort.
is rooting for
It's
JB
just very,
Weld.
very,
Chris is what?
just a hard
Rooting for
surface that
JB
doesn't seem
Weld.
to bond very well.
Damn.
One thing I've noticed
Bruh.
about these quick
Nah, real-
epoxies is
for
that they are not
Loctite.
bonding to
Loctite,
the
that's
surface.
right.
As you can
It's
see,
all
there's
about
bare
the JB
steel, and
Weld.
this steel was ground really coarsely. I mean,
Switch
this
sides so
this
fast.
stuff.
Yeah,
the
he-
epoxy
all
was
about
very
that
well with
Loctite.
this, but none of the
No,
quick
I
epoxies
know.
did a
All
very
about
When
good
it
that
comes
job.
to
No,
epoxy,
no,
JB Weld
material.
brings it.
JB
Talk
Weld
about
won this competition,
unfaithful.
and what's interesting about the JB Weld, as you can see, it's stuck very well
I know
to the
Loctite's the
material,
best
to
super-
the surface that we were trying
No,
to
Loctite is
we were
set. You see,
trying to,
Loctite
have this bolt
failed
stick
because
to.
you didn't believe
And
in
so
it.
that's the key. The,
That's
uh,
facts.
It felt
the,
it.
the
It felt
epoxies
it.
such as DEFCON
Traitor.
and JB Weld,
Gorilla's still in though.
because they're slow to
The Gorilla
dry, it
percent.
seems as though they did a much better job of actually bonding
I gotta be
to the
honest.
steel compared to the quick epoxies. I can't really tell much of a difference between Loctite and the JB Quick Weld. Both of them did the exact same thing. They just didn't stick to the steel. Okay, DEFCON, a lot like JB Weld, did a terrific job of sticking to both the bolt as well as the steel. In fact, as you see, there isn't very much steel exposed. What you see is traces of epoxy everywhere. And what that means is that the epoxy is breaking free from itself and not breaking free from the steel.
Okay.
This is exactly the best case scenario, is that you want the epoxy to have the strength to bond to whatever two pieces of steel you are trying to piece together.
Okay,
so Gorilla
okay.
actually did a better job than I thought it would for a quick drying epoxy. It did okay. As you can see though, it did not stick to the steel. It broke free, and just like the other two quick epoxies, the problem is it just doesn't have the sticking power to the steel.
Damn.
I'm glad I went ahead and put 3 bolts in, because I accidentally just bumped
Oh.
this JB Weld Extreme Heat, and I barely bumped it and it broke free. So I'll be using a torque wrench.
Shit, I guess we know what lost already.
Set at right at
Damn.
5 inch-pounds.
He's dropping the
So it's a very
lightsaber.
low torque setting right
Damn.
now. None of these epoxies should fail with 5 inch-pounds. We'll see how this one does.
Except for extreme heat.
Come on, bro. Are you kidding me?
JB Weld.
Extreme heat, that garbage.
Get out.
100 inch-pounds.
Quick weld.
Okay.
Oh, both nailed.
Okay, JB Quick Weld failed.
Double
You can see
double
just
whammy.
here to the metal.
Oh,
The quick epoxies
no.
just seem to fail at sticking to whatever surface you're trying to make it
Scared
stick
the
to.
shit out of him too.
This was a very
He
good
was like,
surface. It did not have any oily
It's because the whole
substances.
thing came out as a...
The regular 24-hour type epoxies are doing a very good job at bonding to this steel.
Okay, okay.
Gorilla, let's go.
105.
105.
105, 105. 120.
Oh shit. Oh. Gorilla.
No.
No. Come on, you on the cover.
125 inch-pounds.
Loctite's still holding down for y'all though.
Shit, because Loctite don't play.
Stop talking.
Okay, JB.
Oh,
Weld
JB
just
Weld's
fell
out.
at 185 inch-pounds.
shit.
200 inch-pounds.
Shit.
You DEFCON!
So
DEFCON.
the way that JB
Actually,
Weld
wait,
failed
look.
compared to DEFCON. DEFCON proved to be a little bit stronger, but in the
Yo,
twisting test,
DEFCON broke
if you'll
around the
notice,
other one.
JB Weld, it just seemed as though it failed around the bolt, and that the JB Weld is just a little bit more pliable or a little bit more flexible. DEFCON, on the other hand, is just very
Yo.
brittle.
Oh my
It's very
God.
hard plastic. And this isn't necessarily bad, it just depends on the application. Okay, the next test, we're only going to test the JB Weld Original, Loctite, DEFCON, and Gorilla. Unfortunately, the JB Quick Weld snapped
It ain't
free
worth
the
the time.
bolt that I would have used to test this. But to me, it doesn't really matter because JB Quick Weld has not proven itself to be as competitive
Well, it sucks
It
garbage.
says
the
so,
others that are
dude.
left.
Damn.
What we're
Three
gonna
of your
do
homies.
measure the ability of the
Go.
to absorb a pure
How that
shock.
JB tastes
The
like, bro.
impact of me dropping away, so it's just going to basically be
Tastes
about
amazing.
one
Oh, he's just gonna be dropping it on him.
Oh, really?
Okay, JV Will got it.
Oh,
Lock tight, locks tight.
Damn.
Oh, that was bad.
okay.
Okay.
That
was tough.
JV
rolled out.
You can see it broke up the very edge.
No, everybody
Everybody
got wiped.
on these epoxies every year, and I hope the testing I did today will help
many
inform
fucking
you
creepers are on
regarding
my
which
face.
epoxy is best for your specific application. And that's the key. It's going to vary depending on what you're trying to do. You may need something that dries quickly, or you might need something that's super strong, or maybe even something that's a little more pliable.
Where's the link?
I hope this man is happy
There's
in
not
his
one
life.
clear winner in
send it, I'll
this
send
test in terms of,
What?
you know,
send
depends
the
on what
link.
you're trying to use the
Damn,
epoxies
y'all don't
for.
know about the
With all
JV
that
Weld,
being
bro.
said, it's better
Stop.
that I could
When you
test.
find a
I'd love to hear
crack,
your comments on
You
that.
put JV
Finally, if
Weld.
I've done a good job in this
Sorry,
video,
but
I
I'm
hope
putting
you'll consider
Loctite
giving
on
me a
my
thumbs up. I work real hard at
I
this.
don't know,
Spent a lot of
Loctite got
time
it locked
editing
tight.
the video and a lot of
That's
work
honest
together.
facts. Come on,
That's
Calvin.
honest
If you think
facts.
it's worth it, I'd love
Come
to hear
on,
your
Calvin.
comments on if there's something I can do
On
better.
JV
If you
Weld
guys
is
give me a lot of
better.
helpful feedback, it helps me improve these videos.
When it comes to
I'm
weld,
open to
JV
constructive
Weld.
feedback. Also, I
A
hope you'll
Loctite,
consider
keep that
subscribing
shit
to my
locked
channel.
tight.
We have a lot of very
Guys,
good
I got good
projects coming up.
news.
And as
More
usual,
tape?
just want to say thank you very
We
much.
got
More
another
So
Diablo.
I spend $6 you can buy one from Harbor Freight for
So you
99
like taking
cents.
a million years,
In
right?
the recent videos,
Chris, I
we've seen
literally
that Harbor
sent it.
Freight doesn't typically do
Where?
too well, but could
It's
this
in the
possibly be
chat.
the day in which Harbor Freight
What
comes out
chat?
on top, beating
Don't
out the
ever mic.
competition? I'm not sure if it will or not,
yeah,
but what I do know is
oh,
we've got a
this
test
one.
that's going to put it to the test. So let's get the project underway. Anytime humans are involved, we are very prone to making mistakes. So my objective in setting up this jig is to make sure that I'm out of the testing process. as much as
Diablo.
possible. So I've
Guys,
got a
I've got good
grinder
news.
on an arm
What?
that moves freely up and
I
down.
found 4
Has
more
10
tape
pounds of weight.
videos.
And in order to ensure that we provide a
I
fair
got
test
in the
and don't
queue,
just destroy
which
grinding
electrical
wheels, we're gonna
tape
have
is
this piece
best,
of metal rotating
masking
during
tape
the
is-
entire test.
Let's
Every
go.
piece of metal
Which double-sided
has been
tape
weighed.
is
This
best?
in grams, so this piece of metal is 781
Never date a
grams.
yandere.
So we're gonna conduct a 3-minute test. After the 3-minute test, we're gonna weigh how much
Let's
the
watch
steel weighs to determine
Diablo
how much
smoke
metal was
these
removed.
guys.
We're also gonna measure how much
Yo, Diablo's
weight
about to
was
go in.
removed from the
Diablo's about to go.
cutting
Chris,
wheel.
Diablo
Obviously,
always
the
goes
cutting
in.
wheel is
Diablo.
losing a lot of material, and the metal's
Chris,
not. That's a very
Diablo does
ineffective
not
cutting
play.
wheel. But on the other
It doesn't.
hand, if the
Man's
cutting
a
wheel's
Chad.
removing a lot of steel,
Game
and
plan
it's
by
losing a lot
Bad
of
Snap.
weight,
I already know who's winning. I'm
gonna-
getting.
I'm gonna put this on my
metal is about 8
playlist.
millimeters in thickness or 5/16
I'm getting
inch.
some milk. I already know who's winning. Wait, Norton? Oh shit.
Norton and
Price.
Makita.
Stop.
Board blade
Stop
is
playing, stop playing.
4.566 inches.
Yo. That's me when I shit. Stop playing.
Warriors kind of mid.
Warriors never does well.
Yeah.
No, I think RuneScape is pretty good.
I
RuneScape?
think he's running it for 3 minutes.
The
Yeah.
Harbor Freight grinding wheel started off at 139 grams, is now down to 137,
Okay.
so it lost 2 grams. The
Not
steel used
bad.
in
Not a
Harbor
lot.
Freight was 784 grams.
Who we
It's down to
rooting for?
736
Yeah,
grams.
for
Diablo. 8
Diablo.
grams.
The
The
red one.
cat.
The wheel is 4.57
DeWalt.
inches.
Get the hold out.
The walls.
He's so ass.
I don't know what
really
you
is
got
bad.
against DeWalt, bro. DeWalt's
He lost every competition.
he's coming like the middle of every. He's
he's-
better than the Warrior.
He's always lost.
He's always durable
So the
though.
DeWalt wheel started
True.
off at 177 grams, which again, this is a lot heavier
Yeah.
wheel than the Harbor Freight wheel, which is 139
Yo,
grams.
you guys stay hating,
and it
bro.
lost just 1 gram
Chris,
at
you haven't seen
176.
DeWalt.
DeWalt more like a shit.
He's so
It's
doo-doo.
down to 750,
It's
so it lost
garbage.
He's so
38
DeWalt
grams.
is so
As you can see, there's
ass.
a lot of wear and tear on this Warrior wheel compared to the DeWalt wheel.
Look
The
at how
DeWalt wheel
good
only
the
lost 1
DeWalt
gram.
stayed up.
This is 2 grams,
shut
maybe
up.
close
But
to
it
3
wasn't fat.
grams of material loss.
We all know
However, the
Warrior's
Warrior
always the
wheel did
worst,
remove a
but
little bit
DeWalt
more
is
steel
still
than
ass.
the DeWalt wheel in the competition. The
Yo,
Avanti wheel
Aiden.
is 4.555
Chris?
inches.
Get on.
Fandom Force.
Stop playing. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
don't know
shit.
why y'all getting on.
We got a new
Watching
challenger, Avanti.
Wait, Avanti?
Who the fuck is this?
Avanti versus the.
Sounds like a nigger name.
The Avanti wheel started off
Chris.
at 9 grams,
Chris!
3 grams.
Please.
The piece of metal
You
used in
might
the
watch
body
this.
test weighs 782 grams
Oh my god.
and is down to 731. That's a loss of 51 grams.
Chris, did you know he replied to my
Advantage
comment
have
on his
about
video?
the same amount of wear.
Yes.
Obviously,
Reply
the
to
DeWalt
Calvin, he's
has
gonna watch
less
this
wear
video.
than the other two brands.
Yo,
apologize.
4.552 inches.
Avanti did pretty well.
Wheel is proper thickness. Who is
Proper
this?
thick.
Is this Makita? Yep.
Oh, Makita. Oh.
Makita's like always like second and third.
Makita's fast, but not durable.
True.
That's facts.
It's
So
the
the
tail
Makita
of the
wheel started
tape.
off at 154 grams, and
Let's
now
see if she
it
could
weighs
change.
152
Okay,
grams.
okay.
2 grams.
2 grams,
The
not
piece is
bad.
still using the Makita test started off at 775 grams. And is down to 720
Whoa,
wow.
grams.
Nice.
Pretty good. This is the Makita wheel, and this is the Warrior. If you look at the amount of wear, it looks like the Warrior has a lot more wear. The Diablo
Damn.
wheel is 4.5.
Diablo!
know
The king is here.
We already know
The king is here.
The true king.
I'm still standing.
Let's get it. Oh my god.
the shreds.
So Diablo started off at 177 grams.
He lost
and
4
grams
shit,
of material
bro.
down to
Ooh.
173.
That's
But still
hefty.
using the Diablo test started off
Wait,
at
wait,
800
what you
grams.
took
This is the
It
true
now
test.
weighs-
800?
800.
Let's
go!
go!
This is the Diablo wheel. This is the Avanti wheel.
Actually,
It
it's
looks to
still
me
pretty
like
good.
The amount of wear is the same, even though Diablo lost more weight. While the Diablo lost more weight, it also has a larger diameter. The Norton wheel is 4.509
Norton.
inches.
Oh, Norton.
I'm scared.
Oh.
Norton was neck
I'm
and neck.
scared.
Norton's a lot more expensive, though.
He's gonna give me a pop-up.
Bruh.
Yo, these niggas. Oh, these guys always have beef.
That's
The Norton
facts.
started off at 218 grams.
Sorry for
it now
our
weighs
language.
217
Oh my
grams.
God.
Loss of
Project
1
Farm.
gram. Very
I
impressive.
don't think you would
Looking
watch
at the
2
underside
hours
of the wheel,
in.
you can see that there's
Chris, we got a
almost no
problem.
wear whatsoever. It's
What
hard to
happened?
believe how
Chris.
little wear there is.
No wear on
on the other
Norton.
brands. The metal
Norton
used to
might
test the
win.
Norton weighed 798 grams.
Stop
Dude,
playing.
798.
793 grams.
Alright, Norton did not
5
win.
grams.
He didn't take as
The
much
amount
off.
of metal being removed,
Diablo took off like
Norton
50.
did the worst, but has the most material left on the wheel. This is the Norton wheel, and this is the DeWalt wheel.
Norton
As you
did
can
the
see, there's a
worst
lot
on
less
taking his
wear
shit
on
off.
this Norton wheel compared
barely
to the
got
DeWalt.
touched.
So, as far as durability, you're just not going to beat the Norton wheel. It is a very durable wheel.
Wheel.
Oh, yo.
Yo. Norton about to get in
Oh my
there.
god, it's destroying it.
Yeah, Norton going in.
So I start off with the new
That's
Norton
Norton
wheel. I
not
wanted to see what it was
protecting my
capable of doing, so I added
That was a
10
new
pounds
Norton
to
wheel.
the top of the grinder to see how it would perform. So the grinder wheel started off at 219 grams. It now weighs 218, so it
He
lost
did
1 gram
not
in weight.
that
So the
much.
metal started off
my
at 778
lord.
grams. It now weighs 734 grams.
Oh
That's 44 grams.
Norton,
difference.
bro.
So this is the Norton wheel, and this is the
Wow.
Apple freight wheel.
Yo,
As
it
you can
lost
see, there's a
nothing.
huge
Oh my
difference
God.
in the amount of wear.
Diablo, what
Both
happened?
wheels removed about the same amount of
No,
steel.
Diablo's
No,
not
no,
here.
Diablo was still up there. Diablo's.
We gotta see what Diablo's up.
compared to quite a bit of loss for
But
the
Norton,
man.
Norton is bringing it.
So the
Norton,
bottom line
yeah.
is, if you're most interested
First
in a
impression,
wheel that
like
lasts a long
Norton.
time,
He had
the
like
Norton
beef.
wheel does cost a little bit more than the Warrior.
6
But
times.
then again, if you're looking for a wheel that's going to get the job done and cost very little, 99 cents, the Warrior wheel might be the one for you.
Oh,
Warrior
that's why
wheel.
Warrior sucks dick.
Warriors
Oreo,
always the
oh,
budget.
So is that.
Alright, Diablo, look at that.
Damn.
But look at Diablo there. And look at Norton.
Damn.
Warrior was
It's-
So which
thinner.
wheel won
Hate
this
to see
showdown? I think that really depends on how you look at it. If you're looking for a wheel that's going to last a long time, that Norton wheel is going to be hard to beat, but it's also $6.28. Another wheel that lasted a long time was the DeWalt wheel. It was a lot less expensive and did just about as good of a job. If you're looking for a wheel that's
Fuck
going to
you,
cut
DeWalt.
very fast, the Diablo or the Avanti are going to be
Yes,
your
sir.
You know
choice.
what, Calvin? Bring us into the
So when it comes
highlights.
to electrical tapes, does name
God.
brand really matter, or are all these products pretty much the same?
This is
Are
the
you
main
paying
event.
More for the name
The
brand,
tape.
or are you paying more for quality?
It's always
I've
about
had
the
that question.
I
To
know
me,
who's gonna
it
win.
seems like all electrical tapes after
They
they
didn't
got
even name
hot
them yet.
get really gooey and stretchy.
I already
and just
saw
Bro,
this.
wait, he got 2 scotch tapes.
Yo, there's
quality,
Duck.
just don't
Duck
seem
is
to do
back.
very well.
Duck.
What we're going to do today is
Oh my
do some
God.
testing as
Garbage
far as the
tape.
extreme
Train?
dark and the extreme cold.
Duck wants to run back.
Elasticity testing
He
as
wants
well
to
as some
rematch.
strength testing.
He went with
So
the
we've got a
awakening
pretty
arc,
exciting
bro.
lineup of testing to do today to
Chilling.
determine if
He
any
got
of these
bodied, but he's
brands are
coming
better
back.
than the others, and if they're really
He's
worth
still
the extra money.
standing.
So let's go and get the testing underway. So the next test we want to conduct determines how much elasticity these tapes have. So what I'm going to do is attach one end of the tape to the top bar and one of them to the rotating bar in the bottom. Once all of them are attached, I'm going to rotate this bar until each one of the tapes snaps in two, and we'll see which one has the most stretch.
Okay.
Hey, music.
Yo, he always
He
be
always
playing
goes hand
with-
up.
All right,
All
Duck.
black.
Duck. Let's see what you've got.
Duck ain't got a lot of show.
Yo,
Wait,
this shit
alright.
stretchy.
Mighty
Mighty
Gadget.
Gadget.
Who are
Wait,
you?
Duck isn't the first one to go?
No,
Oh,
it was Mighty Gadget.
Mighty Gadget.
There it
Yeah,
Professional
baby.
too.
Wait, no, there's still
another
Duck. Duck is still in
There's
here.
still another Duck.
Ducky
Nah,
County.
Duck
Economy's
sucks
balls.
Oh damn.
Once again,
between
just a
Power
show.
Gear and
Duck
Scotch.
is complete
Power
garbage.
Gear versus Scotch.
Scotch got it.
Scotch
Yes,
Super,
I think
bro.
Scotch might win.
The
Scotch.
next test is the tensile strength test. We're going to see how much force it takes for these tapes to snap.
Snap.
Scotch Super 88 might be the big dog.
You might be.
14.
Oh, they're both chicks, hatch.
I couldn't see the number.
That was a good chunk. That was a good chunk. That was like 134.
14-9.
Okay. So Scotch Super 88. 88 is better than 33.
12.
Ooh.
What the
Alright.
dookie?
No, that's like second place.
Let's
Yeah,
see,
that is
Duck.
second place.
That is second place.
This one's also
Ooh.
second place.
Oh.
Duck,
let's
yo,
see
Duck's
Duck
been
economy.
training.
Yo, for real.
Oh no, Duck Economy is garbage.
No, 13.
Oh,
He's been in the hyperbolic time chamber.
He's been in the lab.
wait a
He's
minute.
been cooking.
Power Gear.
Yo, this man says Zeta Flare.
Oh, come on.
Come on,
Just
bro,
out
Evan, come on, bro.
Alright, Mighty Gadget, the one that was out for.
Alright, Mighty Gadget,
gonna
let's
be
see
like,
how doobie you are.
Okay, now that. So
Alright.
Duck Economy came in second.
Yeah, the
Okay,
spare.
The
okay.
Scotch Super 88, bro. That is some big dog status. And it's cheaper than the 33? What a deal.
Wow.
Harbor Freight.
For cold weather performance, we're going to add tape to this plate, put this in a freezer, cool it down to about 15 below zero,
What?
and then strength test it.
Bro, he has a giant fridge.
Oh my god, Chris, you haven't seen his fridge. Bro, he has a giant lock on it.
Giant. Oh, this isn't.
Yeah.
These tapes
Oh,
are
that's
usually
not the
in freezer
fridge.
for about
That's
10
not the
minutes. Pull one of them out
Damn,
at a
that shit's
time and see how much
massive.
force it
He
takes
has a
to
bigger
pull
one.
the tape free.
Ooh, Harbor Freight.
Oh, at 10. Scotch.
Okay, Super Scotch, kinda.
Power Gear
Power
14.
Gear 14.
Okay.
Duck
Duck
with
with
18.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Duck came back!
He choked!
Yo, Mighty Gadget.
Damn, caca.
Dude, Duck showed up!
Yo, Duck is going off this time.
Yo, Scotch Super choked,
With the
bro.
Super Saiyan Blue.
Up next, we're going to test the ability of these different tapes to withstand heat. We're going to apply the
Okay,
tape
that
to
was
this
cold,
piece
this
of
is
sheet metal.
heat.
Once this has been in the oven for an hour,
Bro,
we're gonna
Scotch
go ahead and remove
Super
this,
needs to
let it
pick it
cool
up.
down,
He was kinda
and then we're gonna
slacking.
measure how
How you
much
losing
force
to
it
Duck?
takes to pull the tape loose.
Duck-
and
Duck's
we're
been
gonna see how
grinding,
much
bro.
adhesive is left behind. To make sure each one of these tapes has an equal chance
Oh,
to
the
stick, I'm going to
consistent
put the
king.
10 pounds of weight on top of a furniture dolly that I've cut into pieces.
Ooh.
And I'm going to roll this across the tapes several times on each side.
This is an optimal test.
Okay, we're going to let this get up to about 175 degrees, but it's close enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and remove the thermostat, and I'm going to put these tapes inside the oven.
This is an optimal test.
Yo, what a chat. He just grabbed it with his hand.
And what we're going to be looking for is how much force it takes to remove the tape. And after that, we're going to see how much adhesive is on the metal.
Power Gear.
5 pounds.
Okay.
Duck Economy was
Economy.
last,
Duck,
bro.
come on.
How about Duck Professional?
8.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Alright. Alright, 7.
Okay. Okay.
So
not
Duck
bad.
Economy and Professional are tag team.
5. Come on, Scott.
Come on, Scotch, what happened?
4.
Oh!
Hilarious.
Scotch! He could have let Duck win!
Oh my god.
Bro, you
Harbor
lost
Freight
to
is
Harbor
better.
Freight?
You lost to Harbor
Adhesive was left
Harbor
behind
Freight
based upon
actually
what you see
thought.
looks like shadows. All of these products did leave some sort of adhesive behind.
Bro,
some
Duck
much worse
might
than
run
others.
away with it.
Power Gear Premium
With
and
the
Duck
W.
Economy actually did pretty
Harbor
good. Duck
Duck
Professional
is training.
definitely came in last.
telling you,
left
Duck
the
is
Mighty
king.
Gadget just
behind.
didn't
Mighty Gadget left a
Mighty
lot behind
Gadget.
as well. As you can see,
Oh, that's
Scott
Mighty
Gadget,
Gadget.
there's a lot of adhesive
Eli,
that
you know he's not
remained
gonna
on
watch
metal.
2 hours of
Scott
this
He
Super
stream.
is.
did
Yes, he
great,
is.
as well
He
as
comments
Super
to every-
33
He
and
comments
Harbor
on
Freight did
every
pretty
one of his
well
videos.
also.
He replied to Calvin.
You really think he's gonna watch your stream, Eli? 2 hours of it?
Okay, so Scott
Yep.
Super 88, Scott Super 33,
Chris,
Duck
you gotta
Retarded.
calm
Professional,
down, bro. This
and
isn't
Power
Siege.
Gear all claim that they are flame
So
retardant.
they're
You're right.
flame
Now, see
resistant.
how
Getting on
flame
Siege.
retardant these tapes are.
No.
He's gonna light him on fire.
Oh my god. Chris, I know you're watching.
Yo, it put it out. It put it out. Scott Super 88. No,
Oh my god.
it's
Oh.
bringing him down. Did decent at first.
Goodbye,
go.
Harbor Freight.
It wasn't
Oh, wow.
advertised as that though. He did pretty well.
Oh no. Duck Professional, don't tell me.
Look at it go.
Telling you.
Scott Super 88 coming back, bro.
Alright, Duck
Oh my
Economy.
god, I thought that said retarded.
Alright,
Yo,
Duck Economy going
Duck
in. Duck
Economy is
going
not
in.
playing these. Yo, Scotch Super 88 is maintaining dominance. Nice.
Okay, okay. Oh wow.
Whoa, Mighty Gadget.
Gadget might be good at.
Well, I'm really surprised at how much difference there is between the different brands regarding performance. I didn't think there would be that much difference because all these tapes seem to feel about the same and they all obviously look pretty much the same as well. Now, when it comes to electrical applications, I don't mind spending a little bit more money, and my personal favorite was Scotch Super 88. It seems
Yo,
to find the
let's
best
go,
performance
Scotch.
regarding
He
elasticity,
pulled it out over
strength,
Duck. We don't let Duck win.
So when it comes to electrical
Nah, you
tapes,
didn't
does
hear
any
him.
brand really
He said
matter, or are all
was.
these products pretty much the
Oh,
same?
one.
Are you paying
That's
more for
the
the
wrong
main
video.
brand, or are you
Yeah,
paying more
this
for
is the wrong
quality?
video.
I've always had that question. To me, it seems like all.
There we go.
When it comes to a paint finish, prep is very
Ooh, Duck
important,
here.
and using the right masking tape makes a
I
huge
think.
difference.
I
So
don't
the
know if
question
Duck is here.
which
I think these
masking
are all
tape
new
is the
players
best?
except for Scotch.
Today we'll be
Scotch
testing
is
I
two
here.
see
different
Duck, I
brands to
think.
see which
Yeah, well,
brand
my
delivers
bro
the
Gorilla.
best performance.
I think Duck's on the
High-quality
bottom.
masking tape
No,
does
that's not
not
Duck
leave
then.
adhesive
That's
behind
Frog.
once you're finished
Frog.
with it. So in the first
Frog.
test, we're going to apply these masking tapes to this
Eli,
piece
add
of
it to the
plexiglass.
playlist.
We're going to come back in 24
Bet.
hours after it's been exposed to a little bit of sun and heat.
Hey. Hey.
I feel like I'm in a hole.
Oh, there's Duck. There's Duck.
Since masking tapes are
Oh!
pressure sensitive, I'll be using
There's two
a 3-inch
ducks. There's
rubber
Duck Clean and
roller
Duck
with
Pro.
5 pounds on top.
So we
to
have
make
Duck
sure that
versus
each tape
Frog.
has been pressed down equally.
And Scotch gets the run back.
Since frog tape is moisture activated, and also all these tapes will likely come in
Duck
contact
Clean,
with
Duck
moisture
Pro.
when in use.
There's 3
we're
ducks.
gonna apply
Duck General.
moisture to the left half
Duck
of the
General.
test set.
Duck's gonna clutch.
Yo, Duck is cheating.
Duck has 3
This
times
paper
the
Yo,
chance.
it's doing the
still
PJ
water on
Rogue,
it. So I'm gonna
bro.
go ahead and remove the paper
Wait a
towel,
minute,
and then
3M?
we'll dry it off.
3M is back.
What?
We'll come back
3M?
near the end of this
Get
video
outta
and
here!
remove the tapes to see just how much adhesive was left behind.
Stick
and to
Tech
see
is
if moisture
Harbor
has
Freight.
had an
It's also
impact on
back.
each of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
tapes. The next set of tests will include cutting up several pieces of drywall that have been painted with 5 coats of paint.
Yo,
The drywall has
T-Rex
2
is
coats
just
of primer and 3
napping
coats of
right
paint
now.
on it.
T-Rex is
I'll be
waiting for a
applying
good
lid test
challenge.
first, a lid test using a roller. In another
like
test,
Godzilla
I'll be using a
resting.
paintbrush. In the third test, I'll be using an oil-based spray paint. To see how good these tapes
Gotta
are at
find
preventing
out who the
bleed
King
through,
Kong
we'll be
is.
checking each one of the samples at 10 minutes and 4
It's
hours.
Gorilla.
To see how easily these tapes will be checking back in 72 hours. I'm going to take our test set down, apply the tapes, and then we'll put it right back up, apply the paint, and let the testing begin.
Oh,
Yeah, he's going ham and painting.
goodbye, Marcus.
Costing only $1.39
There's
for
Duck.
60 yards, this
That's what
Duck
I
general
use.
purpose tape is the least expensive tape we'll be testing. It's been right at 10 minutes. I'm going to begin with Duck General.
Oh, come
As you
on,
can see, we have
Duck.
quite a bit of bleed through under this tape.
Who died?
If you
Is that
shop at Harbor
Marcus?
Freight, you've probably
Yeah.
seen their original Stick Tech
Damn.
masking tape. This is the second least expensive product we'll be testing at $1.74 for 60 yards. Duck General and Stick Tech seem about the
Why are
same.
you so mad?
The third least expensive tape
'Cause
we'll be
they
testing
suck.
at $2.79 per yard is
Professional.
this Duck Pro painter's tape.
Ooh!
That was
Duck General and
ass.
Stick Tech and Duck Pro
Cat
all look
eating.
about the same. The fourth least expensive
All right,
product
this
we'll be
better-
testing
this is the
a
last
clean
chance,
release
Duck.
paint by Duck
Come on,
brand,
Duck.
60
It's
yards,
called clean release.
$2.97.
Okay, Duck.
Okay.
Clean is definitely the best
That
of
was
the
a lot
4 tapes
better.
we've tested so far. There's very little bleed under.
wasn't
Costing
Alright.
$3.27
Painter's
for 60
Mate.
yards, this Painter's Mate
Green.
tape is sold at Menards and is the fifth
Menards.
most expensive
Menards
tape we've
again.
tested.
Minards!
Oh, that was bad.
Painter's Mate
Oh.
is definitely not as good as Duck Clean.
Duck Clean is
the
holding
best
it
so far.
down.
Much to my surprise, the Dollar General
What's
masking
this?
tape, which is a general purpose
Dollar
tape,
General.
and a painter's tape, is the sixth least expensive product we'll be testing.
Oh, that was ass.
Dollar General
Dollar
is
General.
all bleed through. Costing $3.99, this Stick Tech painter's tape is one
Stick
of the
Tech
most
is
expensive
back.
tapes we'll be testing. Tied
Alright,
with
Stick
3M
Tech.
2020
Let's see
for
what
the
you
seventh
got.
most expensive tape.
Oh, that
And
was
you
ass.
got some
Stick Tech
ass.
masking
that
tape
was
is
duped.
just as good as the Stick Tech painters. The Scotch
How are you
Contractors
$3?
grade masking
Scotch.
tape,
Alright,
which is not
Scotch,
the
let's see
painter's
what the
tape,
classic
is tied
Scotch.
with the Stick Tech painter's tape for the seventh most expensive tape, costing $3.99.
Ooh.
3M 2020 did not do as well as Duck Clean.
Oh,
but it
Scotch is
definitely did
3M.
better than most of the competition, costing
Blasphemy.
$4.99
Alright,
for
Frog,
60
Frog.
yards. This
Yo,
Frog tape is the
I'm
most
scared.
expensive product we'll be
Watch
testing.
Frog
It also
tape pull
claims to be the
through.
only tape with paint block
Do
technology.
you
Frog
think?
tape is the only tape treated with paint block
Yo,
technology.
Frog is
Block
looking
is a
made
super
for this.
absorbent polymer
Frog
that
is
actually
here.
protects
Watch him be
paint
like the
instantly
worst one.
gels
I was about to say
a
that.
micro barrier that seals
I
the
hope it
edges of the
is.
tape.
That
so
was-
it won't bleed.
Laugh my ass off.
Yo,
Frog tape. Not very much bleed under at all. Extremely impressive.
Yo.
is here to
Expensive tape at
play.
$5.67
Frog, I'm sorry, I was
is
just
the
playing.
Scotch painter's tape.
Okay.
Frog tape in first, 3M blue in second, and Duck Clean seems
Duck
to be
Clean
third.
holding it
Frog
down
tape
there.
definitely did the
Yo,
best
look
of
at
all
Frog,
the brands,
bro.
with 3M blue coming in second, and probably Duck Clean coming in third.
Damn, Duck.
Let's see how these tapes perform
Yo,
with
he's
a
just
paint
going
roller.
painting.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
Chris,
been
you
right
missed
at
the
10 minutes,
paint.
so let's begin removing the tapes.
Emerald went ham.
Duck General
Oh,
has quite a bit of
shit.
bleed through.
I don't have any emeralds, but I can give you diamonds.
Okay, a lot of bleed through with Stick
Come
Tech.
on, these niggas suck.
Even Duck Pro has quite a bit
Bruh.
of bleed through.
Okay.
Wow, definitely much
Duck
better.
Clean.
Duck Clean did a
Alright,
really good
don't
job.
mess with Duck Clean.
Painter's Mate. Okay,
Ah.
Painter's Mate definitely has
Painter's
more
Mate.
bleed through than Duck Clean. Dollar General.
Dollar General.
Dollar General definitely has some bleed through. Stick
Tic
Tech.
Tac.
3M
3M.
2020.
Okay.
Frog tape.
Frog.
The king.
Oh my god.
3M blue. There's
It's
a
the
lot of
same
bleed through
thing.
with Duck General, Stick Tech, and Duck Pro.
Bro, Froggy.
This is Duck Pro, and if you compare it to Duck Clean,
Duck Clean
you see
is
Duck
nice.
Clean is a far superior tape. It did a great job at controlling the bleed through. You can see there are some imperfections. It's
Duck
not a
Clean
perfect
is,
tape,
well,
but
what can
when
I
you consider
say?
The price
Clean.
is definitely a far better
Not as
option
clean
than
as
some of the ones that
Frog
we're about
or
to look
3M.
at.
But not
You
as
see that
clean as
Duck Clean
Frog.
did a far better job than Painter's Mate, as well as the Dollar General tape. Just like before, we saw
Oh my
with
God,
Stick
look at
Tech, there's a
Frog.
lot of
Frog
bleed
is so
through with
clean.
it. 3M 2020 this time seemed to have a little bit more bleed through than last. So if you compare 3M 2020 to Frog tape, it is impressive to see just how good this Frog tape is. Also, look at 3M blue. It
Frog
did an
has
amazing
entered
job,
the
but there is
chat.
some bleed through. from the
Bro.
Yo, Eli, Battletoads.
No, the princess and the frog.
Duck Clean. Frog tape
Quite a bit of
though.
bleed through with Duck General,
Oh my
Stick Tech,
God.
as well as Duck Pro. Duck Clean definitely did
Duck
a lot
Clean
better
was
than Duck Pro.
nice.
Duck Clean also did far better than Painter's Mate. Now, Dollar General actually did better than Painter's Mate,
Wow.
but definitely not as good as Duck Clean. The Stick Tech Painters definitely seem slightly better than
And
Duck
look at
General,
Frog is still
Stick
on
Tech, and
top.
Duck Pro, but it's definitely
Yo,
not in the
3M
top
is
5. 3M 2020
beefing.
actually did very
For
well
real,
this
for real.
time. Not quite as good as Frog Tape. Frog Tape once again finishes in first, and 3M Blue comes in second, but I would say 3M 2020 is in third,
3M
and
Blue.
Duck Clean comes in fourth.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
It's been right at 24 hours since the tape was applied
Damn.
to the plexiglass.
Oh, shit, I
The
forgot
left side
about
of the
this
tape
test.
setup was exposed to water, and the right side was not. I'm gonna go ahead and peel off each of the tapes, and we'll see how much residue was left
This
behind.
is a residue test.
Resny do? Sure.
Once you peeled off the tape, the last thing you want is an adhesive trail because that becomes a magnet for dust and dirt. With Duck General, there's a little bit of adhesive that I can feel right along the edge of the tape line. With Stick Tech, it's pretty bad, especially on the side that had moisture exposure. There's a lot of adhesive left on the plexiglass. I'm really surprised that Duck Pro
You
didn't
gotta
do
give
better
Piro
than
the
Duck
bad
General.
Look at Duck
There's
Clean,
quite a bit
though.
of adhesive left on the very edge of the tape on the side that became damp. Duck Clean did a
Eli,
pretty
you gotta
good
give
job.
Piro
I
the
can feel
bad
a very
news.
small amount of adhesive, but definitely a good job. Painter's Mate actually did fairly well also. It seems to be about the same as Duck Clean. There doesn't seem to be too much adhesive with Dollar General. It actually did fairly well. There's a lot of adhesive left behind with the Stick Tech Painter's Tape. Wow, 3 in 2020 actually did fairly well.
I didn't see
any
it.
sort of adhesive.
Their frog
even
left the
along edge of
borders.
Tape line. As you can see, Frog Tape did a good job, except for the tape line. You can see that there's a lot of adhesive, especially on the side that
That's a
became
big hit.
3M Scotch.
Okay, so that's where the
best.
paint
I'm not
block
sure
technology
about
comes
Yeah, that's
in.
the paint block
I'm gonna go dump
technology.
some cornstarch on this
Aiden?
plexiglass
Cornstarch?
to see if it sticks to the adhesive.
Get on.
Oh, this is the adhesive. Yo,
I'm going to
Yeah.
take this off.
That's
and
so
we'll also
smart.
look at the plexiglass. I use compressed air to
Look.
blow off the excess cornstarch. So
Bruh.
what I'm going to do now is use a paper towel to see how much this will wipe off.
Damn.
3M Blue
Oh,
definitely
Frog
look
Tape.
at
Painter's
very
Mate.
little adhesive left on the
Dollar
plexiglass.
General?
Frog Tape actually
How is
left quite a
Dollar
bit.
General
3M
better than-
2020 did fairly well. A little bit better
Frog
than Frog
Tape.
Stick Tech Painter's Tape, I definitely don't recommend it. There is a lot of adhesive left behind, even on the section that's not
Yo.
I
Dollar
don't
General
recommend
actually
it.
did better than
I don't even
Stick
know your
Tech.
butt.
Painter's Mate actually seems to have done fairly well.
Wow.
Duck Clean did fairly well, but as you can see, there's some adhesive left behind. There are large chunks of adhesive with the Stick Tech, especially on the side that became moist. Duck General actually did fairly well. It's been right at 4 hours since we applied the paint by paintbrush, so I'm going to begin removing the tapes.
Come
Yo,
on,
is he going
dog.
two at a time?
Just like last time,
that
Duck
was one
General,
crispy
Stick
left
Tech,
eye.
and Duck Pro just didn't seem to do very well. A lot of bleed through, but Duck Clean actually did really well.
Now bring
so if
us
you look
to
at
the
Duck Clean
king.
and compare it to Painter's Mate, which is sold at Menards, Duck Clean definitely did a far superior job. I'm really surprised that Painter's Mate and Dollar General did about the same. Unfortunately, Stick Tech didn't seem to do quite as well
Stick
as
Tech
Dollar
is so
General and
ass.
Painter's Mate,
So
even though it
bad.
costs more. 3 in
Stick Tech.
2020 had some areas of
The
excellence
Frog
and some areas where there's
Look
quite a
at
bit of
Frog,
bleed-through, so
bro.
it actually didn't do
He's
too
made for
bad.
that.
Frog Tape is definitely the best. Look at how clean these lines are. There's one small area where there's a very, very, very small amount of an imperfection, but that's very impressive.
It's a
when you
margin
consider
of
how
error.
all the other brands are performing. 3 in Blue did pretty good as well. You can see just a couple of areas where there's some bleed through. 4 hours since we applied these paints with a paint roller.
Oh,
dog,
man.
bro.
Oh, Duck took him
Oh
out.
my, oh my god, oh my
Yo,
Let's
god.
really put each of these brands to the test. The Duck General, Stick Tech, and Duck Pro, just like we've seen in previous testing, just did not do very well, especially when you compare it to Duck Clean. Painter's Mate doesn't look quite as good as Duck Clean, but Painter's Mate seems to be slightly better than Dollar General and definitely better than Stick Tech Painters. 3M
Stick
2020
Tech.
seemed to struggle this time quite a
Aiden.
bit, quite a bit of bleed through.
Huh?
Frog Tape continues
mad
to
at you,
amaze
man.
with a near perfect
What
job,
happened?
and 3M Blue
You
did a
didn't send
decent job
streaks.
as well.
I don't
4
have
hours test on our spray
Snapchat.
paint.
I literally have already the guy added on Snap.
The spray paint doesn't
I
seem to be
deleted
nearly as
Snapchat, like,
challenging of a
years
test
ago.
as the paint roller. With that said,
That
there
is
is quite a bit
false.
of bleed through with the Duck
It's
General, the
not.
Stick Tech, and
Send
the Duck
streaks
Pro.
right now.
Duck Clean definitely beat Duck General, Stick Tech,
God.
and Duck Pro. Painter's Mate doesn't seem to have done nearly as well as Duck Clean, and it looks like Dollar General actually beat Painter's Mate. So
Oh.
Frog Tape definitely did better than 2020, but not that much. And I would say this time 3M Blue actually
3M
beat
Blue
Frog
beat
Tape.
Frog
Now,
Tape.
Frog Tape is designed for latex, not for oil-based paint.
Blasphemy.
Spray
Sit down.
can. However, it still did remarkably well. 3M 2020, I would say, is number 3. In order to
Shit.
prevent bleed through
I've
on a
never
really
heard
rough
such
surface,
blasphemy.
I'm going to use 3 of the different tapes, and then we'll apply some caulking to the one edge of
Caulking?
the tape, and then we'll see just how much bleed through
Damn,
takes
I
place.
literally
This is Duck
sucked my
General,
nut.
Duck General.
Frog tape,
Frog
3M
tape.
Blue.
3M.
I'm going to apply a very thin layer of caulking. Right
He
along
chose
the-
What?
Oh,
He
you
chose
just
Duck General over Duck Clean.
We're only going to apply the caulking to the top edge of the tape. We're going to apply the paint and see how much bleed through happens from the underside versus the top side.
cocking.
See how much bleed through occurs. It's been right at 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and remove
Duck
the tapes.
General. Oh my god.
Hey.
Wow! Even with the cheapest tape, Duck General, look at that perfect
Yeah,
line.
see, it's
Very
good because
impressive.
there's cracks
Look at all
on the
bleed
bottom
through
that the
happened
paint can
on
get
the bottom
through.
side, so the paint actually had to wick up. Next up is frog tape.
Beautiful.
Even frog
what a
tape needed some
champion.
help from the caulking. As
What
you
a
can see,
chap.
there was some bleed through even with frog
'cause
tape.
wood.
3M blue.
Oh
my god, what the gaga?
Wow, check that out.
Yo, Duck
So
General
3M needs a
did
lot of help
better.
as well. As you can see, a lot of bleed through. No bleed through. A second coat of paint was applied. It's been 72 hours, and this drywall was exposed to some heat. The amount of bleed through shouldn't change after 4 hours of cure time, so the purpose of the next test is to see just how easily
that hurt.
once it's been exposed to liquid.
That's
So let's
super
pull off the
hurt.
tape one at a time and see how the tapes perform.
Come on, bro.
No.
You're giving my man a
Okay,
hard
actually,
time.
Duck General didn't do very well,
Truthfully.
and you may not be able to see this, but it actually pulled away some of the paint that's underneath the tape.
Come on, Duck General.
Bro.
Frog.
Frog.
There's frog.
Oh,
The only tape that struggled a little bit seemed to be Duck General. The rest of the tape seemed to release from the drywall just fine. So if I had a semi-smooth surface to paint, I would definitely choose frog tape. It provided some
Duck
incredible
didn't
clean
make the
lines.
podium.
Damn.
Utility blade.
So what I'm hearing is
Guys.
frog. What?
I have news.
What?
We have a showdown between Gorilla, Duck, and Loctite.
Double-sided mounting tape are some of these brands really
T-Rex is chilling.
Are all these
White
brands
tape
pretty
again.
much the same?
Look at these new challengers.
Today we're going to do some testing to find out which one of these brands makes the
X-Bassett?
best.
Gorilla
double-sided
and
mounting
Duck have
tape.
never
The
gone
double-sided
against
tape will be
Loctite.
compared using 3 separate tests. Tensile strength will be
Yo,
tested
he's just
first.
cutting
In order
wood.
to
We're gonna
test
see
tensile
Gorilla
strength,
v.
force are
Loctite,
cut into
boys.
6-inch pieces. Then a hole was drilled in the center
Oh,
of each
no.
core.
Oh.
A single strip of double-sided tape was
Both are
applied,
dope.
then pressed together. Apply when temperature is above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 1 is to apply tape to back of object vertically, allowing for even distribution of weight.
Yeah.
Cut tape and press to secure tape to object. Remove clear liner and align object to desired placement.
Oh.
Press firmly as Gorilla Tape conforms to the surface and
So
creates
it's
a
this
strong,
one.
permanent bond. The double-sided tape has been applied
T-Rex!
to all the
T-Rex
tensile
here!
strings.
Let's go! Let's go!
Attaching these two boards to form a
It's a
tape
battle of the
double-sided
Titans!
tape.
Oh,
These strips
boy!
of double-sided
I'm gonna
tape
shit
were applied to
myself.
ensure complete tape
T-Rex,
coverage for both the
Gorilla,
3/4 inch
Loctite,
and the 1-inch tapes.
Duck!
If you're
Here to
planning to use
reclaim the
double-sided
throne.
tape to attach an object to a wall or a vertical
He woke
surface,
up from
the
his
final test
slumber.
will be most helpful. 1 by
He
2
said,
inch rectangular
"Duck's been
steel with
grinding."
2-inch lengths. They're all set
Who is
up
this-
to
he
test
said, "Who is this
strength." So
Loctite?
now what we're going to do is go ahead and apply the double-sided tape to these metal pieces. Now, each one of these metal pieces has been sanded with 40 grit and cleaned with denatured alcohol.
Yo, this is heat.
Oh my
put
god.
All the
to
test
the
pieces are nearly ready
test.
to go. We just need 72 more hours and the testing will begin.
Shit,
It's been
bro,
right at
I'm
72
nervous.
hours, so let's get the testing underway, beginning with the tensile strength test. We'll be testing 2 different types of Gorilla double-sided mounting tape. The first one claims that it can handle up to 30 pounds. It bonds to plastic, metal, wood, glass, brick, ceramic, stone, and more. This tape is weatherproof and is for indoor and outdoor use. For the tensile strength test, I'll place
Let's
the
put
wood
it to the
block in
test.
position, slide the pins through the wood.
So this one
Once the
claims to
pins are
hold
in place,
30.
an upward force will be applied until the boards are separated.
If it doesn't hold 30, Gorilla will be just.
We'll
Yo!
deliver to
That's
the
a lot more
person
than 30!
magnetic-
Oh my god!
Gorilla.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It was down quite a bit
Was that a
before we get on the
fluke?
second sample.
Sample 2.
it was a
Here's
fluke!
again to 57 on the third. We'll be testing
going
2
on?
types of Gorilla Tape. The second type
two?
is the clear tape, and it's rated for 15 pounds.
This one's weaker, bro.
It's kind of
Gorilla
strange.
Clear
38.
achieved 38 pounds in the first sample.
Bro, come on.
It was
Gorilla.
down slightly to 35 on the
Oh my
second.
You
God.
had high hopes from your
Down
first
again to
showing.
14 on the
14!
third.
Come
T-Rex
on.
is gonna win, bruh.
Duck permanent.
Duck!
mounting tape is
Oh, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Now this is 3/4.
Get him outta here.
I don't
want
want to
It holds up to 3 pounds.
I don't want to see
Quarters
this.
of an inch wide.
Come on,
No.
Yo, T-Rex is having a cack.
Oh.
This is so sad.
Whoa! He jumped up! He jumped up!
He ate a sensu bean real
Loctite
quick.
Power Grab
Loctite.
is supposed to hold 100
Locked
pounds
it.
per roll.
100
and is designed for indoor and outdoor use.
I don't know. Loctite
Loctite is
might
only
not play.
3/4 of an inch.
Damn.
and
Oh,
16
he
pounds of
lied.
tensile
He
strength
lied.
on
Bro,
the
they
first.
was playing.
Up some to 25 pounds on the
Loctite.
second.
What's going on?
Up
Oh
some again to
no.
45
T-Rex is
pounds on the third.
kecking!
T-Rex is a ferociously
Uh-oh.
strong
Oh,
pair of mounting
shit.
tape that's supposed to
Let's
hold up to 30 pounds.
go. The king.
Forty-six
Starting off
pounds for
strong.
the first sample.
Ooh, okay.
Let's go!
Only
56.
improving.
The third
He
was down
doesn't
slightly
play.
to
He only
48. So
kicks.
T-Rex did a great job delivering pretty consistent
I don't
results.
power
Fix
up.
Pro mounting tape
I
is an
am
extreme
proof.
mounting tape that promises
Fix
to deliver
Pro? Who is this?
121.
121
Closer
pounds?
look at the
Wait a
mounting
minute.
tape. It actually does hold 121 pounds, but that's
Wait
for the
a
entire
minute.
roll.
Oh, it says for the whole roll.
Fix Pro took
49.
on the first sample.
Okay. A new
The
challenger?
second was
Nah.
down some to 32.
No.
No.
The third was
Okay, he's back
He
up.
had some high ones.
X-Fasten's mowing tape is supposed to be
X-Fasten.
super
That wasn't
strength
Algerian.
and extreme bonding. X-Fasten was 31 on the first.
Oh, that sounds like some shit you'd buy off of just fucking eBay.
The second was
Oh,
up
wait,
some
hold on. I was talking shit.
Whoa, Aiden.
Aiden!
The
Oh
third
my
was down
God.
Oh!
Aiden.
X-Fashion!
Instead of spending a lot
No.
of money on a name brand, why not
It's
just
always
buy
when I
something
talk
like
shit, bro.
LLP double-sided tape?
Oh my God.
What? What is this?
First.
Cheering!
Down slightly to 100 on the second.
Sit down, T-Rex!
Down slightly again to 78 on the third.
What is
Very
this?
impressive performance.
Damn,
Not a
you
whole
just
lot of
said sit
information on
down,
the packaging
crocodile.
of
I'm
this
next.
premium
Scotch!
52
Scotch
very
is
high
3M!
bond tape.
They're
It's
all
supposed to have an
back.
extremely
Oh, Scotch
strong
is
tape
back.
that reaches
3
its
of 'em.
maximum strength after
He
72
joined
hours.
late.
40
Get
pounds
out.
on the first.
Oh, he joined late. Oh no.
Up quite a bit to 68
Oh,
on the second.
68.
Stayed right at
Damn.
68
Oh,
on the third.
LLP is having a laugh
Yo,
right
the
now.
double sided tape get a really
Oh
good
my
and
God.
consistent grip on the
T-Rex
2x4
did
material.
caca.
As you'll see in the
T-Rex,
video,
what
they
the
tend to grip much
heck?
better and provide a
Gorilla
more
did
consistent
better.
hold on a less
Dog.
porous surface such as
Loctite,
plastic.
bro.
Surprisingly, the least expensive product, LLPT,
Yeah,
did the best,
LLPT was
providing
like,
94
hold my
pounds of
nuts,
tension.
boys, I'm going in.
Gorilla 64, 3M58, X-Fasten
literally
52,
Wait, hold on, hold on.
and
That's
T-Rex
because
50.
Loctite was
The next test
3/4
will be
inch.
testing for shear
It was
strength. I'll place the
cheating.
test piece
Music,
inside the
let's
test
go.
holder, insert it
On the
into the
playlist
test
right
device,
now.
and the test will begin.
Who just
Gorilla
farted?
provided 66 pounds of shear strength on the first sample.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Oh.
Oh.
Alright, well guys,
Aiden.
who do you think is gonna win?
Get on. LLPT.
LLPT is probably gonna.
It's probably gonna kick off.
Quick, while he's peeing.
Play it.
He was like, yeah, I'm here to dethrone.
Bro, LLPT is not fucking playing.
He isn't.
Bro, I'm gonna have to take the crown away from T-Rex.
He was like, yo, T-Rex, you're funny.
Oh wait, Chris, I accidentally got into my own lobby.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, I'm joining you.
You neighbor.
What's up, my neighbor?
What'd you
Never
just
say
call
that.
me? Faggot's still here. Aiden, can you give me water?
Hmm?
Oh my god.
I don't want to go to my room. There's gonna be like a ghost waiting. Alright, Aiden, join.
Let's get back.
Oh, we gotta close it.
What? What are we talking about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, wait.
It was up some to 81 on the
81?
second.
Oh
Up
shit.
again to 107 on the
107.
third.
Whoa.
Gorilla actually did a pretty good job sticking to both
Gorilla
the
going in,
end grain
Gorilla
as well
going
as
in.
the side
Gorilla's like, who is this
Gorilla
LLT?
clear, 57 on the first
You
sample.
know what OPP?
Gorilla going in.
Not
36
Gorilla
on
Yo,
the
Candle.
ding
second.
dong, dude. What's poppin'?
Up some to 50 on the third.
Gaming.
Oh,
Yo,
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
Oh my god, Doug, stop playing.
Down
Doug is
some to
here!
76 on the
Doug
second.
is here!
Up again to 95 on the
Duck.
third.
Oh
Very good
no,
job
no,
by
no, no,
Doug.
no.
Duck was
Did a
like,
great
y'all
job
doubting
sticking
me,
to
bro.
the end grain
I'm gonna
as
beat
well as the
T-Rex
second
at
one.
least. Loctite?
Loctite,
Okay,
61 on the first sample.
Loctite is thinner than the other
Oh
tape.
my
23
God.
on the second.
Oh no. And so is
Up again
Doug.
to 61 on the third.
Oh, that's facts. Loctite has no
Loctite
excuse.
Clear just didn't seem to stick as well as some of the other brands we've tested.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
What's going on?
Yo, Loctite
Damn.
tier, bro.
Okay,
Oh,
Upside
and
he's done
92
playing.
second.
92.
Down quite a bit, 37 on the third.
Damn.
So T-Rex just seems like it's a very sticky and stretchy two-sided tape.
Pix Pro said no.
Fix Pro 55
T-Rex
on the
is
first.
choking.
Get out, Fix. No one's watching you.
Down some to 42 on the
He's gonna
second.
beat T-Rex though.
Up some to 68
No,
on
he
the third.
beat T-Rex.
Oh
Fix Pro just didn't seem to
no.
stick
Oh
as
my
well as
God,
some
that
of the other
literally
brands.
looks like.
X-Fasten 64 on the first.
Bro, T-Rex.
65 on the second.
I can't believe this.
Down
Guys, I
slightly
don't
to
think I can go
62
on.
the third, so very consistent results from
Alright, time
X-Fasten.
for
X-Fasten seems like a
LLPG.
really sticky tape and did a really good job.
It's gonna say 5,000 pounds.
LLPT 89 on the
Yo,
first.
Gorilla is here.
69 on the second.
Damn, he's kind of
Gorilla
slacking.
is not
Up quite a
playing
bit.
anymore.
Oh my
160 on the third.
I think LLP took that
He
one.
continued to do
Yeah,
a
that
great
beat out
job.
Duck
You
for
can
the
see a
highest.
Great job sticking to the end grain as well as
damn.
the side of the board.
Damn, he really
Three
did.
M's.
Oh my
3M.
God.
Alright, get the
39
scotch
on
tape
the
out of
first.
here.
I'm gonna use.
Oh wait,
Quite a
chill.
bit.
Oh,
5 on the
shit.
second.
Aiden, insult them more.
Down slightly to 93 on the third. So the 3M double-sided tape actually stuck to the
Dude,
end
I was
grain better
playing.
than the side of the board. The shear strength
Oh,
test
that's
really
not
put the structural
T-Rex,
integrity
bro.
of both the carrier material
my God.
and the adhesive to the test. Duck did extremely well at 94 pounds, while
T-Rex
LLPT
is
came in a
mad
close
as
second
shit.
at 91, Gorilla third at
T-Rex is
84,
sandbagging,
3M
bro.
at 78, and T-Rex at 65. The next set of tests, I'll insert the metal into the test device and then insert a pin to hold the test piece in place. I'll also put a wedge behind the test piece to keep
Eli,
it from
you know what
moving
to do.
as we're
Yeah.
applying force until these two separate. Gorilla let go at 45 on the
Bro.
first.
Oh no.
Up a little to 54 on the
Gorilla.
second.
Stop.
No.
Down a little to 51 on the
happened?
third. So much more consistent
How the
results
mighty
on
have
metal.
fallen.
Gorilla actually did a pretty good
It is
job
pretty
sticking to
consistent, but
metal.
like, oh man.
Gorilla
Alright,
Clear,
Gorilla Clear we know is
37
kinda
on the
doo-doo.
first. Stayed at 37 on the second. Up slightly to 42 on the third.
Gorilla worse.
Gorilla Clear did a very good job sticking. As you can see, this stuff is very elastic.
Duck.
61
What's
on
going
the
on?
first.
61.
Duck is
Up
Duck is
slightly
gonna
to
win the most
65 on the
important.
second.
He's gonna win the Clash of Titans. What's
Down
going
slightly to
on?
64 on the third.
Straight 60s.
Okay, Duck did
This
a great
is an
job of sticking
upset.
to the metal. As you can see, the tape actually split
Duck
apart
was
from itself
sandbagging
in
the whole
some
time. He
areas.
just hustled.
Loctite,
Loctite.
56 on the first sample.
He's like, I'm not done.
72 on the
Holy
second.
shit.
Down
Let's
slightly to
go.
65 on the third.
Loctite said I'm still here. Alright, T-Rex is
60
mad.
on the
Alright,
first.
60.
T-Rex, come on. T-Rex, come on.
Down
Oh,
slightly to
T-Rex, what
53
you
on the
doing?
second.
What are you?
Up some to
Okay.
63 on the third.
Come on, T-Rex.
Fix Pro,
You
56
really gonna
on
let
the
Fix
first.
Pro
T-Rex,
outdo
don't
you?
let Fix Pro outdo you.
Up slightly to 58
Nah,
on
Fix
the
Pro.
second.
Fuck Fix
Down a
Pro.
little to
Get him
50
out
on
of
the third.
Damn.
Looks like Fix Pro has a lot of elasticity to it. It does a pretty good job of sticking.
here. X-Fasten, no. Nah.
X-Fasten, 53 on the first.
T-Rex, why?
Down slightly to 52 on the second. Down again a little to 48 on the third.
LLP, come on.
LLP, 70 on
Oh.
Play. He's like, I'm here
the
to
first.
do
Up
bro.
slightly to 78 on the second.
Oh,
Down slightly
my
to 75
God.
on the third. LLP tore away from itself. This stuff seems like it's really sticky. It does a great job as far as bonding to steel.
3M?
380 on the
shit.
first.
Easy 80.
Oh my god.
wait.
84 on the second.
3M?
3M gotta chill.
Down slightly to 82 on the third.
What?
3M did an amazing job sticking
This one's
to the
an
steel.
upset of
You can see where
massive
it actually
proportion.
tore away from itself in several areas.
What's going
If you're planning
on?
to use double-sided tape to attach your
God,
people
you
to
are
a
asking.
vertical
Look at
surface,
Gorilla.
the results of
Look
this
at
test
Gorilla.
are probably the
Oh,
most useful.
no.
3M did the best in the final test at
Dog
82
is coming
pounds,
out, boys.
LLPT at 74, Loctite at 64, Duck 63, and
This is an
T-Rex
upset
58. When it comes to price,
on
there's a
3M
huge
side.
difference between the brands,
LLPT is the
with
cheapest.
LLPT costing
Oh
only
my
You
God.
gotta be kidding me.
and
Yo,
finished
what?
together for
You're
second place in all
lying.
3 categories of testing.
I'm about to
Fix Pro,
cough some
Gorilla, and Loctite were
T-Rex
the
is actually
most costing around $1.70 to $1.80 per foot. I really enjoy finding products that are very affordable and outperform the more expensive competition.
The crappiest.
LLPT did just
Oh,
that
bro,
on
you-
both the
you-
wood
you heard
tensile
him- you
strength
heard him
as
chuckle
well as the
when
wood
he said
shear
that.
strength. Its ability to stick to wood was very impressive.
That was crazy.
Now,
He's
regarding a
chuckling,
smooth
he's
surface,
He's chuckling.
I love the saying, anything worth doing is worth doing right. So
Oh,
when
we
it
got
comes to
nails
selecting the
now.
right
Oh,
screw or
nails
nail
and
for the next
screws.
big project
Alright, I think
around
this
the
is my
house,
last one,
how do you
boys.
know which one
Yeah,
is the best?
it's my last one,
Which
I'm
one is
out.
going to save you the most time and money in the long run and allow you to get the project done right the first time?
Meat
Today we're
grows
going to be
near
testing
you?
7
Hold on.
different types of nails and screws
What?
for different qualities to
Mad,
see
bro.
which one is the best. Before we begin the holding strength test, we need to kick off
many
our
ads am
corrosion
I
resistance
blocking?
test since it will take 48 hours to get the results. I'll be
my
using
God,
a
I
hydrogen
have
peroxide vinegar and
856
salt mix, which is very powerful as far as being an
856 what?
oxidizer.
Ads.
I'll be using this
blocked.
on each one of the screws and nails to
You get
evaluate
ad
how
blocker.
effective the
Chrome
coatings are
store.
at resisting
Ad block.
oxidation.
I have
I'll be applying several coats of this
167.
powerful mix in
I
the
have
next 48 hours.
166.
It's only been 30 seconds.
I only
and
have
2 of the
109.
nails are already rusting
How are they
because
rusting
they're
that
untreated
fast?
and they are not
Oh my
designed for
God.
treated lumber or exposure to harsh
Holy
elements.
shit.
The first test we'll be conducting is to test the holding strength of each type of nail and then the holding strength of each screw. I'll be using untreated 2x4s that are all from the same stack of lumber to help make sure that the test results are accurate. Since wood varies a lot, we'll be testing 7 samples of each type of
What if
nail
this
and
isn't a
throwing
time
out the
lapse? This is
high and the
actually
low
how
test numbers to
fast
get
you
rid of
go.
the outliers.
him?
I'll be
How
dripping the
fast it
nails
goes.
and screws
And he's talking,
completely
this
through
isn't
the
even a
2x4.
voiceover.
After that, I'll spray paint the test samples black so we can easily see
That
the
man's a
nails
giga
and the
Chad.
screws when they begin to lose grip. We'll also assess
Hey, is
just
it
how much
Chad?
residual strength and holding
That's
power
facts.
remains in each type of fastener once they begin to lose grip. So what gives a nail its holding power? When a nail is pounded
you
into the wood,
going
it
on?
displaces
There's so
the wood
many.
fibers. The pressure exerted
building a
against the
roof.
shank by the displaced wood provides the holding strength. So does
Bruh.
shank design really make any
You
difference on
going
holding
in,
power?
boys?
Well, we're about to find out. This test is designed to apply a pulling force in a smooth, controlled manner. To test each fastener, I'll place each sample in the test jig holder and then begin the test. The first nail we'll be testing is the 16D common nail, which is designed for framing. Only costing
Okay,
5 cents
okay.
each, it's the least expensive nail we'll be testing. Since it does not have any sort of protective coating, it shouldn't be used for pressure-treated lumber or applications where rust is of concern. So let's see how much holding power we have with this nail.
Okay, so it straight up says
The
that I
first nail
might not
began
be
to
that
move at
good.
120 pounds. However, it was very interesting
120
to see that the
pounds,
force
though.
required to remove the nail
141.
entirely required 141 pounds of force.
Okay.
The second nail didn't do nearly as well, losing grip at only 110 pounds
Damn.
compared to 120 pounds for the first nail.
Okay.
The third nail did a very impressive job, requiring 164
Oh my
pounds,
God.
beating
Let's
the first two
go.
samples by a sizable amount.
Yo! He's here to play.
The fourth sample only required 98 pounds
Oh,
of
so
force.
that's
It was the
why he
lowest of
spray
the 7
painted it.
samples tested.
Yes, sir.
Yo, this man thinks of everything.
The fifth nail required 168
He has
pounds,
high
the
ass
most force
IQ.
of all the 7 samples.
Alright, this set was dope. You got 100?
Okay.
The sixth nail only required 139 pounds, which
Remember,
is very
all 7
close
of these
to the
nails so
average
far are
for
gonna
this
be the
type of
same one.
nail.
Ooh, 200.
The seventh and final nail required
Eli, I know
134
you have this
pounds,
song
so
on
the
the
category
playlist.
average after throwing out the high and the low weight amounts was
It's
only
kinda
131 pounds. We'll be testing the 16D coated smooth shank sinker next. Even though they are coated, they aren't supposed to be used in treated lumber and applications where rust is of concern. So let's see if they offer more holding power than the uncoated
Calvin,
sinkers.
did
The
you see
first
the
nail began
videos
to
I
move at
sent you?
277 pounds. That's more than 100 pounds stronger than the strongest
277.
uncoated
Oh my
nail.
god.
The second nail was only 8 pounds less than the first one, requiring 269 pounds, which is pretty impressive. The third one was down a little bit more at 245 pounds, which is still pretty impressive.
Man, if only the
fourth one was only
Titanic used these
199
nails.
pounds, which is the lowest of the 7 samples tested, so this one was thrown out. The fifth one was up
That'd be
slightly
kinda
to
kept up.
219 pounds, which is slightly below average for this type of nail. The sixth one was back up to 250 pounds, which is very
Let's
close
go.
to the average for this type of nail. So after throwing out the high and the low samples, the coating gave the nails an extra 109 pounds of holding force. Very impressive. Up next, we'll be testing the Hot Dip 16D galvanized nails, which are designed for pressure-treated lumber and exterior use. While it doesn't claim to offer more holding strength, let's see if this galvanized coating helps offer more holding power over uncoated and coated sinkers. The first galvanized smooth shank nail totally blew away the coated and uncoated nails, delivering a jaw-dropping 488 pounds of holding force. I had no idea that the galvanized coating would help this much.
Bro.
Stop.
The second one dropped to
playing.
393 pounds, which still beat the coated nails by quite a large margin.
There's absolutely no way.
The third one was down even more to 280 pounds, which is still way
slipping.
above the
It's
average
slipping.
for the
Huge
coated
decline.
sinkers.
Ooh.
Okay.
Showing some
Could there be a fluke? Could there
inconsistency.
be a fluke?
The fourth one did do a little bit better,
no.
327 pounds, but still below the average for this type of nail. Wow, the fifth one required 535 pounds, nearly twice as much as the best coated sinker. The sixth one was the lowest of the samples, only requiring 237 pounds.
This one was all over the place, bro.
Bro,
The
this
seventh
was
and
like
final nail
half
did a
of the
great
best
job at
one.
422 pounds. So just by adding the
You had high
galvanized
ones, though,
coating, the
super high
amount of
ones.
holding strength
It-
was
it was obviously
382
the best
pounds
so
on
far.
average, which is 249 pounds more than the uncoated nail and 140 pounds more than the coated sinker. I'm really surprised by these results. Costing 9 cents each, these galvanized spiral shank nails are advertised for patios and decks, which is typically going to be a much harder type of lumber than we'll be using. However, it's going to be interesting to see if the spiral shank helps with providing more holding power. The first galvanized spiral shank nail didn't do too well, losing grip at only 108
bruh.
pounds.
Sit down.
That's unfortunate.
The second one didn't do much better, only
Bruh.
requiring 130 pounds to remove the nail.
Oh no, I can't watch this. I
How
can't.
you just gonna do
watch.
130 when the other one just did 500?
Watch it. Keep watching him.
The third one was
I
up slightly to
can't.
149 pounds, but
Oh.
still not very impressive
see
compared to
that
the other
shit.
nails.
What's going on?
The fourth was almost the same as the third, requiring
Bro,
147
this man
pounds.
is not bringing the heat.
The fifth was really low at only 91
This is
pounds, and it
so
was the lowest
much.
sample
That's a
taken in the
mighty
category,
F
so I went ahead and threw this one out.
Oh, you better throw it out.
The sixth was back up a little to 119
No.
pounds, which is slightly
Thought it
below
would
the
stop at
category
70.
average.
Oh no.
The seventh one was the best yet at 173 pounds. So it just goes to show that the spiral shank nail just doesn't do very well in softwood. I believe it would do much better in a harder type of wood as it's designed to be used for. Costing 6.5 pennies per nail, these uncoated ring shank nails are designed for pole barns and load-bearing structures. Since they're uncoated, they're not designed for pressure-treated lumber or in applications where rust is an issue. The ring shank design is supposed to offer optimal holding power in soft and medium wood, so let's see if this nail design is going to offer more holding power. The first uncoated ring shank nail required 425
We got a
pounds, which is very
competition,
close to the
boys.
average
We got a
for the
fat
galvanized
one.
nails.
That's pretty impressive.
We gotta.
The second one required 357 pounds, which is a
Okay.
little lower than the first one, but still very
At least it's not as
impressive.
bad as the last one.
Well, this one's doo-doo.
The third one was even better than the first two, requiring 462 pounds of force. Very impressive.
Come on, hit that 500. Come on. I know you want to.
The fourth
He
one
has
was a
to if
bit
he
lower
wants
at
to win.
385 pounds, but that's still pretty remarkable.
Come on,
Come
bro.
on, come on. Come on, you got 4 more tries.
Okay.
The
Okay.
fifth one was the best of all the samples, requiring
Oh.
491 pounds.
my
I find
God.
it pretty
I was
amazing
looking
that
for
one nail
500.
has that much holding
That's a
power.
fact.
Come on, come on.
Come on, bro.
The sixth one was the lowest at only 227
Come
pounds.
on. He's choking.
You
Oh,
only
The
have one
seventh
more.
and final
Only have
nail
one
was
more.
He went ham, though.
341 pounds. What was very interesting
he
is
did
that the
bring it. He did
galvanized
bring it.
smooth shank nails seemed to continue to have decent holding strength even after they began to slip. However, the ring shank nails really lost a lot of holding strength after
That's
the nail
tough
began to
to
move.
see.
I really like using these 3.5-inch drywall screws for those small projects around the home that require a lot of holding power. So will these number 10 coarse thread drywall screws provide more holding power than any of the nails we've tested? At 6 pennies per screw, it's actually less expensive than some of the nails we tested. The first drywall screw delivered a very impressive holding strength of 703 pounds, beating all the nails by well over 100
This is
pounds.
6 cents?
We got a winner,
This
boys.
one was even 1
This is
pound,
a
really
fat though.
highlighting the amazing holding power of this type of fastener.
Yo,
God, bro,
the
it's ripping
screws don't play.
The third one required 693 pounds,
Bro,
which
it's
is still
ripping
very
open the
impressive.
fucking wood.
Jesus.
The fourth one did
It's
quite a
like
bit
if you
better
want to
than the
take
third
me
one
out,
at
you gotta take it with
758 pounds.
Jesus
I'm thinking you
Christ.
down with me, bruh.
The fifth one was slightly below average for this category at 695 pounds.
Oh my god.
This nigga doesn't
The sixth one was up slightly to 699 pounds.
This
The
is
seventh
like
and
a
final
screw.
drywall screw did pretty good at
It is a screw.
743 pounds. So the drywall
Yeah,
screw
wasn't, like,
actually
the
beat
starting
all
one's
the
nails?
Very
There's
similar to
screws
the
in
ring shank
there.
nail, the drywall had great holding power up until it began to slip and then quickly lost all of its holding power as the wood fibers were ripped loose. Costing 13 cents each, deck screws are designed to provide tremendous holding power and resistance to rust and
Bro,
corrosion.
that
So
better
how
be
much
more
better
tremendous.
are these over nails?
Do you think
and
it's
they
gonna
offer
beat
more
him?
holding strength than
I don't
drywall
know.
I think
screws?
this is.
Let's find
this is
out.
a winner.
Well, the first deck screw required a very impressive 173 pounds to remove, which is more than any of the drywall screw samples.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
The second deck screw required 1,299 pounds. That is an amazing amount of holding power. It takes about
God, you
10
hear that
uncoated
sound?
sinkers to provide this much
I think I hear
strength.
that.
The third one required 792 pounds, which is the lowest of the 7 samples.
Bruh, Golden Freddy.
The lowest was 790.
Oh
The fourth one was way back up to 1,174 pounds. Very impressive.
It just breaks.
The fifth one was down a little to 1,001
Literally
pounds.
stop playing.
This isn't even fair, bro. You got spiral niggas
The
putting
sixth
up
one did extremely well,
170.
1,200
The LLP of screws.
Hello, feels screwed.
The
Well,
seventh and final
boys,
deck screw was down a little
I
to
think we found out that screws
1,059
disappear.
pounds.
God. Oh my
So after
god.
throwing out the
Oh my
highest and lowest
god.
numbers for each fastener,
Oh
the
my
galvanized spiral
lord.
shank only required 131 pounds of force,
Imagine
which is the
being
worst of the
the
bunch. The
spiral
uncoated
shank.
sinker was slightly better at 133 pounds. The coated nails showed a huge advantage
Imagine
to
being
holding
a
power
shank.
as the nails. Finally, the deck screws provided nearly 3 times as much holding strength as the strongest nail and over 400 pounds more strength than the drywall screw. There's many different ways to look at different types of fastener from a value perspective. If you consider the number of pounds of holding force per penny, the drywall screw is the best value at 114 pounds of holding power per penny based upon the price I
Per
paid.
penny.
Even though the deck screws are very expensive, they came in second place. The ring shank nails also did great, costing 1 penny for 59 pounds of holding force. Obviously,
shit,
this
the
is
deck
just one
screws didn't come in
perspective, and there are
first.
many other things to consider. Regarding the corrosion test, after 48 hours and 10 applications of the hydrogen peroxide
Yo, they
vinegar
don't
and
fuck
salt
with
mix,
rust, though.
the most rust formed on the uncoated sinker and the ring shank nail. The coated sinker and drywall screw had a small amount of corrosion, and the deck screw and the 2 galvanized nails did not have any visible signs of corrosion. Well, when it's time to tackle that next project around the house, I definitely feel like I'm better informed, and having the right type of coating makes a
That
huge
was
difference, not
crazy.
only regarding corrosion control, but
Wow.
also regarding holding power. I was really surprised at how much extra
competition
holding
was
power
fucking
these
wild.
nails had with just having some galvanizing on them. Also, regarding the screws, it's not very practical to use screws for every project, but whenever you can use a screw, it's amazing just how much more holding power it provides. I get all my
Guys.
video ideas from you guys. You guys
He
recommended this
did
one, and I really
double A
appreciate it.
batteries.
You guys have the best video ideas, so
I'm
please keep
going to
those
sleep.
ideas
I'm not
coming,
doing no
and
more.
Stop
I'll
playing.
keep
How long
making
is it?
videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to next time.
It's longer than 10. I'm not doing it.
It's 10 minutes and 18 seconds.
Alright, I'll watch it.
Alright. Okay.
Get your
This'll-
ass
this'll-
up.
So when it comes
This'll
to
be my
double A
last one.
batteries, there's no shortage of marketing hype.
Duracell and Energizer, boy.
Test double A
Oh,
batteries.
what
So that's
batteries
what
do
we're
I
gonna
have
do today.
actually?
Now, I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
I use
some
double
Walmart
A
batteries,
batteries for
what
a
I
lot
got.
of different things, including even
got
the microphone
Energizer,
on the
let's
camera that
go.
I'm using right now. So I spend a lot of money
That's
on
what you're
double A
looking for?
batteries, and I really want to know if it's worth paying more for batteries or if I'm better
No,
off just buying
actually,
a
yeah,
less
yeah.
expensive product. For example, you could buy $5 general store batteries for the price of one Energizer battery. So is Energizer that much better than the competition? Well, I don't know if they are or not, but we're about to find out. So let's get the testing underway. So before we actually begin testing batteries, there's a really neat trick that I learned about that actually does work, and
Is
it's
them
the
a
bounce
dropping them?
test. Now, the
Yeah.
purpose of this test is to determine whether or not a battery is
If
new.
they bounce
It won't
more,
let
that
you know
means
whether
they're
or not
empty.
the battery is totally used up, but it'll give you a pretty good idea as to where the battery is regarding the charge. The more it bounces,
What if you
the less
what if
energy
you
it
drop
has
it and it
in it. Now, the way
explodes?
this works is if you take a battery that's brand new and you drop it on the end, it won't bounce very much. But if you take a used battery, in this case I have 2 batteries that are pretty much used up. There's a dark line on them, and if you drop them on the end, it'll bounce quite a bit. I won't get into all the science as to why this happens. There is a reason for it that's pretty interesting, but we're going to see how this works. The new Duracell's at 1.61, 1.62. The ones that are pretty much used up are at 1.22, 1.2. So these two are well used. We're going to see how it does against the new one on the drop test.
Nigga got bunnies.
What? Oh shit.
Bro, the leap.
Man got Jordans.
I was gonna say he's the Jordan.
Boom.
That one's definitely black.
Yo! Boom!
Yo, how to split into... How to do that?
So in order to determine which battery is best, we need some technology that will measure how much energy is in each battery. And that's exactly what this battery charger that I purchased was able to do. I'm not endorsing this brand. I don't do any sort of sponsorship deals. Again, I purchased this with my own money. So how does this battery charger work?
They
Well,
should
it actually
sponsor
has a mode for discharging batteries.
They
In
probably
other
got a lot of
words,
money
it
because
is
of this
going
video.
to drain each battery of all of its energy and measure how much energy it pulled out of each battery while doing so. And it has a couple of different discharge rates. So we're not going to do just one battery. We're going to do a couple of batteries, and we're going to also use a couple of different settings. So let's begin the testing by comparing Dollar General heavy-duty batteries against the Duracells. I bought these for $1. These were rather expensive. So 8 batteries for $1 is 13 cents each. We'll see how they do compared to the Duracell. We're going to set this up to discharge at 300 milliamps. So this is very interesting. Right now it's showing us what's happening on the first battery at 8 minutes. It has less than 1 volt, 0.99. Battery 2 is at 9 minutes. It has 0.95 volts. Battery 3 is at 9 minutes, 1.34 volts.
those
So far,
suck.
the Duracell is outperforming the Dollar
Heavy
General
duty,
store
man.
significantly. Difference there. Same thing with the fourth battery, 1.34 volts. So the Duracell batteries are doing very well. These Dollar General store batteries are about to die. So the Dollar General store batteries did not do well at all.
26
Only lasting
minutes,
26
bro.
minutes and producing 117 milliamp hours for the first battery, and 35 minutes and producing 158 for the second battery. Definitely not nearly as good as the Duracell, which lasted 300 minutes, producing 1,747 milliamp hours, and the second battery lasted 380 minutes, producing 1,738. To make this more interesting, I'm going to go ahead and try one battery each of a different brand for the next test. So we're about to really mix things up. Both the Rayovac Fusion as well as the Duracell Quantum both claim that no alkaline
Is that
battery
better
lasts
than
longer.
normal Duracell?
Obviously, they both can't be right, so let's see which one is better. We're also going to test the Amazon Basics as well as a Harbor Freight Thunderbolt.
Harbor Freight.
The Amazon Basics actually did fairly well considering the price of the battery. It produced 1,382 milliamp hours and lasted 301 minutes. Now, the Duracell Quantum produced 1,850 milliamp hours and lasted 405 minutes. Unfortunately for the Duracell, though, Rayovac Fusion did last longer, producing 1,884 milliamp hours and lasting 410 minutes.
No way.
However, both finished nearly in a
Rayovac
tie.
beat Quantum
Unfortunately, the Harbor
Duracell.
Freight Thunderbolt didn't do too well, just like the Dollar General
Fucking
store.
Harbor
It only
Freight
lasted
Thunderbolt
28
is that?
minutes and produced 125 milliamp hours. That's actually worse than the dollar store battery.
Damn.
So
Damn.
lithium batteries really worth the
Energizer,
extra
bro.
cost?
It's
These
clipped.
lithiums are
It's
about
clipped.
$1.50
Energizer
each,
has to
very
win.
expensive compared to a
Energizer.
55-cent Everready or a 75-cent
not
Energizer or a
Everready.
70-cent Rayovac.
Bro, that last one, the blue one,
So is
it's
the
over.
Energizer better than Duracell?
That one's gonna win.
We're about to find out. First, the
hours.
Rayovac lasted 347
Rayovac.
minutes
Yo,
and
Rayovac
produced
went in.
1,589 milliamps. The Everready lasted 303
Okay.
minutes and produced
Wow, that's
1,384
not bad, not
milliamp
bad.
hours. The Energizer
Oh my
actually
God.
beat the
Oh, the
regular
normal-
Duracell
Let's
as
go.
well as the
That's the
Duracell
normal one.
Quantum and all
God.
the other batteries we
It beat the
tested up to this
Rayovac
point as well,
Max.
lasting 411 minutes and producing 1,880
Oh my
milliamp
God.
hours, which is very
Let's
impressive.
see what the big boy
However,
did.
not surprisingly,
Oh,
the Energizer
gosh.
Lithium beat all the batteries by a long shot, lasting
go.
723 minutes
I
and
have
creating
those.
1,317 milliamp hours. So up next, we're going to slow
Wait, are
down
we
the
not
battery
done?
drain interval to only 100 milliamp hours. So Harbor Freight's Thunderbolt only lasted 181 minutes and produced 275 milliamp hours. The Dollar General didn't even do as good as the Harbor Freight. Unfortunately, it only lasted 128 minutes and
Heavy
produced
duty. It is
196
heavy
milliamp
duty.
hours. The Everready, on the other hand, lasted 837 minutes and produced 1,279 milliamp hours. The Rayovac lasted 1,205 minutes and made 1,844
So the Amazon
milliamp
Basic
hours.
wasn't done.
Duracell Quantum lasted
What?
1,363 minutes and made 2,064
Oh,
milliamp
damn.
hours. The Duracell lasted 1,315 minutes and made 2,012 milliamp hours.
That's fat.
And the Energizer lasted 1,329 minutes and made
Bro, I gotta take a fat
2,026
shit.
milliamp hours, which is in second place behind the Duracell Quantum. Up next, we're going to repeat the test on the Amazon Basics. I made a mistake on that test, and I'm also going to test the Energizer Lithium as well as the Rayovac.
The big dogs are
The Amazon
here.
Basics battery lasted 1,043 minutes,
Unfortunate.
producing 1,593 milliamp hours. So as expected, the Energizer Lithium lasted twice as long as the competition for a total of
Let's go.
2,081 minutes and producing
That was the minutes. I thought that was the amps.
The Rayovac only lasted 958 minutes, producing 1,465
No
milliamp
competition,
hours.
sir.
Not even as good as the Amazon Basics. The 300 milliamp discharge rate is
Oh
a fairly
my
quick
God.
drain.
Harbor
The
Freight?
Energizer
Why are
Lithium
they so
demonstrated that it is
bad?
far better than
Oh
any of the
my
alkaline
God.
batteries we tested. I have to admit, I'm really impressed with the Energizer beating the regular Duracell as two positions, demonstrating that they just
was
aren't a
that?
good value. So which brand do you like the
Myself.
best, and which ones do you normally buy?
Well,
Did you enjoy
I'm
the
out,
video?
boys.
It's 8 minutes. It has less than 1 volt,
going
0.99.
on?
Battery 2's at 9
Running
minutes.
back.
It has 0.95
Wanted the
volts.
repeat.
Battery 3's at 9 minutes, 1.34
alright,
volts.
I'm out.
Give me some
Never did I